Stips and a foul by Austin. A pair of bigs at the scorer's table. That is Seacrest for Lacey. The Angel Reese for Rose.
Yep. It's working.
Hey guys, we are currently tracking a deadly crash that happened here in Greenbelt, currently at the gas station not far away from where this happened. There was a rescue call around 4 this afternoon near Kenilworth Avenue and Cherrywood Lane in Greenbelt. Now, Prince George's County Fire Department units responded to the scene. They say one patient was ejected and another person was also trapped. Now, one person unfortunately did die from their injuries on scene. Meanwhile, 3 others were taken to the hospital. 1 is in critical condition and 2 have serious injuries but non-life threatening. Now, we did ask police if this was weather related. We have not heard back on that just yet. But again, this is what we know at this hour. A crash that has killed 1 and seriously injured 3 other people. Hey guys, we are currently tracking a deadly crash that happened here in Greenbelt.
That wasn't a game. That was an ass whooping.
It was.
Okay, had a big game. Made three.
Nice idea by Thomas. Told us we'll see this more tonight compared to what we watched on Friday in the Hyde game. On the outlet, Gray triple. That time of year again. The reigning champions turned to 12 and green. At this time last year.
This picture of your motherfucker.
Why not? The picture, I was trying to figure out this one. They want to screen for her. Austin leads to Austin. A slash. Made by Shakira Austin. Catch that ball. Because you have to have great games. Against the top defensive club in unrivaled laces. Rose already has 21. Up by 9. With 2 and change left in the second.
You ready?
It was
working? Oh, wow. Of course, rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. I'm not going to start off with Jesse Jackson, Black History Facts. I'm going to start off locally with some, because I didn't know nothing about this. And this is one of the things I love about just Black History Month on social media, especially on Instagram. I'm not even going to lie. They've been doing a big one, just kind of feeding my timeline with just different people, different content creators showing different Black history facts. I hope that it continues, like, because I like that, to me almost will feel like corny. Is like, Dave, if you stop with so much information. That's why I kind of been just trying to send myself endless videos just to kind of have them. So even for the rest of the year, it won't be just like, oh, you overdid all the Black History Month just information just because it was Black History Month, because there's a lot of information I didn't know about. And I was like, damn, I hope people constantly kind of keep up that momentum with content, because I'm sure it's a lot of people, and that will realistically go into our first topic conversation about the Tyler Perry movie after we get into some of these Black history facts.
You know Dulles Airport, right? The pride of Northern Virginia, the gateway to the world. But almost no one knows whose land it really was before the runways, before the jets, before the highways. This was Noki's farm, a thriving Black-owned community founded by George Washington Nokies, a freedman who bought his own land in the early 1900s. At a time when Black Virginians were being pushed off farms, Noakes and his family held hundreds of acres just east of what's now Route 7. Then came the Progress. As Dulles expanded, developers and county officials condemned Noakes land for transportation growth. Families were forced to sell for pennies, and their history got buried under asphalt and terminals. Today, every traveler who flies through Dulles is literally landing on what was once black farmland, erased without a marker, without a memorial, without a name. Loudoun County only recently began renaming Negro Hill to Noakes Hill, finally giving credit to the family whose legacy built this region. Follow, like, and comment Noakes if Virginia should tell the truth about who paid the real price for its progress.
The family that
I got one more because I'm sure most people didn't know the story behind why certain streets got double names. So I do want to play that one real quick, and then we can get, like I said, we can get into just the Tyler Perry topic.
They don't remember why these streets has two names. I live on a street that has double name. This is River Park. From the river, from the park down there, Shawnee, by the river, all the way up to 30th Street is River Park Drive. When you get past 30th, it was where the only place that black people could be. And that was called Chestnut. Double barrel name. That was because white people did not want to live on the same street with the same name as black people. Our children don't know that history.
And again, like I said, to me, this goes hand to hand going into Tyler Perry's movie. And it was a conversation flying around TikTok and, of course, social media. And I think that means realistically, that is one of the cool things, I guess, about a Tyler Perry movie. Because at this point, you kind of already know there realistically will be think pieces, hot takes, and everything going around anytime a Tyler Perry movie put out, because he is one of those people that are kind of like, I mean, I ain't even gonna say Tyler Perry himself is a polarizing figure. You may say that, but I do feel like realistically, it's just a lot of times, just with his movies, if I'm being honest, like a lot of people just, I mean, some people like him, some people don't, but I even kind of like the fact that you know that there will be conversations behind any time Tyler Perry puts something out, because I'm sure there are a lot of movie directors who kind of wish that they even had just positive or negative conversation about their movies, because there's a lot of people who put out movies and nobody don't never even talk about them. So again, like I said, for Tyler Perry, I guess, I mean, that's kind of, it's like, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because I'd rather put something out and people have some form of like emotion about it, or me putting out something that nobody don't even give a damn. So again, like I said, Tyler Perry did put out a new movie, and it's called what is it called? Uncle Joe. What is it? Is it Uncle Joe's or Joe's college road trip? College road trip. So it was a young lady on TikTok, and of course I seen this and I sent it to Erica, and this is what got the conversation started.
Okay, so Tyler Perry just came out with Joe's College Trip, a new movie on Netflix. And Joe is taking his grandson across the cities and states to kind of get him acclimated to real life before he goes off to college, because he lives a very like sheltered lifestyle with his dad, which is his dad is Tyler Perry. I don't know what's going on with Tyler Perry, and I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about this, because I actually like Tyler Perry. I love the consistency. I know a lot of people complain about the quality of his work and the quality of the actual like script. They said it's, you know, the same shit, different fonts kind of thing. But I always kind of liked his work, you know? I'm seeing something very concerning across all of his work though. In the last like couple of years, I'll say in the last like 5 to 7 years, there is like this lewdness, almost like lasciviousness across all of his films, where they are extremely, there's a lot of sex in it. Now, when you look at All the Queen's Men, you know that that's an adult movie. You know that that's an adult movie because of the setting. The setting is in a strip club full of men. When you look at Beauty is the New Black, okay, yeah, that's an adult film. That's an adult film, like an adult series. And you can kind of, okay, that's a mature audience. I can't remember if when I started watching Joe's College Trip, if I saw Netflix put it as MA, like mature audience. I don't remember them putting it.
All right, so let me pause it right there. So for that one, I went and looked because I knew that we was going to talk about it. This movie is rated R. So that just to kind of just for that point, because she said she couldn't remember. So just and I'll finish letting her get her stuff off, and then we can talk about it.
As mature audience, if you thought that was a movie that you could watch with your family or watch with your son or your daughter that you're about to send off to college, that's something y'all can watch together, it is not. Because I cannot understand for the life of me why there would be a sex scene or like a quick sex scene in this movie. So
just real quick, because that's the part that kind of like, if you say just what she just on what she was, and I want to let her finish, but it's the thing that just kind of like, I don't make no sense to me. Most people, and this is sad, but it's the truth. Most high school kids, especially going into their senior year, 9 times out of 10 probably already had sex. Going to prom, like even if let's say if you say you was a virgin going into prom, the whole premise of prom and even the way it's promoted from whatever movie, whatever TV show, it's okay, after prom you're supposed to lose your virginity. So even if you're going into it like that, so you sitting here saying, what will be wrong for my high school kid that's about to graduate and go off to college cannot watch a movie with a slight sex thing? They wasn't even naked, they just alluded to it. So if your kid kind of understand what they was alluding to, that means your kid already familiar with what goes on during sex.
I don't know if it was this. I think it was like when they went into the whorehouse. That's kind of what.
Okay.
So that part of it.
Okay.
Necessary, so vile and so low that it actually took away from the entire movie. I do not recommend the movie. 0 out of 10. Why are we not talking about Tyler Perry and his excessive use of sex in these TV shows? Nobody ain't talking about that. And Tyler Perry was like our Black producer of film. Like, this man went from doing stage plays that had meaning, message, monologues, to straight up nastiness. There was a scene in this Joe's college trip where he actually took his grandson to like a brothel. Now, he could have done that scene without showing 2 naked people at the kitchen table having sex. Like, outlandishly having sex. Like, we would have understood. He could have portrayed those things in so many different ways to where you could still watch it with your family and not feel like cringy. Tyler Perry has been excessively using sex. Even when you think about Beauty is the New Black. Excessive. Some episodes from All the Queens, excessive. What the hell is going on? I don't know if he feel like he got something to prove it, but Tyler Perry, I feel like it was a force to be reckoned with, and he could stand all by himself. He didn't have to succumb to Hollywood standards. Nobody is talking about the way he is sexually exploiting people on his movies.
All right, because I feel like she just gonna drag it. My only thing I guess with that is I never looked at Tyler Perry like this was the Disney Channel. So
No,
like, go ahead.
Because before he was Tyler Perry, he had the plays, like the church plays and stuff like that. So like I said, I think that it was more so people were because I didn't know it was rated R. I didn't see the rating book.
Mhm.
It gave at the beginning, it gave a disclaimer. It didn't say nothing about the sex scene, but it said like all the curse words that he was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's known, I don't want to say family movies, but you can kind of, with most of them, you can kind of sit down and watch with your children.
But like with what children? Because I even went to go look at all the Medea Jones. Like these is like they all was at PG-13 or rated R.
Like I feel like the Medea ones, and it was the brothel scene that probably kind of threw it over the top.
I get that, but I think that the brothel scene only go over the top is if you don't know anybody who's ever took their 18-year-old son to a strip club. I think that literally that scene only shocks somebody if you never took your kid. Like
It shocks because it's Tyler Perry. Like I said, it's shocking because it was him. It was like
it would have been more shocking if I saw him having sex.
Ooh, Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
That would have been disgusting.
But that's what I'm saying. But I don't like what was so out like
because like I feel like people look at Tyler Perry as like kind of like, especially Medea movies and stuff like that. It's not but it's like it's a little family friendly.
But I don't reason why
it's still family friendly. Like I said,
you can't sit down and watch. Like you can.
Yes, you could.
You can't sit down. I wouldn't. I mean, my kids are older, but I would still feel uncomfortable watching that movie with my older children.
Why though? Just explain to me why. I guess why is that? Because I think that we're not being realistic, and I think y'all not being realistic with how old Tyler Perry audience is. Because this is like just go back from just original what you seen here saying people who've been supporting Tyler Perry since those stage plays. Those are grown parent people. Like those are people's parents and grandparents. Like that's my mother and her sister's age.
Right,
like,
so but those people probably are still watching.
So what you think? So, but my mother be in the house watching soap operas in the middle of the day. I'm sure my mom got 3 kids. She didn't had sex before. She didn't cover my eyes from you. Saying like I don't like that's why I'm saying saying when y'all see him talking about the sex scenes.
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, like what? Like that's why I'm.
I think it was one of the.
It was Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, that was the first one, and we had to close our eyes.
Like so that's why I'm seeing. I think again for me is like. I don't know. Y'all almost making it seem like Tyler Perry is Devon Franklin. Like, I don't like why is Tyler Perry hold to a standard where he's not supposed to have sex in movies that's on Netflix?
She didn't say. I mean, she said he could have done the brothel scene, but you didn't have to be, I guess, so vulgar with the
But that's what we see nowadays.
Yeah, I
feel like this is not the day. Like I said, now the old movies, yes, because it's more freedom now with what you show on TV, right or wrong.
But that doesn't make it right. Doesn't make
and
it
it
right.
wasn't. But even realistically, they wasn't even like butt naked where you could actually like it wasn't no boob out. Like it was no penis. It was no nothing. It was like they just showing you like they in the joint, and it was like in a comedic way. Like they got Miss Pat there the whole time. Like if you sit here and watch, if you watch that scene of Tyler Perry taking his grandson into this brothel and felt some type of way, then I think I would not say Joe. And again, you got to give Tyler Perry some credit because I think people don't give him enough credit because people praise Eddie Murphy for what Tyler Perry is doing when he did it in Norbert and stuff like that. I think, or the Clumps or whatever it was called it was Norbert. So when he played all those characters, Tyler Perry to me, I'm watching, I'm like, people really don't give Tyler Perry enough credit for how fire, like him playing himself, playing Medea, and then playing Joe, all three of them in the room and the way that's going on. I thought that to me was fire. Like I really like this. I'm not a huge Tyler Perry fan. To me, this was out of all the Tyler Perry stuff, this was my favorite joke by far. Like this ain't even, this not even up for debate on how good I thought this movie was. Because I think realistically,
so what was the one with the Medea boo? Like the frat party, didn't they have like somebody streaking? Like I said, I'm pretty sure they didn't have outlandish stuff.
No. I've seen all of them, and like I said, I'm not saying the movie was a good movie. It was funny, but I can see where people will come from with the brothel scene. Yeah, I think those trying to prove a point. Like your point is, and it was still something it was still a message in the movie.
Yeah, of course, the whole time.
But you could have like they're saying certain things could have been left out.
You could. I'm gonna tell you why you can't leave it out because I think even for most men, as a man, where that part of and I played the clip of the young lady sitting here saying she was at a brothel, she was a prostitute, and so you sitting here saying a prostitute put your grandson onto Black history. I think for most men, most of the time, if there's a woman who has taught you something, and we could talk about that when we tied into the Roof Chris conversation that was going on TikTok. I think women introduce men to a lot of things that they realistically will be blind to seeing if it's not a woman introducing you to it because you're so lusty and you're so gone off of her. And I like the way that the movie played out. It showed the fact that the grandson was so gone off the girl.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
And that too. So again, like I said, I think realistically, I can't understand how if you watch the movie in totality, how you get from the whole way the movie played out to sit here and say, like, literally, and even the brothel scene was hilarious because Miss Pat right there. So it's like, I'm not looking at that scene where I'm sitting here getting horny and getting, like, y'all know I'm a horny nigga. So if I'm watching that scene.
Getting horny, like, I would hope you wouldn't get horny off of that, but it was.
So if you're not getting horny off of it, then what's the point? I don't understand. What's the beef then? Only time I feel like it should be some beef if you got horny. Now, if you watch the Tyler Perry joint, like, damn, I couldn't even watch this Tyler Perry joint with my kids because I got chubbed up with my kids sitting beside me, then that's a different conversation, and I can respect that conversation. But if you sit here saying you still laugh at it, and because no, it's Miss Pat. You have never seen nothing with Miss Pat.
P-Valley.
But again, P-Valley is not a family-friendly show.
But
I think
what
y'all
I'm saying,
but I think Tyler Perry is, with the exception of like Beauty and the Black and like all the Queens which he was never the original person for that. He's that person now. But those are adult shows. Those are adult shows. Anything Medea, people are assuming Like, oh, okay, we can kind of sit down and watch this as a family.
But
nobody cares about the other stuff because you already know what it is.
But okay, let me ask you this: but how many kids really be like, "Oh, I want to watch"?
That's what I was about to say.
Some kids, I'm just saying, some kids.
I don't think that's a movie that somebody.
And I'm not saying like little kids. Oh, let's watch Madea. And so you never know. Some of them might like Madea. Some of them might.
I feel like it's more teenagers.
But
I don't feel like movie wasn't inappropriate for a teenager.
Okay, well, a lot of people disagree.
Yeah, I maybe again, I think that conversation is, I think people just not realistic with just how men talk to their nephews or grandkids. I think, and that to me is one of the reasons why I probably enjoyed.
No, I was kind of mad because, like I said, I was already watching it. I was told Caden to sit here and watch it with, and like I said, once you got to that scene, I'm like, damn, all right, now you got to explaining to do when you get to it.
But we had those conversations all the time. They should be explained.
But that's something that you probably still got to have. That's a conversation that you probably got to have. Like I said, I don't feel like it was inappropriate.
Yeah, that movie was too good. And again, like I said, I'm cool with just the Tyler Perry starting those conversations because that means people are obviously watching it. So I mean, again, it's a lot of people who could put out movies, and that's one of the reasons why I think
that's the sad part. Is just like you as a good message with it, and we still got something to complain about. Is like, damn, can't you know what I'm saying? No matter what, you know what I'm saying? It's always something.
Because then people also look at it as like, oh, okay, like this is a stereotypical. This is black people shit. This is what black people do. You know, it's like a stereotype. You just falling into all the stereotypes of what black people do.
No, I don't think that's a black people thing. I think that's just women not understanding how men actually
outside of that, though. Outside of that, it looks like, okay, this is stereotypical. Oh, the angry grandfather cussing his grandkids out. Oh, he took him to a brothel. Oh, he's like 16. He's trying to get us some ass from a
prostitute. So if and it was a strip club, would have been.
I think that's where a lot of people, like you said, we're looking at it from men and what you might have a conversation with. And I think that's what I said. A woman might be looking at it like, no, I'm not taking my son to no brothel or whatever the case.
I would be pissed if my husband or somebody took my son to it. You want to get him some ass from a prostitute? Like, what
yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. I think that job, but like I said, now if this was a girl, like if that was a girl and he took her to the strip, I might have like, no, that's too much.
Yeah, but a man taking
like I said, man taking your. I don't like I said. I think if everybody's looking at, like I said, from a woman's perspective, I wouldn't want my son or whatever. You might. I can see that part.
Yeah,
but I feel like I said, for as a man, like no, I feel like that was a perfect life lesson movie.
Yeah, like wait, I that's again, like I said, yeah, for that one, I can't believe that it was just. But again, like I said, it's Tyler Perry, and I feel like Tyler Perry is one of those people, realistically, who gets the emotions going. Do I think some people already kind of, as soon as you see a Tyler Perry movie, kind of go into, even if it's not a movie or it's a show,
Stranger Things and all them shit.
All of those. Again, I think we live in. And maybe I can understand where some people may get mad because if you feel like, okay, all of these other directors and all these other shows always got to have some sex in it, so maybe in your mind you feel like Tyler Perry normally doesn't have those type of things, so you feel like you was going there to look for something different. Then I can understand.
That's part of what she's saying. Like if you look at any of outside of the adult shows, like I said, or his series, outside of those and any other Madea movie, it doesn't have these sex scenes. So that's why I'm saying I would say it's family friendly because it doesn't have these sex scenes.
Because Madea was in it. If Madea wasn't in it, then we would have had an argument, right?
What you mean?
Like if it was any other Tyler Perry movie and Madea wasn't in it.
Even if Madea was in it and it was a sex scene, people will probably still feel some type because he doesn't do that. He's not known for that. Not on Madea movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I
was about to say, what was that one we was doing the summer? What was the one everybody was talking about during the summer? They ain't had sex in it.
Which was it? Straws?
No, not Straws. The other one. The shit when they was in the country. When we was in Florida and we watched it. That didn't have a sex scene in it, did it?
I can't remember.
When they was in the church and all that,
I can't remember the name of the movie, but let me play the clip from this movie.
I'll just throw those away. They're pointless.
Wait, random? Pointless? You trying to say our history is pointless?
What do you mean our history?
BJ, you don't know these are all historic places?
Historic? What do you mean?
Like this one right here.
This creek?
Money, Mississippi. That's where Emmett Till died. Emmett Till was this 14-year-old black kid killed by some racist white man because some white lady lied and said he whistled at her. And they dumped his body in that creek you're standing in front of.
Oh my God.
And I recognize this building right here. That's in Birmingham. They had sit-ins there during the civil rights movement. You should see what they did with them dogs and them fire hoses to us. Oh, I know you know this one.
Well,
it's the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You don't know the story? You ain't never heard of the Tulsa race riots when they tried to kill everybody that was black? What did we do? Be black, nigga. This right here, this gotta be Jasper, Texas, where James Byrd Jr. died. You know, Obama made a law in his name. Him and Matthew Shepard, the gay man that was killed in Wyoming. Are you serious right now?
What, is it
you
rough?
Gotta be. Please don't tell me y'all stayed in this room.
Yes, we did.
How did y'all stay in this room? This is the Lorraine Motel where Dr. King was assassinated. How the hell did y'all stay in this room?
Well, I mean, I don't know. My grandpa knew the lady at the front desk.
Nobody ever taught you this?
My dad didn't show me all this stuff, but I guess I was just so focused on the future and didn't really care to look at the past.
But if you don't know what happened in the past, how you know it's not happening again? I mean, humans gonna do the same thing over and over and over again until somebody stands up and says stop.
Again, like I said, you can't even get to that scene
and even
without the brothel.
Even in that scene and in that part, people was crucifying LeBron and them for the whole night.
I was exactly why I'm glad you put it. I was literally about to bring that up.
How they killed him for using the color of the hotel. Like I said, I feel like this was a great movie. Like I said, for somebody, even for younger kids or whatever. Too, like I said, you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, and that's cool. But people's argument, you could have had the brothel. Okay, cool. We took them to the brothel. You didn't have to have the people fucking as you walk through the door. But then
it's not real.
But it is real. It's still a brothel. This is what people are thinking. And then on top of that, like you're for.
I don't see.
Does he really have to lose his virginity? Like why?
Because did you see the little boy? Did you see how he was behaving? Yes, he had to lose his virginity. What are we? That's again. I think. Yeah, but again, let me tell you the reason why I like the whole way this played out.
Because it was so realistic.
It was so realistic, and I think realistically for a lot of goddamn kids now, y'all don't pay attention to how many of these kids really be just so. I just sent you a joint where it was the goddamn What was the girl dating the AI situation? I forgot what it was, but I literally just sent y'all a joke where a girl was sitting here about this talking about she about to start dating AI. I think because the phone is so much into people's hand, you don't realize how much your kids may be disconnected. That little boy didn't even know how to talk to a girl.
From experience. Then you lose yours to
a prostitute. Yeah.
So he's speaking from experience.
But what are we saying? So that's what we're normalizing. We should normalize taking our young sons to have sex with prostitutes.
No, it's not. No, but I think
if your kids are too much on the internet, hell yeah, I think you should.
But so, like I said, I get the whole purpose. I understand the movie. I understand
because he didn't even lose his virginity at the brothel.
He still lost it. He still lost it to a prostitute. You were trying to force him.
No,
I get the fact that you're trying to blacken him up, but what's him having sex with blackening him up?
But I think that is the thing, right? Even with me, I'm not going to sit here and force and have that like my son about sex. No, I don't. That's one thing I don't want him to experience. If you can wait it out, wait it out. It's not for everybody. But I think like it just being realistic. Like I said, yes, you can see all his titties and ass and all that. Cool. But I'm not sitting there forcing you to do it. That's your decision. You still got to make.
But he was forcing him.
He didn't force him. He said the girl.
He took him there and paid for him to have sex with a prostitute.
And what did they do? They played.
It don't matter if he played it. You took him there because you wanted him to lose his virginity. You were trying to force him to.
Right. I'm hoping that you would do it. That's hoping, but you don't.
Him to.
But everybody has their own little what's name. If I sit here and force you and go like, "Hey, we about to sit here and smoke," you don't have to. You can still sit there, but you don't have to do it.
Well, I feel like that's where the outrage came from. It's a few things in there. Like I said, it was a good movie. I get the message. I love the message of the movie. It was a good movie for me, but I can see where people were coming from. What was just a little bit too much for them.
I get if it was like a gay sex scene and we seen.
Well, what difference does it make? I get it straight. It's still a sex scene. Don't be homophobic.
Like I said, I don't feel like it was nothing wrong with having you need.
So okay, so question. So y'all was mad about the sex scene, but y'all was cool with the white people calling them nigga.
No, who was mad? That's why. But no, because at the end of the day, like I said, you could keep the brothel. Okay, fine, keep the brothel. We don't have to see the people smashing on the side. We already know you're in a brothel. She's there. She's like, oh, these bitches, these hoes, they're gonna do. We already know that this is where we are. So you didn't.
But would you enjoy that? But I don't think you would have enjoyed that.
I could have went
character.
without it.
I don't think you would have enjoyed that character. The girl.
She wasn't fucking. Who cares?
Right, but I feel like that's what she was like. Oh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do like that.
You still would have. It still would have hit the same way.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like even the conversation is how many girls are forced to do shit that they don't want to do.
No, I'm not talking about the scene where they're in the room. Like that, all of that could have stayed. People are they might be out, but it's like the sex scene in the brothel. When he first came in, you had somebody on there. They was in the kitchen or the dining room. I don't know where they was, but they was getting it in. You could have done without that. That didn't have.
I'm gonna tell you why you couldn't have done without it, because that little boy is so attached to his phone and not knowing what's going on in the real world.
And
if you would have took him into a brothel,
exactly.
So if you would have took him into a brothel without
what he
that
say?
going on,
Are they okay? Do you need help?
Exactly.
That's the first thing
Why is she making all those noises? Like, he don't know. He is too green. Like, I think y'all looking at it because you know what goes on in the brothel already. This little boy did not know what was going on. Right. He was lost. Think about when he was in the room and the girl had to tell him, boy, stop touching them goddamn towels. You know what the hell be on them towels.
It's so crunchy.
Exactly. So, again, that's why I see and say, I think you needed that. I think because, again, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not like a huge diehard Tyler. And I feel like I am. I feel like we come on here every time Tyler Perry drops something, we watch it and we talk about it. But I think people just put him on a different pedestal, which I feel like is not fair to him, and which he may not even care. Because again, like I say, I'm sure there are endless directors who people don't talk about at all.
But he put himself there.
What you mean?
He put himself there with the work he puts out. People hold you to they get used to what they're used to from you giving them. So when you switch it, it's like, oh, what is this? Oh, what is this? He's not. I swear, I don't think in any of the Madea movies, I don't think he's ever had a scene like that.
I'm no. Listen to what I'm saying. A lot of them was PG-13, so this part may be the first one that was actually rated R. So you may be absolutely right, but I feel like, to me, what's the difference between just like I know that all them Joes be having cussing in it. I know that the scenes that went viral from Madea movies before always her cussing somebody out. So even when it was just that relationship and that little back and forth banter, even again when Tyler Perry was playing him, when he's playing himself, he's playing Madea and he's playing Joe, and they just in the kitchen and they just cutting up.
Like I would have got if you would have said, "Oh, I felt some type of way when he told the bitch to get in the car." You know what I'm saying? Like you would have said something like that, like why she got to be a bitch.
But I would even still
no, but that's what I'm saying. But if you would have told me you had a problem with that, all right, cool. Like all right, he ain't got to talk to her that way. But like I said, it was a great movie.
Yeah, that
was a great. I feel like that was probably the best. Like I said, Madea. When it comes to Madea or anything like that, I think that was one of the best.
Yeah, that was. I ain't gonna lie to you. Out of all the Tyler Perry Jones, like that to me was my favorite Jones to watch so far. But between that, even if I've seen he had compared that to Stroll's, like because y'all
get mad at him doing. Oh, you doing the same thing? Oh,
yeah,
all
exactly.
black women. Wow, black women got to be this. Wow, that.
And guess what? And this character don't have nothing. This realistically, outside of the girl towards the end, this movie had nothing to do with women at all. This was a black man, or these were black men dealing with three different. And I think most people, again, for most men, you can appreciate this movie because it's like realistically, it's kind of no, it's the truth, and no, it's just the realistically on how sometimes a father works so much. Like think about the dad, he worked so much he could not realistically even take his son to go on his college tour. So hey, granddad, can you do it? And I think a lot of black parents, not even just men or grandparents, I think a lot of them can relate because hey, my work schedule is so crazy, I don't have time to sit here and do this for my kids. So here come the grandparent show up and get to sit here and do this and build this bond, which realistically, when the grandfather was a father, we had the same conversation about our dad on here before a million times. He didn't have the chance to do so, even when they had that little scene in the car and he was talking about like he didn't have the opportunities to show up for the little boy's father because he had to work. So now I got the opportunity to show up for my grandson and teach him different things. So again, like I said, that to me was, again, when most people complain about Tyler Perry movies and you sit here and say they always the same thing as this black woman got to be a superhero and this and the third. Well, this movie was a Tyler Perry movie, a Madea, quote unquote, a Madea movie that had nothing to do with women.
But then on top of it, it's not Madea, it's Joe. He's a horny nigga. He always whistling or saying some inappropriate shit.
And that shit was funny though.
I get it. Like I said, if it was Madea, but it wasn't Madea, it's Joe.
Yo, let me tell you something about how much I love this is just an off-brand thing. I love how petty Samsung is. Like, if y'all people who don't follow Unravel, don't watch none of their content, but if you just go to their page, like when they be doing like little behind-the-scenes stuff, 90% of the league probably got iPhones. They literally in every video they always blur the stuff. And I'm like, what? Because like if you never see it and you don't put two and two together, you be like, what the hell? They got weed or something in their hair? Why they blurring the Jones out? But the whole time it'd be the iPhone product. Like even just when they just had that little commercial, like somebody had on like an Apple Watch, they just blurred it out. It's just so funny how petty Samsung is. Like I'm not about to spend all this money on promoting this league, and I'm sitting here able to promote these Apple products. So they literally just blur them out. But again, like I said, to me, if y'all haven't seen Joe's College Road Trip, that to me, just my personal opinion, that is my favorite Tyler Perry movie I've seen. Like that joint is a must see. It's a joint that you can realistically, again, if you have older kids, and we talking about high school, like I think we got to be more serious when we talking about what these high school kids are actually looking at, because they on the same social media we on. So even we can even tie that into when we sit here talking about the girls with the lingerie stuff. They on the same social media that we on. So if they seeing half of the stuff we seeing, that little shit that you seeing in that little brothel ain't nothing compared to what you might see on Instagram or Twitter or any of those other platforms. So again, I think that's just not. Again, I don't think we being realistic when we sit here talking about what kids see or don't see via social media. So again, if you do have a high school kid, though, especially if you got a little boy, sit down and let that little nigga watch that with him. And if you have to have an uncomfortable conversation about what a brothel is and what's going on, don't have it. I'd rather me, if I'm a parent, I'd rather me have these conversations with my kid than my kid have to figure it out via social media. And I love the fact that as soon as the movie starts and they get in the car, Joe throw the little boy's cell phone out in the middle of the road somewhere.
And that lady just passed too.
Who?
The GPS.
Oh, the black lady that made the GPS. Yeah, rest in peace to her. And I ain't gonna lie. That movie has so many different little cool little black facts. And again, and it's to me, even somebody who watching it, and I kind of even made me be like, one, when he threw the phone away, how much black history do you actually know? And that's again why I said I just love playing these random black history facts, and I love how much I can find on social media, or like right now because we're in February. And then two, I even thought about it just like, damn, like how much are we even, because it's easy to sit here and say how much the kids is into their phone. But even when he threw the phone, I'm like, damn, what if that was me? Like, could you go on a road trip without your phone?
Hell no. Fuck no.
And that's but we grown. So that to me, that's almost worse than watching a kid can't go without their phone.
No, because we can't read a map. We was using a map because it still told us the direction.
Yeah, so that again, that's just something to think about. But again, like I said, let me play.
But would you do it?
What? Go out of town without a phone?
Like, could you just go the rest of the what's name off the strength? You don't, like, I ain't about to go ahead and buy a new phone. Like, can you just be like, all right, fuck it until I get back?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if it's gone, like if it's just like your phone, like if you sit here and say you just lost your phone in the middle of a trip and be like, I'm just gonna thug out the trip without that phone. Yeah, you can do it. You should be able to do it. I hope you can do it. Again, another big conversation that was on social media, and like I said, just women introducing men to cool things. It was a conversation via social media about Ruth Chris. And this is, to me, is like, and this is so funny to kind of see, because I mean, and I'm not mad at the people who in the comment section sit here saying, are we talking about Ruth Chris? Because I do think realistically, it depends on probably where you from. And I think some people like, y'all can't sit here and act like Ruth Chris is like Outback. I think it just depends on who the people are. I think it depends on how long you've been actually outside going on dates, how long you've been going on dates, what type of dates you have experienced. Because I can understand for some people where they feel like, bro, I'm not about to put on no suit and tie to go to Ruth Chris. But again, it depends on the person. So for some people who, if this is your first time going, you may feel like you got to dress up. But if you'd have been in Ruth Chris a couple times and you even may know which areas are maybe a little bit more upscale, which areas are kind of like, oh, I can pull off a sweatsuit and a hoodie and nobody would even care, won't even think twice. So again, like I said, I do want to play that conversation because it did become a huge heated debate via social media.
Has it always been a dress code?
It's never been a dress code. It's not a dress code to get in Ruth Chris. And I think, again, for people who live in the DMV
but
area.
It's more of a, I only been twice.
And what you have on? Because I know you ain't putting on no goddamn dress clothes.
Yeah, I had a polo on.
It's probably not. Maybe it's not. I've never been.
No,
but
I don't think it's not. Listen to what I'm telling you. I know for a fact it's not a dress code. I've been to Ruth Chris literally in a hoodie or some jeans and a t-shirt and a bubble coat. Like all the things that he see and said that he didn't want to see people in Ruth Chris in. I've been to Ruth Chris in that, and I've literally tipped like crazy. I was a lady. I only reason why I didn't send it because I'm like, I don't want to overdo the conversation. But it was a woman who worked at Ruth Chris, and she worked at Ruth Chris for over 10 years, and she was like, no, do you know how many servers like be arguing in the back trying to either get when black athletes come in there or when the quote unquote the dude who looked like a street dude coming in there, because those be the people who go and tip and not gonna ask a million questions about, oh, how much does this cost and this, that, and the third.
But I think that might be the real conversation. Is like, it's easier to, because like I said, it still comes to judgment. Because like I said, you can look at, like, if people always gonna be like, I don't want the table. I don't like it comes to judgment.
No, because I think because you know the difference between when a nigga look like he looked like a trapper and then he just looked like a dirty nigga. I mean, excuse my French, but I mean that's just the difference. It's like those two people. I hope like sometimes I think people when you having these conversations you kind of get them mixed up. Not talking about the dude who about to go to. You're not sitting here saying, oh, I'm gonna go to Roof Chris or go anywhere. Y'all know me personally. I done came on here and complained about the Nike Ski Tech like a million times on here. Like we done had this conversation a million times. I'm not talking about the dude in the all black dingy sweatsuit that looked like he literally ain't never washed his butt. But it's a difference between somebody who got like a streetwear outfit on, or I got a whole just a nice sweatsuit. I can have a sweatsuit.
But could you go in there like that though?
Yeah, you can go. It's not no dress code.
No, I'm saying you can go in there with the, like you said, the dirty, dingy scheme.
I mean, you can, but I hope you wouldn't. So again, like, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a difference. Like we are when we sit here talking about those two people and we talking about the dress code. I hope that we know that there is two different types of people when you sit here comparing like just the street look. I think sometimes people just overdo some of these conversations. But again, like I said, let me play his clip and then we can kind of just get into it because I can't believe like he was tripping.
So I'm gonna talk about something that's on my mind because like I gotta get it out. So over this last weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, my wife and I, we was at Ruth Chris, right? We went to Ruth Chris. That was our first time, and I did a video on it, and like we were just like grateful to be there because last year around this time we couldn't afford to be there. We couldn't afford much of anything, so you know we just did a video. Like I was just so grateful, right? But there's one thing that I do have to talk about. I don't know what it is with us, and I hope you understand what I mean when I say us. I don't know what it is with us. Like we feel like we have to bring this like street energy everywhere we go. Like, why am I sitting down with my wife at Ruth Chris, cutting into this nice ribeye, and I see dudes walking by with their pants sagging, with their jeans sagging, with these bubble coats with their hoods on. Like, yo, we gotta stop. Like we gotta
just real quick. Let me just pause it. And again, but okay, let me just maybe the jean sagging thing. Okay, cool. I'm cool with if that's the conversation that you want to have. If you want to go jean sagging, but let's be clear. Listen, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna say everybody, but most people wearing a bubble coat. Nobody ain't wearing a bubble coat that's less than $500. So for you to sit here and say why I'm seeing people in there with a bubble coat and you literally just sitting here saying you couldn't afford to go to Roof Chris last year, how the fuck can you judge a nigga with a $500 coat on?
Might not know it's $500.
Well, then that nigga should shut the fuck up. Because I just a bubble coat, niggas ain't wearing no bubble coat just to be wearing like just a regular ass bubble coat. Like that's not even a thing. Like niggas who wear bubble coats 9 times out of 10, they probably wearing a Montclair. And I say 500. That's a light coat. That's not even a Montclair. Montclair start off at 1,500. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like he's being like you're a black man and you being extremely judgy. But again, like I said, I know for a fact, maybe 15 years ago when Roof Chris was a thing where everybody in the DMV was geeking to go to Roof Chris and they would just because people wanted to take the picture with the red bag in their hand. Niggas was not going there running with the red. Niggas was coming off the block. Hey, I'm gonna take my girl. And maybe it depends on the girl you're going with. Like if your girl you're going with, she like to really put like super get dressed up. Of course, you're not gonna go there in a sweatsuit and she's super dressed up because y'all just gonna look nuts together. But you still may have on some good jeans. So are you sitting here telling me I'm supposed to put on like some slacks and a Chelsea boot to go to Roof Chris? Like, nigga, are you stupid?
I ain't going to. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say that you got to do that, but I feel like you're not about to say and just like, oh, I just got finished playing basketball type.
No, of course, but nobody ain't going to do that. But when you sitting here saying it just certain Jones where it's like, dog, I'm not.
But I think that's what he's kind of like, what he's describing. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to see that in Roof Chris. Your ass out in Roof Chris, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, pants. I don't want to see nobody with their pants sagging. Period. But again,
that's what I'm saying. But if that's what I'm taking off. That if that's what you're saying, then I get why you would be in an uproar. If I'm seeing it, I'm sitting here and is because the lights are low and all that, and then I see you just coming around with your draw showing. Yeah,
of course. I mean that's I'm not.
That's why I say I think that's where I think that's where the whole it should be a dress code type of shit. Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but certain restaurants, if you want to sit here and get your money up, but you really want to spend more money on or if you want to spend more money on the restaurant you're going to, then don't go to Roof Chris. Because guess where I've never been because I don't own a pair of hard bottom shoes. I ain't never been to Maestro's. Because there is a dress code to get into Maestro's. You can't complain about a restaurant that don't got a dress code. Like you cannot sit here and say I was just too broke to go somewhere last year, and then tell this could have been a nigga, man. This is just man. Me and my girl couldn't get a restaurant nowhere else. We just going to Roof Chris for Valentine's Day. Like, and again, like I said, it depends on how many times you've been there. Because the more I've been there, the more you get loose on your dress code.
Because I think that's the thing. Is just like, because remember, Red Lobster was like it dates spot. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like top tier before all these.
Like a million years ago. And the same thing with Roof Chris. Like again, it's so many different restaurants that pop up. I think people are he just again, and that's what people was cooking him at. And I'll play a couple more. I'm gonna let him finish playing his clip, and I'll even play other people responding to him. I think realistically, he just not being
realistic.
And I know. Listen, some of y'all are gonna be like, "Oh, you was just thanking God for this. Now you judging." Listen, I'm not judging. I'm not judging them, and I'm not trying to be cynical. But we have to like, yo. We gotta understand, like, yo, there's a time and place for every. First of all, like, we have to understand that how the world reads us is a reality. Like, yo, the way you present yourself is how the world reads you. We already are fighting an uphill battle at times, and I understand there's a lot of systematic things, but like, why are you like? We gotta do better. Like at Ruth Chris. This is supposed to be an establishment that you know what kind of establishment you're going to see. That's the thing. Like, you know, you're not going to no Applebee's. You know, you're not going to Chili's. You know, you're not going to.
I just want to pause it right there. That's again for him. You say that's your opinion that they're not going to Applebee's or Chili's. It's some people that Roof Chris, especially if you've been going to Roof Chris for years. Roof Chris to some people is like Chili's and Applebee's. Some people, but again, those are people who actually go out and go fine dining on the regular. Like, I'm sure and again, it depends on the quality of women you date. It depends the quality of life, how you live. No, I know bras who you can't take the Roof Chris because they've been probably doing that, especially if it's a woman who really been into fine dining and she may be in her 30s now. She been doing that shit since she was a teenager.
God damn.
So again, it's just the times that we live in. Think about you saying goddamn, but think about how elaborate these kids' first birthday be. Kids be going to school in fucking designer clothes. So you think a kid go to school in designer clothes and you think his mother ain't never been to Roof Chris before? So that's my whole point. Sometimes we just got to think about like he's sitting here trying to sit here and make it be like Roof Chris is like he putting the bar. That's not even a bar.
Well, for him, if that's his first time going there.
But again, if that's your first time going there, how the fuck are you telling niggas how to come if they already been there?
He don't know that if that's his first time. Like, he probably just know.
And that's why niggas was
saying how much the food costs or whatever. So I'm expecting the high class. Like, so when I get here, I don't want to see that.
Like I said, I get the complaint. If you complain about niggas with their ass,
but guess what? If I'm complaining about niggas, guess what? But let's sit here and say if that's my complaint. If my biggest worry, even going out the house, y'all know I'm an old man. I've complained about the ski mask. I do believe niggas should pull their fucking pants up and a whole bunch of other shit. But guess what? If I feel like that about certain things, I'm old enough and I've been more experienced on just going out to places. Guess where I won't go? Even if we just bring it locally. Guess what? Top Golf, I will never take my black ass to. I'm never going to that one in fucking Oxon Hill next to the MGM. Why? Because I know it's Top Golf. Quote unquote Top Golf is supposed to be some cool, extravagant shit. But it's not, on that side of town, I know it's a bunch of hood shit and some ghetto nigga shit. So I'm not going to go there. If I do go there, I'm not going to go there and sit here and be complaining about it smell like weed. Oh, niggas in there loud as shit at this. I'm in fucking Oxon Hill, dog. What do I expect? If I want a white experience to go to Top Golf, I'm gonna take my black ass to the one out west in Virginia, or I'm gonna go to the one further out, going towards Fredericks, Maryland. It's other top. You gotta drive though. But again, we talking about a nigga with low dating experience. You can't sit here and tell you don't know how. Again, that's what I'm saying. I live in the DMV area. I remember damn near probably almost 12 to 15 years ago where the Roof Chris have taken a picture. If you go anybody on DMV and Instagram and they was like some outside getting money type of niggas, it was a thing to take the picture holding the red Roof Chris bag. I haven't seen that bag in God knows how long. That's why to even hear this as a conversation, it's like, man, nigga, shut your broke ass up. You coming on the internet complaining about some shit that niggas was doing 10 years ago. And if you just getting into some money, you can't complain. Shut your broke ass up. You can't make the fucking rules for how a nigga gonna say, if I can afford to be here, you can't tell me how to dress.
His expectations probably just was different. That's all.
But
I've never been to Roof Chris. So if I went, I would be thrown off too, because I'm thinking Roof Chris is supposed to be this high class. I wouldn't, I would have thought it was a dress code too.
But it's Valentine's Day. Everybody go everywhere.
But somebody that's never been.
But you would think for Valentine's Day you would put your best on and you would sit here
But your best is compared to how old you are, and your best is compared on who's sitting beside you. Because what if I'm sitting across from Shanika, and Shanika best is fucking a Sheen outfit?
But like I said, what he said with the whole, like I said, the bubble jacket, I don't the whole with your ass out. I mean,
yeah, of course,
that right there, like that part alone, like you have your ass, like that. I think, like the bubble jacket, I don't think that bubble jacket means anything. I think it's the more so you had your ass out. Because a bubble jacket don't mean that's just a coat. You got to do coat check or you put it on behind your seat. Mm-hmm. That don't show anything. I think it's more so with your ass out, you got the pants sagging. That's what I think is the problem. I don't think it had nothing to do with the bubble jacket.
Well, he said the bubble jacket.
Yeah, no, he said they had it on. But that's what I'm saying. But I feel like it's more so of the argument is with the pants down.
I think it's an argument of it fits a profile that he probably didn't expect to be at Ruth Chris with him, because again, he felt like he's never been there. It's this high class restaurant, like.
But guess what? But even to bring it back local, that's how. Guess what? Originally, when for people, if you went to when you went to iPick, when iPick first was iPick, that's just even how iPick was. Niggas was on their best behavior in the iPicks. iPick is ghetto as shit now, and that's why some people who've been going to iPick don't even go to iPick no more. It's a newer junk that they go out somewhere in Virginia, or it's a newer junk out Baltimore. So again, for people, if you have been experiencing some of this shit long enough. And again, maybe he look like a younger nigga, so maybe he just haven't experienced life enough. So that's just where he at right now. But again, I think realistically, you kind of just you can't sit here and be like, this is my first time going somewhere, and then you sitting here shitting on people. Because I know, again, if you live, I don't know where this dude is from, but you know your areas. I even know certain areas where it's like, dog, I know where there's more upscale on. If you really want to put your good shit on and you want to be around the uppity niggas, you know where you could drive a little bit further and get a way more uppity. Now the question will be, are you comfortable around being with these type of white people? Because you popping your shit, but you may realistically be, it could be, I don't know where he from, but it could be a Ruth Chris where it's like, all right, this shit ain't in like the greatest area of all times. But guess what? In the DMV, the best view visual wise, but it's probably maybe just a little bit even more, the 9 times out of 10, the one is people was getting that little red bag off with the hood vibes to it, the John and Pentagon, but that got the best view because you get to see the airport and all of that from your seat. But again, I think it's a lot of people. Realistically, you could drive a little further out. It's some Ruth Chris's in some nicer areas than that goddamn Pentagon airport jump. But again, it's just depend on what your experience is, or what you're looking for, or how much you really trying to get into that uppity bag. Or again, if you're trying to really get into your uppity bag, there are more expensive restaurants. But him just sitting here saying it's just like, bro, you just getting here, dog. Like how you can't complain, you just getting here. That's like niggas' first time going to Miami.
No, but that's what I'm saying. People. I think you're not wrong for your complaint or whatever the case may be, but I feel that's what I'm saying. I think people experience is what you expecting. Like, all right, damn, well, we couldn't go here. Now we go here. And it's like, oh, damn, you niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's your fault. Like, you can't be mad. You can't be mad that you niggas is here. You niggas probably was here before you was.
But that's what I'm saying. So y'all can't be mad at him for that's what he's experiencing. He's like, all right, damn,
that's his opinion.
That's his opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. You taking your girl to Ruth Chris on Valentine's Day, nigga. I don't like, fuck you and your opinion.
That's crazy. Like everybody don't like just because you was tricky. Like
that's some. But again, to me, even when you talk about restaurant, and like, listen to what I'm saying. My tricking days is far behind me. But dog, I was doing this in my 20s, dog. Again, and I still would have never been like. But again, maybe because when I was going, it wasn't a bunch of niggas there, so I didn't even have to feel that type of way. So, but again, I know how to drive. I know where to sit here. When I want to get away from niggas, I know where to go. I've always been like that when it comes to dating.
If you were going now, if you had never been before, right? Never been. And you're
the
going
girl said,
now,
let's go to,
and you go now, and you like, oh, okay, boom, let's go. And you see them running around, you're like, well, goddamn.
No, but listen to what I'm saying. Again, even when we sit here saying, and maybe again, I even look because I listen to too many podcasts, and I think that is one of the cool things about podcasts. And it's like, dog, you kind of, if you listen, especially, okay, let's sit here and just say for somebody, if I'm sure for people who listen to Joe Budden, dog, imagine if we sit here, if you brought this fucking Ruth Chris conversation up to grown ass men who really been going out on and are married in relationships and been going out and been getting money for years. Niggas will laugh at this. They probably won't even make this a topic because that shit would sound such like some crackhead shit. But guess what? For this dude, it's just like you sitting here complaining about something that you just getting on to. Like he started his video off saying he couldn't afford to go there last year.
But I think that's the conversation of people with life experience. It's to me. Okay, let me ask you this question, right? For you was heavy in the strip clubs. You've been to a lot of strip clubs. You've seen a lot of strip clubs, right? But your experience, would you tell somebody like, hey, well, go to this one? Like, what you would say, going to a strip club, you want to go to the hole in the wall where it's not right. But people might say, oh, well, damn, I want to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody experiences.
So that would be my point, though. So if again, I would sit here and explain to somebody like, hey, if you want that bougie experience, like if you really like into liking white women, go downtown and go to a gentleman's club. But if you're trying to get every bang for your every dollar and you ain't got to even go nowhere near $1,000 and you want to get your meat wet, go to the Ebony Inn, go to Sensationals, go to Fragos. I can give you a long list. But that's my point. I'm not going to sit here and talk about something I ain't never done. Your first experience is something you can't sit here and complain about your first experience in 2026.
Roof Chris, you've never done it, and you had expectations for it.
And that's what I'm saying. And I think that is kind of like the argument. It's just like, what is your expectation? Like I said, I went to King of Diamonds one time on doing spring break, and I was like, damn, this shit was like just saying the shit that they was doing. But you talking about the money I spent just to get in there, like, oh, damn, you got to do this, you got to do that. And then you come just fucking, these clubs now, like, oh, hell no, I wouldn't sit here and waste my money on that because, like I said, I experienced it and seen that, oh, damn, this is how it is. So that's why I'm saying I get what your argument is because you've done it so many times, but you, like I said, the way you talk about it, like, all right, you think of people supposed to be like, all right, I'm coming in my best, put my best on.
I mean, again, maybe I haven't heard people talk about Roof Chris like that in a long time.
Because they probably been going. He's never been. He probably was like, yeah, this like he doing this big one going here. So, and this was his first experience.
Yeah, I mean that's what he said. But again,
that's what I'm saying. So he has a right to feel some type of way
in 2026, where you got where people for a living.
If he couldn't afford it, he probably looking at these little young niggas like, how the hell they getting? Like what they doing here? So he has a right to feel how he feels, whether you agree with it or not. This is his first time being there, and he had high expectations.
Yeah, to me, just in 2026, your expectations should not be that high.
And like you said, they don't post it. They when last time you heard somebody post about Roof Chris like that?
In 10 years.
All right, so then he don't know. If he's never been and they not posting about it, how would he know?
Yeah, I feel like that's unfair.
It's an opinion.
I get it if it was somebody who was going in on the regular and they complaining. But you talking about somebody who ain't been there, and this is
I would probably feel that I'm not gonna get on the internet. I'll probably be like, well, damn, like I ain't have to dress up. Look at this, because I've never been.
But you would think, oh damn, I'm supposed to put my best on.
I mean, again, like I said, maybe I'm on the internet too much. I see the restaurants that new. It's because it's to me. Again, that's why I'm saying I'm really judging him because there's so many new restaurants that people sit here and show you the ambiance is meant to get dressed up. Everybody in the restaurant. That's why I say maybe if this was a conversation 10 years ago, I can understand. But we sit here saying, "Oh, people make a living off of reviewing restaurants," and that's why even for him to sit here and say, "It's Valentine's Day. I'm taking my girl to Roof Chris," and you feeling disappointed because and you seeing a bunch of niggas because that's where Roof Chris is now.
Whoa. And I can give you a perfect example. So if somebody say, oh, we about to go to park brunch, what do you think you're going to have to wear? You're going to have to put your best on, right?
I think I know that you have to put a better effort into getting into the park if you not nobody compared to Rose.
But what I'm saying,
and guess what? And I'm a nigga who, guess what? I don't go out, but I'm on social media enough to know the difference in the clientele that go to Park on 19th and go to Rose Bar.
No, but
there's some people who probably do both and probably wear the same thing. But that person who can wear both, the way he can wear the Rose Bar and wear the Park, I'm sure that person is somebody important.
But what I'm saying is your expectation is, and like I said, we take it back to when we was going out. Like, all right, yeah, we about to go to Park. So then, all right, damn, you got to have your hard bottoms on, right? But then you'll see a nigga come in there with his sneakers on, some gym shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and then guess what? And you knew that nigga was somebody, and that's why he's getting in like that. And that's why me and you got these fucking. I'm glad you used that example.
But that's what I'm saying. But we in the club, like, damn, how the fuck this nigga get in here with that shit in? So he and Roof Chris, where he put his shit on, and he's like, damn, this nigga in here with his ass out and a fucking bubble.
So guess what? So guess what that should tell you? Work harder, little nigga.
He did work hard.
Like I think I think you just picking it because you've done it so many times. But like I said, I get a person argument. I'm like, damn, I'm sitting here about to sit here and spend fucking $500 on this. Just like remember when we had that conversation, I forgot. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking at least $300 out for a date. And I'm like, damn, you taking that much for a date? So like I said, people expectations might be different.
Yeah, let me tell you this, little nigga. He should stay in his lane, and whoever the woman is he with, he should be happy. Because though I've been to fucking Miami Prime 112, and my fucking bill was $500.
He's not complaining about the money.
He complained about who you
He's
niggas complaining
about who the hell was
but guess what? Guess what you wouldn't see in fucking again. We talking about restaurants. So my bill ain't never was $500 at Roof Chris, but that fucking bill. And even when I went to Prime 112, I had on some fucking whatever them little what was the jeans at that time, like Balmain jeans. Them jeans was $1,500. It was still jeans and red bottom sneakers. They were still red bottoms, but they were tennis shoes. They wasn't fucking hard bottoms. Again, for this nigga, again, like I said, if you're gonna complain about an experience, I think realistically, you should take time to really experience shit.
And he is. Now he's experiencing it. He's in the financial bracket where he can do it. Now that he will. But he wasn't there before.
I'm gonna hurry up and try to get the rest of it. I do want to play some of people's response because the niggas was giving 10. That nigga a whole new asshole.
Texas Roadhouse. You know you're not going to, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing against those places. I'll eat at all those places. I'm not too bougie for none of them places. But like, you know you're not going there. Why are you bringing this like energy? Why are you bringing this like attire that, come on, jeans sagging? You can't, you eating at Ruth Chris, you can go buy a belt. I hate that for us. I hate that we do that. Like us men, we got to do better as men. Like, go get yourself a pair of slacks. Go get yourself, you know what I'm saying, a belt. Go get yourself, you know what I'm saying, a nice collar shirt, a sweater, a coat, something, a blazers. Like, come on. You don't gotta
just listen to this. You want me to dress like fucking Carlton Banks to go out and spend at least $200 something? I'm not doing it, my nigga. Suck my dick. Like, what are we talking about? I'm not sitting here spending. You want me to spend more money to sit here and go spend more money just to go? No, dog. I'm going. If I can't go, for somebody who has never been to Maestro's, you know, I've never been to Maestro's because I would have to go exactly what he just said and said. I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting here doing all that to sit here and go to nobody's restaurant.
But let me ask you, the first time you went to Ruth Chris, how did you dress?
I'm sure the pictures are probably realistically up on my page. I probably had on realistically, I know for a fact, probably I should have went. And you know, the crazy thing is because I know I almost want to sit here and say I had on my Grizzlies throwback jacket with those Nike Forces. That was the same color as the Grizzlies throwback jump. I want to say that's what I had on. Almost 100% positive that's what I had on. And I'm not sitting here saying like I have never been to Ruth Chris with a Burberry shirt on before. I have, but I also been to Ruth Chris with a hoodie on multiple times. Because I know one Valentine's Day, I literally had on a Ralph, not a Ralph Lauren, but what was one of those like their little streetwear version of whatever when Ralph was, I forgot what Ralph Lauren jump
Purple
was.
Label.
Was it Purple Label? It might have been something else. But anyway, it was a hood. It literally was a Ralph Lauren hoodie. I just can't remember. And it wasn't like the little polo jump. I can't remember what Ralph Lauren brand was, but it was a hoodie. I had a big ass, like a expensive ass coat on. And some jeans because it was on Valentine's Day and we was going to go see Mike Epps after that. So there's no way in hell I'm going to go see Mike Epps because that for him, maybe again, like nigga, that was just like the warm-up jump.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think the argument is the pants sag and shit.
But yeah, like I said.
So a video came across my feed of a young man explaining how he took his wife out to Ruth Chris for Valentine's Day and was a little appalled by the dress some people had in there by wearing like bubble coats and their jeans were sagging and they appeared very casual in, you know, a nice establishment. And he proceeded to, you know, give the whole we need to do better speech. We meaning Black folk when it comes to you know, how we present ourselves in certain spaces. And commentary like that immediately lets me know that he himself probably did not grow up in, you know, affluent circumstances. I believe he said in the video going to Ruth Chris, that was his first time him and his wife had been there. And I will always shout this to the rooftops. You cannot advise people on how they should act in spaces that you are still very unfamiliar with. Respectability politics when it comes to Black people will always bite us in the ass because a lot of times y'all have an idea of what people should be doing and how they should be looking. But again, it's a lifestyle that you yourself are not privy to. So it is just what you think, i.e. dressing up in Sunday's best to do things like going to brunch, pulling out every last piece of monogram designer you have to show up somewhere to prove that you have money. As someone who grew up around money, as someone who grew up going to private schools and growing up around white, wealthy, my mother, you know, is a self-proclaimed Black bourgeoisie. She grew up around wealth.
And real quick, and I just want to pause that just because what she said, and that kind of takes it back to just even the Tyler Perry movie where that was how his son grew up. His son grew up super bougie around all the whites, so you kind of just feel some type of way about being around Black people. So again,
I want y'all to know that the idea that y'all have of wealth as someone who probably does not have is completely inaccurate. I i.e., thinking that Ruth Chris is a super nice establishment to where you need to be dressed a certain kind of way. Ruth Chris is quite literally a step above Cheesecake Factory. When it comes to like chain steakhouses, people who actually enjoy fine dining know that Ruth Chris is probably like bottom of the barrel when it comes to like steakhouses, period, but especially like chain steakhouses like Eddie V's, Morton's, STK, Del Frisco's, you know, those kind of establishments. Like Ruth Chris is not good. And it should never be considered like, oh, you need to come up in here a certain kind of way. And also, as a former server, I want y'all to know when it comes to how servers typically treat you. Now, mind you, are servers racially biased a lot of times? Absolutely. But a lot of times what servers clock is how much you're ordering. If you're getting apps, entrees, hella drinks, and you're not really clocking for what your bill is, like you don't ask for prices of things. You don't really give a fuck. You just ordering. And then when the bill comes, it's one check and an Amex or a Chase Sapphire or a Capital One is slammed on the table because I know you about to get some points back. That's what servers care about. They not giving a fuck about if you have on something nice. And that's why I say like respectability politics gets you nowhere, because the things that you guys think that people are checking for when it comes to like wealth status or you actually knowing what you're talking about does not come from how you are outwardly presented. It comes from how you move. It comes from how you speak. It comes from how you present yourself like articulately.
All right, so again,
can I ask you this question? I mean, because you go out dates wise, like how a woman dress, would that?
Of course, and that's why I said it originally. I think the woman that you out with, she kind of sets the tone, and that's why again, for sometimes even for the dudes, the kind of like, and I ain't trying to put the blame on the woman, but realistically, the women kind of set the bar. Because again, when you sitting here saying, and that's why I sit here and say like, I'm gonna put on my dope boy's best. I'm not going to sit here and look like I've been outside riding the metro bus for the last 2 weeks in the same sweatsuit or ski mask or any of that, going out with a woman who's going to put on looking like she just about to go on a runway. Like, come on, like again. So I think sometimes even when you having those conversations, but again, I wouldn't, me personally, if I'm going out and I want to go out on a nice time, I'm going to drive a little bit too. I've said that a million times on here. I think sometimes when you're talking about going out to restaurants, or even movie theaters or whatever, sometimes you just got to sit here and go and put an effort into what you got, where you going to go.
Saying, but even when you're driving out there, you still not you're gonna dress different, right? When you're driving out there too.
No, for sure.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say I don't understand why is he getting drilled for, like I said, your expectation for what you going like.
I think realistically, he probably getting drilled for two reasons. One, because you sit here and started off your video and sitting here saying the very first, this is your first time, and last year you couldn't even afford it.
Then you should think that he probably has high expectations
for it. And y'all shitting on him because y'all been there a million times. That's not fair. Like I said, my expectation of, like I said, those type of restaurants, yeah, let me put a polo on. I'm not about to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go in. No, that's what I'm gonna put on. Whether I want to or not, I'm gonna just put it on. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all can't fault him for having that. That's a good thing to have those expectations. Like I said, if a girl showing too much, like you be like, oh nah, that ain't for it.
Yes, that is for it. That's the point.
No, that's what I'm asking. Like that's what I'm saying. But like with like, is it with a female? Like if maybe she showing.
She can know she can be half naked because guess what? Because the old white man with his young white girlfriend, she gonna be in there with her titties out.
So for that, I'm saying, for a woman, is it any like, would you change like, damn, nah, we got
no. When you asking me if I seen a woman come in Ruth Chris with a fucking sweatsuit on, when I look at her like she probably crazy, probably. Like if I seen a girl with but then again, maybe she's sitting at a bar, I don't think maybe she probably wouldn't even go out on a date like that. So I mean, again, like I said, I don't know, but I mean, I'm with you. I hear you. So I mean, if you feel like if this is my first time and your expectations is higher than what it should be, I'm gonna play this last person and we can get into a new topic.
Hood dudes and ghetto girls are people too. And I think y'all just hate seeing people live outside of the norm happily as themselves. And that's why y'all always feel the need to have to try to come in and regulate. Like, for some reason, it's avant-garde on the runway, but if you see it at Ruth Chris, it's a problem. Everybody else in the world can profit off of it, wear it, rock it, and it's so cool, chic, and trendy. And motherfuckers can't show up as themselves. And here's the thing. Everybody from the hood, people from the hood is regular. They're regular people. Maybe he wanted to bip it and bop it for a little happy hour with his friends. Puffer Coat dude probably was nice to the servers. They probably know him in there, and he probably fucking paid the bill with cash and a nice tip. I've been saying that in all the comment sections. I've dated the type. He probably work in construction or something like that. A lot of the times they be having jobs too. Every hood dude not still in the streets no more. Even if he is in the streets, that don't mean that his money not green. And he can't sit down around the table and eat a fucking steak. Shut the fuck up in your sweater and your loafers, your broke ass. As somebody that grew up poor and know what it's like to be broke, shut the fuck up with your broke ass. Y'all just got at the table at Roof Chris, the Applebee's of steakhouses. Shut the fuck up, your broke ass. Tip of advice to anybody that grew up poor and that wants more out of life and is trying to get up in these spaces. Just be your fucking self. Be your fucking self. They could smell you anyway, even when you trying to blend in. Even when you trying to be like them, they smell you from a mile away. You will never be able to be that old money. So just be your fucking self. At least you fun to be around. Motherfuckers could just respect that you'll step how you step. Stop trying to blend in. Them people can see you. The fact that you even, it's rich people seeing that video about Roof Chris and laughing at you. Bitch, we're all really poor in the grand scheme of things. You down here in the bottom 90 with us. Bottom fucking lips up and eat your stiff ass steak.
Again, like I said, that was it. I don't have no more on the Roof Chris topic. Again, like I said, that was a good topic, and that is one of the reasons why I just like TikTok, because it's just like random ass shit that you feel like shouldn't even be a conversation will eventually be a conversation via TikTok. I guess matter of fact, let's get into some. I guess we can get into some news real quick because this story was kind of nuts.
So this 69-year-old father was charged with 4 counts of manslaughter after his 15-year-old son sped through a stop sign and crashed into another car, taking the lives of a 50-year-old grandmother and her 3 grandchildren. And while the father, whose name is Richard Ferguson, was not in the car and certainly did not tell his son to speed, Ferguson's guilt or innocence really came down to one question. Did he give his 15-year-old unlicensed son permission to take his car? Because if the answer to that question is yes, then that means he's guilty of manslaughter by culpable negligence, which in layman's terms basically means you may have not meant to kill someone, but your actions were so reckless and so obviously dangerous that someone died because of you. So it's more than just a oops and more like a how could you and why would you? And the family members of these victims definitely feel like the answer to that question is yes.
I just pray that the Lord, forget the court, that the Lord takes pity on this person who still, Mr. Ferguson still has not taken accountability. And that's so cowardly. I'm sorry to say it, but it is extremely cowardly that a man of his age, of his experience in life, can't stand up and say, you know what, I screwed up, I gave him the keys. And this is why I'm here. This is the consequences.
I'm not a lawyer, but let me give you the recap on this case. And then, since this is starting to happen more and more, where parents are being charged with the crimes of their children, I want to hear your thoughts. So according to testimony in the trial.
All right, real quick before I play the rest of them, because y'all know, I feel like we kind of been, I can't remember how y'all felt about it, about parents getting locked up for their kids' mistakes or crimes. I mean, this one kind of, I feel like this one is the extreme for sure. But I'm not like, cause I feel like
if the numbers was switched.
Like, okay, so if the son
has some serious time, then cool. I don't feel like the
father should get that much.
Don't get me wrong.
You gave him the key. He's 15, no. He doesn't have a license. Why would you give him the key to do anything?
But again, from what I heard, like
either
I said,
he stole the car and you didn't know, and if he gets time, he gets time, or you gave him the key. You gave your 15-year-old unlicensed child a key to drive, who's probably never driven before. That is your fault. If you did not give him the key, that would not have happened. So you get what you get.
Did she say the other part? Like,
we're gonna play. I'm gonna play the rest.
On September 3rd, 2023, Richard Ferguson's 15-year-old son, whose name is Rashard Ferguson, was hanging out at home with 3 of his friends. The group of friends had planned to go to the movies later that night, but before doing so, one of the friends needed to grab a belt from his house, which was about 3 minutes away. And this is where things get tricky. Here is some of the testimony from the 3 friends regarding what they remember about how exactly Rashard got the keys to his dad's car.
He was in his room. He left out to go ask his dad for the keys. And I guess his dad said yes.
Was his dad around when you guys got in the car?
He was sitting in the garage telling us to buckle up and stuff before we pulled off. So he just told us to come straight back and stay safe and stuff.
Did Rashard take the car without permission?
No.
He said he was going to ask for the keys and we were going to get something. His father was outside present with us in the front yard when we got in the car.
And at some point in time, did Mr. Ferguson, the father, have to move a truck out of the way?
I don't really recall. It was a long time ago.
Did Rashard take the car from the residence without permission?
I was in the room. He left out the room. I don't know if he asked permission or not, but he came back with the keys.
Where was the car parked?
Driveway.
At some point in time, did his dad come out in the driveway before you guys left?
Yeah, he told us to buckle up and drive safe.
Once the 4 boys got in the car with Rashard driving, they pull out of the driveway and first went to Elijah's house to get the belt. Then they made a stop at Anthony's house, and then they went to a park. When they left the park, instead of going directly home, Rashard went a different way.
We left the park and made a right, and she was just speeding down the road. I said, "What the are you doing?" He ran past the stop sign, and everything just went black after that.
He was driving. I was looking at my phone. I looked up. He was going fast. I seen the car and I said, "Stop." When I woke up, we were in the ditch. I had blood coming from my mouth, everything. We got out of the car. I think it was a lady that stayed somewhere like where it happened. She came outside and helped us out the car and stuff like that.
I don't remember. It was all a blur.
The car that Rashard hit had 50-year-old Trinidad Hernandez, her husband, Angel Hernandez, and their 3 grandchildren, 11-year-old Miley Cruz, 9-year-old Marvin Cruz, and 1-year-old Anayari Hernandez in it. Everyone in the vehicle lost their life except for husband and grandpa, Angel Hernandez. Now on cross-examination, Richard Ferguson.
Real quick, so
no, see, hearing that part, then he definitely he can.
You could the 30. What do you 35 or 36 years, something crazy like that?
Crazy like that. See, that's what I'm saying. The story that I heard, he had cancer and all this. He was.
I mean, they gonna get to that part, but I mean, but I don't feel like any of that matter.
No. Like I said, I didn't know he had a group of friends in the car. Like I said, I thought it was more. Well, like I said, when I first heard the story, I thought it was more so of he couldn't drive to go get his medicine, and so he let the son drive. That's what I.
Oh no.
See, that's when I first heard it, that's what I thought it was.
Even still.
No, if the grandpa was going to let him go get the medicine, then maybe I guess
I didn't have no way to get it. I need the medicine.
Yeah, of course, for sure. But that's not.
But then it also came out he was drunk too.
Who, the son?
Yeah.
So what are we? So yes.
So but y'all feel like the 30-something years? Y'all
you killed an entire.
No.
The 30-something years is for the father, not the son. The son only get 4 years.
Well, he's a minor.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's who should get more. That's what I said.
No, because you're still a minor. You wouldn't have done it. We're just going to assume you wouldn't have done it had your father not allowed it. So your father is. You always talk about holding parents.
No. But listen to what the friend said. Nigga, you just went to 3 other spots.
That's what kids do. When do they listen?
Right, but no, and that's what I'm saying. You definitely got. I can't say no. You're a minor. No, you need punishment. You took something. You took people. You need punishment. No, 4 years now.
And he can get more or whatever.
Hell
you're
no.
Gonna
You need more.
You're going to deal with that for the rest of your life. But at the end of the day, your father let you go. You've been drinking and God knows what else. You know, kids are irresponsible. Why would you think your 15-year-old son gonna come back home? No.
That's why I said I can't. For me personally, I felt like I had beat my chest too much saying that the parents should be going to jail. That's why I wanted to bring it to y'all, because y'all are parents and y'all kind of been on this conversation. Y'all been 50-50 with it. No, 37 years is nuts, but somebody should get to 37. I don't think. I think the son. I think realistically, if I'm being honest, I think the son and the father should split the 37. Like if both of them, and if the like the split the 37, like if both of them kind of get like 17 years each or 16 years each, whatever the math was, will be on that one. I kind of respect that. Like that to me will be more respectable. But sitting here saying I'm gonna go hard on the dad to give him 37 years, and realistically he about to die if he got stage 4 cancer. It's kind of like especially even if that was my parent, if that was my grandparent, and my kids was in that car, I want that son to do more time than the fucking father about to die. So that 4 years for that son, I want that son to feel that pain the same. Because let's be clear, we talking about it just as off the law. What the law should be. No, somebody lost 4 family members. So to me, if that was my family that this little boy took, he got to do more than 4 years. I don't care if he was a minor or not.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you letting him skate off too much. Like he getting away with he got away with murder for 4 people. True. And you sitting here saying I'm gonna only get like I'm not sitting here saying the dad or granddad, whatever he was, should get less time. But I do think realistically that time should be split up a little bit more. I do think realistically that time should be. Yeah, if 37 years is the jump, split it. Grandpa, or like I said, I don't know the math if it's 16, 17, both of you. You take 17 years, you take 17 years. Like that just for me on that situation, because it's kind of like, yeah, it's crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Man, because it's so funny when people talk about snitching. Them little niggas literally just got on stand and just rock pops this. I know he mad as shit. He done probably fed these little niggas before that'll spend the night over their house when they ain't got no business spending the night. They literally just sent them niggas. He said, "Grandpa."
What did the one do the father?
Oh, that nigga doing endless interviews. Some of the Florida rapper. That nigga father can't shut the fuck up. He been home from jail and done like 10 podcast interviews.
But how long did he had to do
the father? I can't remember, but whatever it was,
because he sent the boys or somebody like that, right? Wasn't that the?
No. You probably mixing up the story. But if you're talking about it was a Florida rapper and his dad helps do this
to hide the body or whatever.
Not the body, but help hide the clothes and hide the weapon.
Okay, yeah. So he's
he home. The father's home. He snitched on them though.
So that's worse?
What, your father snitching on you?
Or me just giving you the, like I said, I thought you was gonna do the right thing. I gave you the key.
You can't think you was gonna do the right thing. Marcus, come on.
No. But that's what I'm saying. But you would think, like I said.
No, you cannot think like that. How? You been in the car with me and you, and nigga, that was my longest punishment I ever been in my life. And I was 17.
But what we were supposed to do, we didn't do. But your thought pattern was like,
so you're proving my point. So we was older than him. I was 17. You was 15. So that's my point. So we was older and we still didn't do the right thing. We still went somewhere else. We had no business going. Why the fuck would you think a 15-year-old would do anything better than what we did?
Like
the same, the same exact situation. And I had my driver's license.
But that's why I'm saying I feel like the father should not get that serious of a punishment.
No, I'm with you with the dad shouldn't get 37 years by himself. I think the son, even if you did 37 and 37, if both of them got 37, I'd be cool. But don't let the son just get away with the 4 years. That to me is crazy.
Okay, we can agree with that, but the father deserves.
He definitely
don't deserve time. He don't deserve 37 years.
Yes,
no.
Yes, he does.
No,
Marcus, this is not the first time that this has happened.
Hell no, because you wouldn't feel comfortable giving him the keys like that with his friends in the car.
Come straight back, like you've done it before.
He killed 4 people, dog. 3 kids,
innocent people. They had nothing to do with it.
And that's what I'm saying. If we comparing, I wasn't driving that car, and you tell me he only getting 4 years, so he only getting a year of body. I didn't even drive the car, and I'm getting 37.
Right. It was your keys. It was your car. He's your son. You let him do it.
Yeah, that one get crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do just real quick. I want to play some of the because I don't even want to hear the sob stories. Like they give him he's a good dad. He don't fuck him.
No, he probably is a dad that like when y'all here, y'all can do what you want to like let him do. Mm-hmm. He's probably that dad, and that's cool if that's what you want to do. But you don't put them behind the wheel. You should have just took him yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How'd y'all get here?
Exactly.
Because like I said, when I first heard the story, it was all like. He was cancer. He needed his medicine. So real quick, for hearing all this,
real quick, real quick. So again, let me play the rest just a little bit more so people can hear the part that you heard.
Since defense attorney asked the 3 boys if they actually heard Richard giving his son permission to take the car.
You never heard Mr. Richard Ferguson give Richard permission, right?
Correct.
You never saw him hand him the keys?
No, sir.
You never saw Mr. Richard Ferguson ask his father, Mr. Richard Ferguson, for the keys, did you?
I was in the room when he went to ask him. I just know when we went outside, he told us buckle up and come right back.
Okay, but you weren't there when he asked the kid.
No, sir.
You had previously told the prosecutor in meetings you had with him that you did not have permission to take the car, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, going further.
Despite the defense's best efforts, jurors believe that Richard Ferguson did give his son permission to drive the car, and they arrived at their verdict after 2 hours of deliberations.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of count 1, manslaughter. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of count 2, manslaughter. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of count 3, manslaughter. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of count 4, manslaughter.
Now, in case you're wondering, Richard Ferguson was offered a plea deal, but he declined that deal and decided to take his chances at trial.
Prior to trial, the state did make 2 plea offers to Mr. Ferguson. One was for a 5-year DOC sentence. The other one was for a open plea to the court with a 10-year cap. He chose to go to trial, and at trial, he denied any responsibility for his actions.
He could have gotten 5 years, but because he took his chances at trial, Richard Ferguson was looking at a minimum of 37 years in prison. He's 69, in case you're trying to do the math, and a maximum of life in prison. At his sentencing hearing, Richard's family asked the judge for leniency, considering the fact that he has stage 4 cancer, which started in his prostate, but has now expanded to his bones, and they say the jail is not set up to care for him.
So you're saying the jail is not providing the specialized medication he needs?
No, my mom, she did ask them, what do we do now? Because you're saying basically they pretty much told her that they couldn't afford the medicine and that if there was any way she could get any type of generic medicine, because the jail wasn't able to afford the type of medicine that my dad needs really to survive. He needs this medicine to survive. Without this medicine, he won't survive. And they don't have that medicine. They can't afford that medicine that he needs to survive. And so she's had to come to the jail many times and bring this medicine so that he can survive.
Even though I'm not his biological, but he made it me know that this is my son. He did everything in the world for me. They spread it to his bones, to his back, and he's fighting a disease that's pretty much that would end up taking his life. And to sit up here and, be behind bars to deal with this it's crazy.
My uncle has been there for me for as long as I can remember. He expressed over and over how remorse.
The crazy thing is,
that you just played that, nigga. You gonna take those down. Because if they gave you a plea deal for 5 years,
2 plea deals, one for 5, one
and you
for
said
10.
no, I'm gonna take it to trial. Yeah, you stupid as fuck.
I don't know why.
Yeah, you stupid as fuck. You deserve it. See, that's what I'm saying. See, listen to more of this. Like, oh no, you stupid as fuck.
He probably thought he had a
stupid
chance
as
because
fuck.
he probably could use the cancer as
try to use it.
You deserve that shit.
If
they gave you a deal, if I gave you a deal for fucking 5 years, and you said no, I'm gonna take it to trial.
And they could have gave the son to play the same.
And you probably would have let. You probably would have lessened it if you would have took the deal 5 years, and then on top of your cancer, whatever, you probably wouldn't even did the 5 years
for sure.
But you sit here and say, "No, I'm gonna take it to trial." Yeah, you stupid as fuck. Yeah. Take that, big dog.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. That's one thing.
The more you hear about this one, that's crazy. Because like I said, the first time I heard it was he needed medicine, he couldn't drive, and all this whoop-de-woo, and that's where they was going. Like I said, I didn't know he was going to fucking for a nigga full belt.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you had other kids in it? Yeah, nah. Because what if them kids would have?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm not mad at him. I don't have no. I ain't
Stands up and says stop. Stands up and says stop.
They told him to get back up, and he always did. Rondell Moore had been.
All right, real quick, I do want to. I guess we kind of get into a little bit more of the serious conversations. Oh, you just play that shit. Oh, I do. Go up. Is that game on? Oh, that ain't.
I thought I was about to say. I thought it was a game on today. Did the Lakers play?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's on Peacock. It must not be. I don't think it is.
It was on NBC.
Oh,
because they started a
Sunday night.
It might be old. It probably came on early.
Oh yeah, 4 hours. You just play it then. Yeah, I guess, like I said, I guess to get into some real, more serious conversations. I guess, and these conversations will be more, of course, talking about like just the mental health issues for men. Because I mean, the crazy thing is, it's two different sides of this coin when we having these conversations. One, rest in peace to Lil Pop. And the crazy, and again, and you see these conversations, and most people will sit here and just ask like, why would these kids do this? Because they're so young. You feel like they got some level of celebrity, some level of fame, and I think realistically, I hope sometimes the bigger conversation you can kind of take away from some of these things is money and fame don't necessarily help you deal with whatever you may be going with internally, because everybody deal with fame differently. But everybody can't deal with the trolling the same. I'm not saying that people was even trolling these people, but I'm just sitting here saying everybody don't deal with all the levels that, because let's be clear, being famous does come with some level of pressure, where it's like how much money you got to sit here and dish out. If you kind of tie that into like the Glorilla situation, when you see here saying you got family members who are looking for money, you just don't, realistically, you never know how people deal with these situations. You don't never know how much toll it may take on people. So you can't just sit here, if the first thing you see and think of is, oh, these people are famous, why would they sit here and do that? To me, it's kind of crazy. And let's be clear, is it a lot of people sitting here realistically? Probably. And you know, I mean, and I want to say here, I want to say, and I could be, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I feel like I'm 100% right. The crazy thing is about the young boy, Lil Papa, he's Rick Ross' daughter baby father. Because I remember, I could have sworn we talked about this on here when he got Rick Ross' daughter pregnant, and literally like when I guess right after they had their baby, he got signed to CMG. So I want to say we talked about him before on here, but then you do see a lot of people, because I mean, even his numbers on his streaming went up. Like I want to say he got like 200. I want to say he got 250,000 extra followers on social. I don't know why people do that. Like that to me is like some of the weirdest shit ever. Like I'm not following somebody who's dead, and you just getting hip to them because they passed away. Like why the hell would you sit here and go follow them? But I do want to sit here.
They're gonna follow you back. Yeah, that's crazy.
That shit is crazy. Or not even fuck if they gonna follow me back, but if they gonna sit here and post something new. Like what sense do, like they not about to post nothing else? It's over. What the fuck are you? What you following them for? Like that to me is crazy. And then rest in peace to this young man from Minnesota. Oh, let me play this real quick.
Told him to get back up, and he always did. Rondell Moore had been knocked down by injuries so many times that resilience became his identity. Missing the 2024 season, then the 2025 season, fighting through the kind of quiet, suffocating uncertainty that no highlight reel captures. He texted teammates hours before they found him. He was 25 years old. Less than 4 months earlier, Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland, 24, a second-round pick, a man who had just scored his first NFL touchdown, sent a group text saying goodbye and was gone before sunrise. Two young men in the prime of their lives carrying something the game never trained them to handle. The numbers demand we stop looking away. A Harvard study confirmed what many inside the league have feared for years. Suicide rates among NFL players have raised significantly compared to other athletes in major sports. And the reasons are layered and brutal. CTE found in the brains of over 91% of former NFL players examined. The psychological trauma of injuries stripping men of the only identity they've ever known. A culture that for decades rewarded silence over vulnerability. The NFL mandated behavioral health clinics for every team in 2019, and awareness has grown. But Rondell Moore was 25. Marshawn Kneeland was 24. The helmets protect a lot of things. They were never built to protect the mind. If you or someone you know is struggling, call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, available 24/7.
Again, like I said, rest in peace to both of those young men. Man, it's just so. I guess the scare again, and when we talked about this, maybe like I said, when the Rakia Jackson situation came, and I seen here and said, if I was a dad of a daughter, one of the reasons, and this again, like I'm not trying to point blame at football players, but you kind of just got to highlight certain things where, like, if my daughter wanted to date an athlete, I would kind of one of the other reasons outside of them being abusive men is, bro, they just ain't got it all upstairs. Like these are two young men, a young dude from the Cowboys during the season, and you see him saying, "Oh, he's 25 years old." And again, like I said, it's not, you can't sit here and say that's all football players, but sometimes when you constantly seeing out of all athletes, you just sit here and say it's a stat. It's literally, you can Google the numbers on, there is a higher chance of football players taking their own life than it is any other professional athletes. So I think, again, when we see it saying, where to me, will wave a red flag on if I got a daughter, why I don't want her to date a fucking NFL or football player, period, is because of these stat lines. And again, rest in peace to this young man. I'm not sitting here trying to like use this situation, but I do want to bring it awareness with one of the reasons why you should pay more attention to how, again, fame, just because people fame and money don't necessarily mean that it won't it will erase some of the things that may be triggering you or some of the things you may be dealing with. I don't know what this young man had going on because I'm not about to sit here and make it like I'm super familiar with who he is or how his game was or nothing like that. I just wasn't. I'm not hip to him. But seeing here again, like I said, rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Lil Pop. I think just sometimes, man, that mental health thing is a real situation. And I don't think a lot of people know how to even deal with it because, again, it comes in all different shapes and sizes.
You just got to check on people and be genuine with, like, listen, like when you ask, hey, how you doing? Like, listen to what they not saying. Don't just say, oh, I'm okay. Like,
no, for sure. And you know
it's
so crazy because even again, when my cousin hit me, he was like, dog, because I mean, of course, he really into like rap music and stuff like that. So he was more familiar with Lil Pop than I was. And he was just saying, like, man, how do you think did, and he asked me this literally every time one of these situations come up when somebody take their own life, and especially if it's somebody famous, because it kind of, again, the famous thing to people is a lot more alarming because it's like, damn, they got bread. Because I'm thinking about it, for most black people, that's all you worry about. And if I get some money, I can change you think money going to change everything. So when you see people who you know for a fact, hey, they got money, at least, or they look like they got money, and then they end up sitting here still doing the same thing that people in the projects may do, or shit, it may be less people in the projects doing this than it is actually people who are, quote unquote, are rich and famous. So it makes you ask those questions on like, damn, how do you think that you can kind of like self-aware your friend group? Because most men, when you hear stories like this, it kind of make you kind of, even if you never thought about it, you kind of want to make yourself think of like, damn, how can I pay attention to my friends? Like you, again, like you sit here and say, like when you having conversations with your friends or your family members, it's like, how do you check in, and what are you trying to listen to see if somebody's off a little bit? And the sad thing about it, honestly, is I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, sometimes it's hard to see, but like, especially with your strong friends that's always there for everybody else, it never really comes to you with the problem. Like, you check on them because they're always being there for everybody else. They're always a strong person for everybody else. So they feel like, oh, they good. Like, they don't need no help. No, those people they need help too. So it's just about just being aware, just being genuine, just because you can't tell, you can't always tell, but just be there. And just, that's all I can say is just be there. Because you don't know what people are going through, like we talked about before. Just be kind. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be nasty. Be kind, because you could save somebody's life and you never knew.
No, for sure. I mean, and I stand firm on that one. Like, that is one of my things that I hope people, if you don't take nothing else from this podcast, man, please be nice to people. It's nothing. It won't kill you to hold the door for somebody, sit here and help somebody. If you see them drop something or they struggling with some, especially if you're a man and you see women struggling with like their grocery bags or something like that, or older people struggling to get up on the up off the sidewalk or anything, like, bro, I believe in just that karma, that good karma, and that good energy that you put out into the world. You will never know. Realistically, it can save one of your family members' lives, because you can, like, people, I think people don't understand, like, you could be so rude to people all the time, and you could be the 13th reason why somebody crash out, and their crash out may not necessarily just be them harming themselves. I'm sure by the time I go look at all my clips, I'm sure early in the week it was some dude who sit here and then crashed out and took his life and took his girlfriend's life, or took his life. Right? It was a story, I want to say last week, where it was here in the DMV area, where this dude sit here and took his life, the girl daughter life, and his. It's like, this should be just like, man, again, I don't, like I said, I don't know the answer. I don't even know how you can pay attention to it, because I do believe when you pay attention and listen to these stories, it comes in all shapes and sizes. It comes in all, as women, as men, everybody deal with their mental health issues differently. And I think everybody wears their mental health issues completely different from everybody else. So it is a lot harder to even kind of know what I'm supposed to be paying attention to, what type of awareness or signs that people may give you to kind of like, just, I don't even know. But I want to play this clip from Shannon Sharpe, because of course Shannon Sharpe has been through something overly traumatic. I mean, to his mental, even though he put it on himself, but still he mentally had to go through that. He mentally had to get on social media or hear people drag his name through the mud for shit for a couple of weeks. So I'm sure, like, nobody don't, I mean, even when you listen to it, when I play this clip and you hear him talking, you can kind of hear, like, he probably thought about it. He had to. Like, if you listen to the compassion, listen to how he talking about this, and the way he, like, how I'm kind of a little upbeat talking about it. Like, when Shannon Sharpe talk about this, you can tell that he probably thought about this.
Damn. You don't know sometimes what a person is going through. And unless you've been through something, I'm talking about really been through something, you have no earthly idea. None. Everybody's all this, all that. You don't know. I promise you, you don't know. You have no earthly idea. I can't even begin to fathom the burden that young man was carrying. And and my heart breaks for his family, his friends, his loved ones, anyone that knew Rondale Moore, that cared about Rondale Moore. My heart breaks. 25.
Young, life just starting, bro.
And he did not. He thought this was his only way. This is the only way that pain would go away.
Damn.
Something so hard, so heavy, that someone would take their own life, reportedly.
And you know, and again, real quick, shout outs to football players, because I love the way when these situations happen, I like to hear how they speak on this. Because again, when we sit here talking about the rappers, like the fucked up thing about a rapper is like rapper take his life. Of course, he go up on all the blog pages and never post his music ever. Especially with the Lil Papa dude. Again, like I said, I'm almost 100. I could be wrong, but I'm almost 100% positive this is Rick Ross's daughter's baby father. He signed the CMG, the Shade Room, Ball Alert, Neighborhood Talk, all those blog pages that posted him after this tragedy. Y'all never posted his music before. You never sit here and talked about him. But again, with athletes, where it's like you could just hear that compassion, and they sit here and talk about just the things that they may deal with. Like, and when you talk about rappers, it's like just to give just a perfect example of the difference. If I'm sitting here comparing like Lil Papa's passing, and then when Joe Budden and them talk about it, they talk about it for literally 2 seconds and just move on to the next topic, compared to somebody like Shannon Sharpe, or even I'm sure Ryan Clark will talk about it, because he talked about it when it was the young man Kyron Lacy for LSU, because of course Ryan Clark went to LSU. So just even when you hear these conversations and just how different people show up, and that is another one of the reasons why the hip hop community is kind of just so ill and nasty, is because even the way people just talk about like life or death, or even show up for people, is like you don't really do a good job at even having these conversations with football players. It don't matter how people feel about them, they still kind of just they show up for each other in a different level of humanity, because they probably feel like that club only they understand what they go through or what they've been through, or how it may take a toll on them after playing football.
But don't you feel like when you say that, like when it comes to rappers and all that, I feel like the way they express themselves in their music and all that. So I feel like that's kind of why some of that stuff might not get talked about or even looked at. Like I said, a football player, we just know them. All right, you playing football. But like I said, you listen to some of these rappers, like their lyrics and all that, like, damn, all right, you might be, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like how they say, like, oh, raw way make, the emotional music. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like people, how they express themselves.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about just the commentary around it. I'm talking about just the conversation people. I think sometimes with just the hip hop community, just as even when you talk about people who talk about hip hop, I don't think they just do a good job at just making even the artists even sound like humans. Like it's literally just a hot topic. Hey, I'm gonna address it, but I'm not gonna have real dialogue around it. Again, like I'm saying like Shannon Sharpe, like. Again, I'm comparing just popular. I'm comparing these topics where this happened to Lil Papa. I'm listening to Joe Budden, John. They talk about it literally for 2 seconds. Oh, rest in peace to him. I sit here and say, oh yeah, I reached out to CMG to just send my condolences and then move on. Compared to Shane, I cut this shit short. He was still about to talk for another couple of minutes about this situation. And that's just only one person where Shannon Sharpe. But again, like I said, I just think sometimes we just do the hip hop community just does a nasty job at just having real conversations of what's going on around artists, where I think where athletes do a better job at taking care of how they talk about each other when it's real life situations like this. Because I'm sure, again, if you listen to the sincerity on Shannon Sharpe's voice, I can tell, like when Erica just sit here and said, listening to what somebody, like the way they may stuff that they may not or may say, listen to the sincerity of what he was saying. Like you can tell that I'm 100% positive when Shannon Sharp went through whatever he went through, if it was a year or 2 years ago, how he probably that registered. I'm telling you, he thought about that.
Felt the same way.
For sure.
So he had the compassion. Some people, and we talked about that before, like some people just don't have that compassion until it knocks on their door. And they'll never admit because they might feel like, oh, that's soft or whatever. They'll never admit that they felt that way. But if you felt that way, then you're going to absolutely have compassion for the next person because you've been there.
But that's why I say when you say that about like the rap, but I'm just like, how many rappers is it out there and like do everybody just like, all right, yeah, you're a rapper because you signed? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's how a lot of people look at it like that.
It don't matter, but it still happened, and it was still a story that people. I'm talking about how you talk about it. I don't give a fuck about it being I'm just saying because it's a rapper, and I'm just comparing the two because both of them are close in age. I believe one was 24, the other one was 25. I'm just talking about how we deal with and how you talk about tragedy in hip hop spaces and how they deal with it because these are all still black men. And how athletes sit here and talk about it. Again, listen, I'm sure you listen to Joe Budden on shit on Saturday. They literally talked about that shit for 1 minute, if that long. It didn't even have he still was an artist. Like he was signed to CMG. This is Rick Ross's fucking daughter, baby mom. So you don't have no real conversation about what's going on. You just talk about it, boom, and you just move on to something else where you don't have no dialogue because somebody who may be listening to you may be looking like, damn, for somebody like Joe, you got depressing songs before. You talked about committing suicide before. Why not go into depth? Because I'm sure somebody who's listening to this, somebody listening to that are probably fighting whatever urges they may be fighting. Why not open the door and have a more compassionate conversation? Again, i.e. what Shannon Sharp just did for one of his fellow NFL players. Again, I'm just sitting here saying how hip-hop artists and hip-hop and people in the hip-hop community deal with each other and talk about certain things compared to athletes. Athletes just do a way better job at showing up for each other. That's the only reason why I even just mentioned those two, because they literally both just happened around the same time. But again, when you're sitting here talking about, hold on.
Authorities are calling this case a suspected murder-suicide. The initial call came just after 8 a.m. Officers were called to the 3400 block of Vale Court for a reported stabbing. According to Prince William County Police, when officers arrived, they found 4 bodies with stab wounds, including that young child. The presumed suspect is being identified as a woman in her 30s. Again, she was also found dead inside the home, along with 2 other adult family members, a man and then a woman in her 70s believed to be the grandmother. There was a survivor. That 5th person is believed to be the grandparent of the child. Police say he was in the basement at that time. When he got to the upstairs, that's when he found the bodies and called 911. Of those 4 bodies, one of them was a 2-year-old boy. Now, we've been talking to some of the neighbors who lived close to that family's home where the killings happened, and many of them had the same reaction, that they didn't really know the family. They kind of kept to themselves. They were private, but there was never anything unusual coming from that house.
That was an innocent child that had a full life ahead of him, and somebody took it. To me, that's wrong. As for the adults, I don't know what their personal situations were, what would make somebody do that. And I hope I never find out.
Authorities are calling this.
Again, that's why I sit here and say, like, these situations come in all sizes and all ages. And then the sad thing about it is damn, they feel like there's no discrimination. You talking about this somebody in a family of, it was 5 people in the house, and literally the only reason why this other person didn't get their life taken as well, because they was downstairs in the basement when this person sit here and took a life. It was 3 adults who passed, and it was a 2-year-old. Like, bro, that shit is so crazy. But again, when we see what Erica just said is just having compassion for people and sitting here just on your day-to-day basis, like just being as polite as possible. And I understand everybody not going to be in the mood every day to be polite and be nice to people, but you just will be surprised on how far that just holding the door for somebody, hey, how you doing, and speaking like, bro, I'm one, like, and that's why sometimes I appreciate when just in the gym and people just speak like, hey, how you doing? You don't know this person from Adam and Eve. But just, hey, y'all make eye contact, or they hold the door for you, or you hold the door for them. Just an extra 2 seconds of your day will never sit here and hurt nobody to sit here and just have a conversation. So again, like I said, man, thoughts and prayers to everybody.
Just let people know that, like, you know what I'm saying? I would rather you bother me all day than take your life.
For sure.
Or somebody else. Like, just let them know that, like, I'm here. Like, you can talk to me. So they don't feel you're not a burden. Because that's what a lot of times they feel like, oh, I don't want to burden nobody else with my problems. It's not a burden. Like, you could tell me. we can get through it. Just let them know your family, friends, or whomever.
Yeah. So again, like I said, thoughts and prayers, and I'm with you on that one. Just to let your people know that they honor Birdie, and I guess, and the when you hear stories like this, it do kind of be making you feel bad sometimes when you don't want to answer your phone. Sometimes for some of your friends, I ain't gonna lie, I do be to that point. Sometimes I'm at that age because it'd be like some people who gonna call you and they just not gonna talk about nothing.
I might get it, but I've seen a lot, and I've seen where sometimes that phone call could have made a hell of a difference.
No, you're absolutely right. But then that's why I think sometimes even
if you don't like, I can't talk right now, you good? And they be like, oh yeah, I don't want, what I'm saying,
But I even be feeling like that way, even when they just come to like social media DMs and be like, bro, I'm not a hee ha laughing ass type of nigga. So it just be like, I got a homeboy, he be sending, and sometimes I be feeling bad. Like I won't open that nigga DM for like 2 days. But just because I'm like, nigga, send me some, like, I be wanting to say, bro, don't stop sending me the funny shit. Send me some bitches. Like, if you want me to answer this shit every day, send some bitches in here. Like, or send some shit that I can use on a podcast, but I can't just like, I don't give a I'm not laughing, nigga. This ain't fucking like this shit ain't funny. Like, you don't never see my name up under a bunch of shit that just ain't funny. Like, nigga, like this shit ain't funny. What the fuck? What are we talking about? Like, nigga, this ain't comic view. I ain't trying to be fucking laughing. But again, man, I do feel bad sometimes though. I be like, damn, I don't be answering.
Well, I feel like if your friends, if your people know you, then they know how you are. So I feel like most of them aren't gonna call you. If they calling you, it might be for a reason. If they know how you are, they're not just gonna call you with some random because they know you're not gonna answer.
I think that's more reason why I would answer.
Right, because they know.
No, but sometimes some people who just call, like, you have never. Okay, so maybe.
No, I get it. Like if I'm calling you every day, like you said, man.
No, it can't even be every day. It could just be once in a blue moon when you call. But that once in a blue moon you call, you never talking about shit.
No, I'm gonna answer. If you
but you know what?
Like I said, I don't know.
It could, if it's once in a blue moon, you could be getting them through something. Maybe they just need to get it off their chest. Maybe they just need somebody to talk to. They don't have nobody to talk to. If it's not every day, it's once in a blue moon.
I mean, I might be right. Maybe I just need to do better. I guess let's lighten the mood up a little bit. Let's light it up a lot some more. After I watched Tyler Perry, and the shout outs, and that's again one of the conversation we had last week about just how you train your own Netflix algorithm. Netflix already knew right after the Tyler Perry Jones, send me this Shamor stand-up Jones. Man, when I tell you, dog.
Did she get canceled?
Oh, they tried to. I'm gonna play the clip of why they tried to cancel her, but nigga, she was so fucking funny. And again, I don't want to say people sensitive because I mean if that happened, and y'all know and maybe I feel y'all know I'm a Dollar Tree fucking. I love the Dollar Tree. Like the Dollar Tree is my shit. So even her shooting at the Dollar Tree, I ain't feel some type of way. This shit was still funny, but I'm gonna play the clip, dog. Oh man,
we fuck with the dollar store. We all fuck with it, but it ain't your shit. It ain't your shit. You fuck with it, but it ain't your shit. And here's how you know it ain't your shit. Whenever you're in the dollar store, you're never 100% comfortable. You always keep your head on a swivel, looking for somebody you know. Soon as you see somebody you know, after you speak, you immediately state why you in there. You be like, what's up, Tammy? How you doing, baby? Good to see you. I'm just in here getting my Anna birthday card. How your mom doing? Tell your mom I say hi. That's right. Because you fuck with it, but this ain't your shit. Here's how you really know it ain't your shit. No matter what you buy, never get a cart. I'll be at the register arm full of shit. I refuse to get a cart. Because you get a cart, that means it's your shit. This your shit. This your shit. This what you do.
So people basically cancel her or was like even if you. No, with the joke, the way she led the joke up. So in Jacksonville, Florida, again, I didn't see the way the backstory, but I'm just going off the way she introduced the joke. In Jacksonville, Florida, somebody got killed in a dollar store. So basically, she led it up and was saying like, I called my family after I seen this story. It was like, hey, if I ever get killed in a shopping center and I'm in the cheap shit, like I'm in a dollar store, y'all better sit here and lie on my obituary and sit here and say I was at the CVS. So that's how she tied it into the dollar store joke. So people was basically mad saying you was unsensitive if somebody lost their life at the dollar store and this and the third. Is like, I get it if that was my family member, I may feel some type of way. But the way she tied it into the joke, because she was basically making it like, nigga, say I was at the Target or the CVS in the junk. Like, don't sit here and say I was at the dollar store.
I get it, but I can see why people will feel some type of way because somebody that actually happened. Somebody actually did lose their life.
No, for sure. But at the same time, it was like, That shit was still kind of funny. But I mean, I don't think you should. And the fuck that was like, she literally, I'm watching John. I'm about to go. I'm trying to go comment on her page. She got her comments cut off and all of that. I'm like, man, y'all got to her. But that wasn't even the fun. She got, hold on.
Billy D. Williams was the most smooth, charismatic black man on TV you ever want to see. His skin was cocoa brown. He had a voice was deep and sexy and smooth. He had an afro. That bitch was dry, but it was wet, but it was curly at the same goddamn time. We had never seen no shit like that. Billy D. Williams was the shit. And as smooth as Billy D. Williams was, you would think that he would be the face of like a cognac or brandy or champagne. But Billy D. Williams was the face of some of the cheapest shit you could buy. Coke 45. Malt liquor. If you drink that shit hot, you'll fight everybody in this bitch. Billy D. Williams was the most smooth.
Hey, dog, I swear to God, maybe I'm old and this was just like some old nigga jokes, but she reminded, and like the way she delivered her jokes, she reminded me of Chris Rock. Man, I'm telling you, I laughed the whole entire joke, though. I swear to God, she was funny. And again, sometimes I'd be like, damn. And the crazy thing is, I ain't even gonna sit and say I'm old, because if I compare this to Mike Epps and Cat Williams, because both of them recently put out specials as well, nigga, her shit was better than both of these. Like, you could combine both of these, and them niggas couldn't hold a candle to her joke. Like that like the Mike Epps joke, it started off, it was cool. I was laughing a little bit. Then he went like left. He's kind of trying to get on some motivational speaker shit. The end of his joke was pure dog shit. Cat Williams, I'm not a fan of Cat Williams doing the goddamn like making jokes of memes and putting pictures up and making like that shit is corny as hell to me. Like, nigga, what the fuck are you, an Instagram comedian? Like, what the fuck are you doing? But again, like Shamar Jones to me was better than both of their jokes. So if you really into stand-up comedy and you watch the Mike Epps and you watch the Cat Williams and you was underwhelmed, I promise you, I will bet my goddamn every last dollar on it. You will find that her stand-up 100 times funnier than both of them niggas.
Do you feel like with like, have you watched anything like, I guess past like, damn, that shit really wasn't that funny? Like it might have just been a moment.
Oh, you sound like an old movie or something?
Like, I mean, no, just like a stand-up comedy, like just like the stand-up comedy wise. Like, have you watched like, damn, I thought this shit was funny back then. Like, it just maybe.
The only reason why I can't say I have, because I'm just not a I don't never really go back and watch stuff. You know, because I be watching so much new shit. I'll never really go back and watch anything. So I can't. Like,
that's why I was just like, are they like more in the moment kind of stand-ups?
Maybe, I don't know. I can't for that one. I honestly can't answer because I just never go back. Man, shout out to I ain't even dog. You know, sometimes when you talk about voices, dog. Shout out to this nigga. What's his name? Iron Eagle. Nigga, his voice do not sound like what he look like. Like, nigga, he is like that at commentating games. But the way he look at this nigga, the way he sound, he do not look the way he sound. I mean, and that's one of them Jones like back in the day when they be like, you got a face for radio. Like, he just like, bro, he just looked like. Man, he do such a goddamn great job at calling these games, and he just looked so fucking nerdy, like, dog. But he do an amazing job at calling them games. I ain't even gonna hold you. Let me see. Did she have any more? She had all the clips from her job. I guess we can go into Mr. Tenderers. Matter of fact, I want to go one more Black History fact real quick before I do this because it was basketball. Oh, matter of fact, real quick, shout outs because women, the Olympics. I do not know how to pronounce this young lady's name. I'll let her say it herself because I did pick up some of her interviews that she did, and that's why we sit here saying like, and this is how you know, and just like. And maybe just because I'm Black, so that's just kind of how they feed it to me, culture wise. But I don't even know how good this girl is. But I just know, I mean, it's she Black, she playing hockey. I don't know no Black male or women hockey players, so I'm just gonna show her love, and I'm gonna support her. So shout outs to her. And the USA women did win the gold in the hockey.
Inspiring, to watch KK just become the best player in the world, and you see behind the scenes. When you said that. Yeah, of course, but like you see the behind the scenes too, and I think it's really cool because obviously everyone else sees how good she is, but not everyone sees like what goes on to accomplish that.
No, but it is such a proud moment. I mean, like yesterday, seeing like her score her first goal and then the crowd erupt and then all the posts about it. It's so special, and it's something emotional, definitely for sure, because I've known her since she was little, and again, like growing on and off the ice, and she just keeps reaching new heights, and it's really impressive to see.
Yeah, like you said, we played together for a long time. Just to see that growth, on and off the ice. Yeah, I think it's so cool.
I believe her name is Leigh Edwards. I believe that's how you say her first name. But she is the first. She is the first
ever.
I want to say. I don't know. Is she a? Yeah. So is Black woman or man, or just Black? I mean,
black woman.
Oh,
because I don't think the woman ever Like this is probably the first time the woman hockey.
I want to say but that's why I want to say I think she may be the first black period.
No, I don't think she's first black.
So it's a man who played it. Black hockey player that won to go before for men.
I want to say yeah. I want to say yeah. But because but to be honest with you, I don't even know if the men have won. You know,
so that's why my point.
But no, I think it was just woman. I think it was just black woman. I don't think it was.
Well, again, like I said, congratulations to her. I believe she is from. I want to say she may be from. Where's she from? Hold on.
Family members do we have here?
I have 10 family members here.
That's such a good showing.
And the age range too, it's like my sister's 24 and my grandma's 91. So my 91-year-old grandma's here.
Nuh-uh.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Stop it. Has she ever been to Italy before?
I don't even think she's been out of the country.
Stop.
Yes.
That's going to make me cry.
Yes.
That is so sweet.
It is so awesome.
Is she not the most excited?
Yes. She's just so excited and proud and happy to be here. And you would think she's 60 the way she is. So I look for her after every game to wave, and it's really cute.
Who's the MVP of the Edwards family at this Olympics? I do think I know the answer already.
Yes, I think everyone knows the answer. It's my mom. Who are you thinking?
Your mother.
Okay, good.
Just to be clear.
Hands down.
1,000%. I actually love her videos on social media.
I'm doing a fit check. Okay, my sweatshirt is courtesy of...
At first I was like, oh gosh, oh goodness. But then I was like, you know what? I love it. She's being herself. She's having fun. She had that strong personality. Everyone's enjoying it. I'm like, do your thing.
Is she your ultimate hype woman?
Yes. She is hands down my ultimate hype woman. But what I love about her, she's everyone's ultimate hype woman. Everyone on the team, she cheers for like they're her kid. It is so awesome.
We love women supporting women.
Yes.
So again, like I said,
it is
woman. So it's a man that won one before?
She just broke, like I said, burial-wise, she's the first black woman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say I think she's the first black hockey player to win a gold medal. If I'm wrong, I don't give a fuck. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think she's the first black man or woman to win a gold medal especially for hockey in the Olympics. So again, like I said, shout outs to her. I believe her name, you pronounce her first name is Leigh Edwards. That is, realistically, if you follow any sports pages, she was just the I don't know nobody else to play on that hockey team. Of course, she gonna stand out like a sore thumb because she is literally the only black player on that team with a bunch of white girls. But literally on every page, that's all people was posting. And I think if you realistically, sometimes if you really want to get people locked in, you kind of know. We talked about that a million times. You kind of need a black person to kind of just bait people in to kind of realistically even give a fuck. Because if they wanted to go, then this literally was just an all white girl team. Nobody wouldn't care. I know I wouldn't be talking about it right now.
It was a guy.
Yeah,
it was a guy who won one before.
Jerome something.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah,
2002.
All right. Well, shout out to Jerome. Like I said, I didn't know. I was willing to go out.
That's why I figured it was just a woman.
Yeah, like I said, shout outs to her. And last Black History fact, because I do think this gentleman, and this is how sometimes you know what the age thing is, if you old enough to ever watch basketball tapes on VHS, you know who this gentleman is. If you never watched the basketball tape on VHS, then you probably don't know who he is.
One of the coldest hoopers the league's ever seen. Could go toe-to-toe with Michael Jordan. And the NBA probably wants you to forget he exists. This is Badass Black History, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf edition. The best way to describe Mahmoud is he was a bucket. He was the 3rd overall pick in the 1990 NBA draft out of LSU. He'd be drafted to the Denver Nuggets, make the all-rookie first team in 91, win the NBA's most improved player in 93.
And real quick, if you ever want to know when he's saying like the NBA probably be wanting you to forget about him, because of course he did take a stance with not he was basically Kaepernick right? For before Kaepernick. Yeah, he wouldn't stand up for the national anthem, wouldn't do the his hands over his he wouldn't do none of that shit. And because you think about when people talk about LSU, because I forgot to even play for LSU because they never mentioned them. Of course, when you think about LSU first, now you'll hear people mention, of course, Shaq, Ben Simmons, Odell Beckham Jr., Angel Reese. You never hear, you don't hear people talk. Of course, and we didn't even get into Joe Burrow and Chase and all of them. That's the newer shit. But if you're talking about just previously, even before that whole Joe Burrow, Angel Reese class of people, it was just Shaq. You never even hear people even mention him. So that for the fact that when he's saying his hand, it seemed like the NBA kind of tried to erase his history. To be honest, it kind of do. I had to stop this because I'd be thinking, I know I jumped last week. Yeah, that music. I hate when people play that music. If you saying some shit, you don't need to play no music behind that shit. Shout out to everybody who is taking place in Ramadan or you're taking place in Lent. I love when both of these kind of go hand in hand so nobody really don't feel left out. Because I do feel like sometimes, and I seen this girl make this post, and I do I don't like, y'all know I'm super judgmental, but I don't say nothing about it. But I seen the girl say something on Threads about it, and I was like, bro, I swear to God, this should be throwing me off. Because you'll see so many people be like, oh, I'm giving up this for Lent, or I'm giving this up for, and I'm like, bro, I didn't even know you was a Christian. Like, how y'all just randomly you don't sit here and talk about your relationship with no form of any type of God, anything, and then you just sit here saying what you giving up for Lent. Like that, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Do I have to? Who business is it?
Why is it my business for you to tell me what you're giving up for Lent then?
Because everybody talking about it. Why not?
Fuck.
That's just a Christian? That's a Christian thing?
Yeah, for the Lent part, but then Ramadan is the Muslim part, and both of them just like for the. I want to say maybe I feel like for the last couple of years they done kind of been landing on around the same exact time. I know during the pandemic, I know it did at one time, and then I want to say maybe last year and this year, I can't remember. I want to play this clip from Cardi B.
All my Muslims out there and my non-Muslims doing Ramadan, fasting and shit. God knew not to make me no Muslim. Bitch, if I wake up and I don't go 3 hours without eating, my head starts to hurt. I start hearing voices and shit. Him know not to make me no Muslim. He know he didn't want it. I don't have the strength to be a Muslim. If I wake up, I got like a 3-hour limit. If I don't eat in 3 hours after I wake up, I start to hear shit. I start cursing people out. Bitch, if I'm hungry, I don't want to be around my kids. No, nothing. I don't play by my phone. I don't play that hungry shit. They love they God so much that they sacrifice food, water, anything to serve him. I love when people are loyal to their creator.
For the people, bro. I swear she is.
Who,
I don't think you can. How, like, could she ever be canceled?
Fuck no. Nigga, if they wouldn't cancel,
like that's just
if they couldn't cancel her for telling y'all that she used to rob and drug men, nigga, what else could she do? Nigga don't get no work. I mean,
like I said, she definitely for the people.
Yeah, but again, like I said, shout out to all the people who listen to this show and kind of already knew. I just said I gave away my favorite two things, and I appreciate y'all for even knowing. I didn't have to tell y'all what it was. You already knew what it was. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna tell you, to be honest, for people who are realistically, if you sitting here trying to do Lent, or if you are a Muslim and you doing the Ramadan thing, is probably even harder than the Lent shit, because Lent, you just got to give up something that's really important. You can't half-ass it. Because at first I was going to half-ass it. When my mother texted me and was like, hey, Lent is, and the reason why, because some years I don't participate. But I was kind of like, sometimes I'd be like, all right, this may be a sign from God. I didn't participate last year. My mother just randomly texted me and say, hey, Lent is start tomorrow. You should give up Mike and Ike's. So when she texted, I'm like, all right, cool, I could do that. But then to me, I say, okay, let me sit here and go a little bit further, because I feel like that to me would just be defeat the purpose. I'm like, I'm gonna give up Mike and Ike's, and I'm just gonna eat all these fucking jelly beans instead. Because that is, I'm not gonna lie, every time when it get close to this time of the year and it's about to be Easter, that should just the devil be like, bro, them jelly beans be like, because they be so many different flavors, dog. And you just be like, I'm just a fat ass at heart, so I gotta try everything. I gotta try the Jolly Rancher Jones, I gotta try the Starburst Jones, the Mike and Ike Jones. They got so many, dog. I'm telling you, jelly beans is like, I feel like whatever your favorite candy is, they got a fucking form of jelly beans of it. And I don't care what store you go in. I feel like every time you go into a different store, you're going to find a different version or a different flavor of jelly beans. So I was like, cool. To even try to help with my weight loss journey, let me sit here and say, I'm just going to eliminate all candy. But then you do need, realistically, you need to, if you're going to be serious about it, you need something to replace it. Because you will be lying to yourself if you sit here and say, I'm going to go cold turkey on something that you indulge in every day and have nothing to replace it. You're just playing with yourself and you're lying. So right now, my replacement is kind of like, and I got to be careful with that, because I just be needing a little bit of sugar. Them 7-Eleven cookies, bro, them shit's got crack in it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, nigga, like, and I'm debating to myself, like, this shit probably worse than candy, to be honest.
Why would you might as well eat the candy then. You trying to avoid the sugar, right?
I'm just right now. It was just for Lent, because I mean, it was just the candy. Realistically, is something that I just every day. It wasn't really on some health shit. It was just on some like, hey, give us something serious.
No, nigga, I want to get to the other shit. Like, are you that bad?
Yeah. With the porn?
Yes.
So you gave up candy and porn?
Yeah.
Like, you have like.
I kind of don't. I'm right now. Over the last couple of days, I've been asking myself which one is probably more harder to give up. Probably, to be honest, the candy part is probably harder than the porn part, because porn ain't nothing but nigga. What's that?
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, when you saying with the candy, like, all right, damn, you come in here as candy. You know what I'm saying? Like that I can get that part. But I'm just like, damn, nigga, like you watching porn that much? Like you gotta.
No, I don't watch it that much, but if you watch it every night, it's still still an addiction,
right? No, it is. But that's what I'm just asking. Like, damn, you really watching it that much?
But you know what it is with both of those habits, it's because I be up so late just on the internet or editing videos and shit like that. So the longer you're up, the more you kind of just have the sad thing is the more you have an appetite for your addictions.
So can I ask what you do to, like, you eating cookies to replace the candy? What are you doing?
I just don't go to sleep until I'm just dead ass tired. Because sometimes I don't be tired and I'm just like, I know I need to go to bed, so I'll just watch some porn. So and after you watch some porn, then I just can go to sleep. So now I just don't go to sleep until I'm just dead ass tired. Because like days when I'm super tired, like my eyes are just burning. As soon as I get in the house, I'm just going to sleep. I don't watch porn on them days. So realistically for this,
and that's what I'm saying. So if you would have told me like it helps me go to sleep, so I watch porn, I get my shit off and I go to sleep.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But that's when but when you say you give it like that, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was just wondering, like, damn, is it that bad? Like you watch it that much? Like you watching it more than twice a day?
No, hell no, nigga, I'm old as hell. You think I can't even one pause? I can't even get hard that many times a day.
No, that's when I'm just that's why I said I was a little worried. Like I get it. Like I said, the candy you seeing the shit all the around all the time, but I'm just like, damn, you watching that much?
I ain't the hell no, nigga. It's a one at nighttime and nighttime only.
Man, that's cool. That's what I'm saying. I get it. Like, all right, that helped me go to sleep. I just boom, I can help me go to sleep. That's cool. I can get that part. But that's why I said when you saying, well, I'm giving it up, like.
But even still though, but realistically though, just to me sometimes, because it'd be like some days I be feeling like I really don't need to watch this shit. I'm just doing it out of it's routine. And so it's like, because every fucking time you're not that horny every night. You don't need to watch it every night. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to add it into something that I was giving it up, because it was just like, you're over. I felt like for myself, I felt like I was overdoing it. Like I felt like it was more of a mental thing. So if you mentally just making yourself watch it and you feel like, man, I shouldn't have to. If I feel like I got to go through. If I got to go through 5 different videos to sit here and satisfy myself or find something that I like, I mean, you forcing it. You don't like. I should be able to just watch one random ass 60-second video and be able to go to sleep. If you got to go through 5 different videos to find what scene you like, and you got to sit here and be over judging it, you just don't. You got to get that shit up. So that was the reason why I gave up both of them. Yeah, but them 7-Eleven cookies, though, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think niggas don't talk enough about them. And that nigga in there complaining about Roof Chris, niggas don't talk enough about how fucking fire them 7-Eleven cookies is. And a homegirl of mine called me because she was just like, so what you giving up for? She knew what I was giving up, but she was like, why you eating cookies then? And I'm like, I just can't just go cold turkey with no type of sugar at all. And then she was like, her dad really be fucking up the cookies, and she kind of knew the Jones and all that. I'm like, damn it, and them all the fire Jones. The chocolate chip Jones to me is the best ones. Like the red velvet Jones is cool. Like
the peanut butter ones not bad neither.
I haven't had them ones yet. I think I only had. What is it? Whatever the caramel Jones is, the red velvet, the chocolate chip. I be seeing the peanut butter Jones and the oatmeal, but I never tried neither one of them. But them chocolate chip Jones, like nigga, them shits be like, man. I could probably I wouldn't want to because I know just the way, like that's just way too much. I feel like cookies are worse than candy, just in my personal opinion. I'm sure maybe like cancer wise, the candy probably whatever they say with all the dye and shit in them, but just off of like how it make my stomach feel, yeah, I know I can't eat too many of them cookies because that shit just be like your stomach, you be feeling full. Oh, no, man. But again, shout out to 7-Eleven and them cookies. Them cookies is fire.
Like, what do you get? Like 3? You find? Or you buying like a?
I mean, realistically, because 7-Eleven, if you buy the little pack joint, they got them like 6 in a joint, and now and if you got your, of course you got your 7-Eleven number, so you can get realistically, you can get 6 for like $3. And them shits be right. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Damn, them shits be good. Shout out to 7-Eleven. Let's go. What else was going on in the world? Let me go Vince Smith.
First day of Ramadan, I'm fasting, so I cannot eat this orange. 5 years ago, I converted to Islam. Before that, my religion was a close relative of Catholicism known as alcoholism.
I'm scared about this music, man. He be blowing. What else is going on in the world? We ain't get into. Let's get into. Michael Jordan. Hey, Michael Jordan. I ain't gonna hold you, dog. Like, I ain't no Michael Jordan fan. But that fucking video, was nuts, dog. Like that shit.
But that's fucked up.
What's fucked up about it? Nigga, did you watch the video?
Yes.
And tell me what's fucked up about it.
You think he was trying to do some freaky shit?
I ain't saying he was trying to do no freaky shit, but nigga, that video didn't.
No, it
that,
looks
that
like
video ain't help.
because you're right. It don't help because of what the climate that it is in. But I
don't give a fuck what the climate was. Nigga, that video looked crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought nothing like that. I ain't thinking this nigga messing with no little kids.
I ain't saying I don't think he was messing with some little kids, but I think that shit was inappropriate.
That's not even your child.
Like, nigga, when that video started off, it looked like he was squeezing that little boy ass cheeks. Nigga, that video looked crazy, dog. I ain't even, again, like I said, I'm not even thinking nothing because when I first seen it, I'm like, what y'all talking about with Michael Jordan? Because the first time I seen somebody talk about it, it was a nigga throwing his Jordans in the trash can. I'm like, why the fuck is he throwing his Jordans in the trash can? So I didn't pay it no attention. And then I seen people kept talking about it. Then I seen this clip of Stephen A. Smith interviewing the nigga who won the driver of the NASCAR, and then he was like, y'all making a big deal about this, like, nigga, Michael Jordan and my kids are super cool. We super cool with Michael Jordan's family and his kids. But again, that video just looked crazy as hell. Of course, it's the internet and then the Epstein files and all of that. So people gonna overdo the conversation about it. But that video still looked crazy as hell, though, dog. Like that video started off, he falling with the little boy butt and all of that, and the little boy just jumping up. Nah.
It don't look like he was trying to get no ice out.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he was trying to get no ice out of his back.
Do he got kids?
Who?
Anything that you'd like to say about the media backlash involving Michael Jordan celebrating with your family?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I've gotten to know Michael and his family very well over the years I've been here with 2311, and you know, I don't see what other people see when it comes to this. You know, for me, it's a huge moment. You know, this is the biggest moment of my career. It's a huge moment for my family and for his family, and I just, you know, I put that off to the side and just think about how think about the look on Yvette's face and the whole family and his whole group when they got to Victory Lane too, and just how happy and everybody was celebrating together. So
anything that you'd like to say about the
I mean, all of that's cool, but again, I ain't gonna lie to you. That video just look crazy, though. Again, like, I ain't trying to put no smut on Michael Jordan's name. Michael Jordan ain't never done nothing to nobody for niggas to kind of run with it the way they trying to put this story. But that video look crazy. That's it. Like, I ain't about to drag it because it's still Michael Jordan.
His name Jeffrey. And
No, I ain't about it. I'm not doing all that. But again, that video just it ain't help. It ain't do him no justice. But again, I guess let's get in real quick. Rest in peace to Jesse. Oh, before I get into Jesse Jackson, hold on.
Why don't we know Jesse Jackson for being a hostage negotiator? There were several times throughout the 80s and the 90s where he was like the unofficial hostage negotiator for the U.S. government. In the early 90s, he went to Iraq and met with Saddam Hussein and helped facilitate the release of hundreds of women and children and foreign nationals that were being used as human shields by Saddam Hussein. In 1999, he went to Yugoslavia and helped facilitate the release of 3 U.S. soldiers. In 1984, he went to Cuba, met with Fidel Castro, and helped facilitate the release of 48 American prisoners and also Cuban prisoners as well. The case he's known for the most is Lieutenant Robert Goodman. Robert Goodman's plane was shot down over Lebanon, and he ended up in the hands of Syrians. And Jesse Jackson met with Assad and was able to facilitate Robert Goodman's release.
Past year, Lieutenant Robert Goodman was knocked from a plane and knocked unconscious. The Syrians had the right to kill him. They did not. They nursed him back to good health, and in due time, they released him, and thus we see another light on this day.
He was more than a civil rights activist. Why don't we know?
Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. Did y'all see the Oh, matter of fact, hold on.
I am black, beautiful, proud. I must be respected. I must be protected.
Again, like I said, rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. I do, because we just played a clip of Stephen A. Smith, and I do think people, please, I know that people like Marcus like I ain't really into politics like this, that, and the third. But Stephen A. Smith, I'm telling you, y'all better pay attention to this nigga gonna rock niggas to sleep so hard, and it's gonna be worse than Donald Trump. I promise y'all it's gonna be worse than Donald Trump. And I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna be worse than Donald Trump, because they gonna hit you with the we not racist. This is it's the black guy. And he a Democrat. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're not really paying attention to how Stephen A. giving it up, I'll play a couple of clips of Stephen A. sitting here talking about. I'm gonna play Jamel Hill talking about Stephen A. wanting to run for president. But I'm telling y'all the way Stephen A. right now is leveling himself up to sit here and run for president in 2028. And if the Democrats don't wake up and put some people in front of him to really sit here and put some pressure on him, so he don't feel comfortable with sitting here trying to run for president, because what they gonna do is he gonna run as a Democrat, and then they gonna sit here and put some crazy nigga as a Republican, but I mean as a Republican to go against him, and the white people gonna sit here and really like make Stephen A. Smith a puppet, and they gonna sit here and use him. And Stephen A. Smith's talking points is like one of them uppity black niggas who he sound, again, going back into the Tyler Perry movie, he sound like how his son sound like, I don't see race and shit like that, man. Stephen A. Smith, he been saying some crazy shit, and he been literally saying this on real news outlets. Like he getting interviewed by CNN and MSNBC and all of this, and they real live really keep asking him like, hey, what you think about running for president? It seemed like 2028 it could be wide open for you. Like he is taking it, he keep like he playing around right now, and I feel like if this was a boxing match, he just throwing jabs until he hit niggas with that haymaker, and when he hit niggas with that haymaker, it's gonna be a bunch of white people like, hey, look, we gonna vote for Stephen A. Smith, like they hit y'all with the Obama shit. And Stephen A. Smith is going to be, man, please listen to what I'm telling y'all. I understand people don't want to pay attention to politics, but you better pay attention to Stephen A. Smith. Because this nigga, I'm telling you, he going to be one of the worst niggas you ever seen run for president. And the way they going to sit here and make it seem like, hey, he's the black, oh my God.
Stephen A. Smith is going to run for president. He really got on there on CBS and said that racism, it exists, but people aren't that concerned about it anymore. So, recipe for success to get on the presidential radar, or at least make people think about voting for you, is to have a message like that. A message that's tinged with a little bit of anti-blackness. A message that is a bad signal to the white people. Hey, I'm not one of those that is going to be on y'all about bringing up things like white privilege or white supremacy. Yeah, I know racism exists, but it doesn't matter anymore because people are more worried about how to put food on the table, which on the face of it seems like a very harmless message, but that's the point of it, is for it to be harmless.
It's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And because they're concerned about that, that's where their worries lie.
So Stephen A. believes that white people, the same white people who just elected or who elected Donald Trump twice, that white people don't care about racism, even though the whole reason many of them voted for Donald Trump is because of racism. And so that answer right there let me know he's definitely running for president. And he'll run as a Democrat, or maybe even, I almost would say an independent, but I think he'll run as a Democrat. Or Stephen A.
Again, like I said, it's just so funny even just seeing how far Stephen A. has just come with this situation, because it's like, don't think about when they all go back to Kaepernick and niggas like, I don't want my politics, I don't want sports and the politics to mix and this and the third. You're talking about one of the, if not the biggest voice in sports, is literally tippy toeing in politics. He got his whole entire body into politics right now. And that shit to me is so goddamn crazy. Like, it's just mind boggling and mind blowing. Like, damn. They literally sit here and kept, I remember this, like this shit was
But
yesterday.
he ain't doing it on ESPN, right?
It don't matter though. How you separate the two?
No, but that's what I'm saying. That was my whole argument with you when you was talking about like the old Joes. Like I've said, I'm not turning them on to get politics. And like I said, I'm not turning on ESPN to get politics. If you talking about like, that's why I say I feel like that kind of, that's not what I came to look for. So that's why I'm saying if he's not doing, I don't think like,
he don't have to do it on ESPN, but you see more clips of Stephen A. talking about politics than you see him talking about sports. I'm sure it's for somebody like Erica who don't give a fuck about sports. We've played more clips and she's heard Stephen A say more shit about politics than you. We ain't played no Stephen A sports clips and when. I don't even know. I can't even tell you a bad Stephen A Stephen A hasn't even had a bad sports take for niggas to even give a fuck about. Like, what's the crazy Stephen A sports take? He ain't had one in God knows how long. I'm telling you, you sit here saying he ain't doing it on ESPN. He ain't doing shit on ESPN, but just doing regular Stephen A shit. His biggest, when Stephen A Smith goes viral and everybody's picking him up and having conversations about him, 90% of the time when people talk about Stephen A Smith today, they're not talking about a Stephen A Smith sports take. Yeah, cool. He's at ESPN still doing whatever. That's just, so at this point right now, First Take is just a job. I literally just asked, when I sit here and came, I don't remember how many weeks ago it was at this point. I said, it's not crazy. When him and Benzino, I guess, was having it back and forth. And I said, y'all don't think that's crazy that Stephen A got this bag from ESPN and he literally only do First Take now? So yeah, in your mind, you may be like, he not going on ESPN saying this shit, but shit, ESPN may be backing this play. I don't necessarily know. And they may be backing the play, and this could be some super, not even conspiracy theory. They may be backing the play with, oh, well, I know that people will vote for him just because he's been on ESPN so much. He's a familiar face, a familiar name, the same way Donald Trump was. And then he can help us get back our media space because people will sit here and be comfortable with voting for him. I don't necessarily know, but to me, it's just funny as hell that Stephen A used to be on every goddamn show on ESPN, and now he only on First Take. But this nigga is super into the politics space now. He's doing all of these political shows. You can literally see him do more spot dates on politics shows than you see him doing sports shows. But again, like I said, there's just something I don't have the answers for it. All I'm just sitting here saying is, I hope y'all paying attention, because if you ain't paying attention, 2028 gonna be here faster than you know it. And Stephen A. Smith who gonna be the goddamn Democratic candidate, and they gonna sit here and make it seem like they gonna vote for him because he's the black guy, and it ain't because he's the black guy, it's because he's the black guy that they can sit here and do a bunch of racist shit, and he be the black guy. Let's lighten up the mood. Let's go Coil Ray real quick, because I think I seen a lot of people on social media was agreeing with me, especially on TikTok, because I just love TikTok. I don't even be posting on Instagram no more. But a lot of people was agreeing with me that they felt like the Coil Ray and Justin LaBoy shit felt fake and looked forced. So I do want to play this one clip of this girl, Jonah, who was super viral when she was talking about it.
And if y'all think Justin LaBoy likes Coil Ray, y'all are far beyond going. Like, far beyond going. It's no way. Like, what? That man loves the fact that she's broken. And what I mean by broken, because I know y'all going to dick ride in the comments. What I mean by broken is she just came out of a relationship. She's not fully healed. She still got trauma, trying to figure herself out. Like, that was a part of her life where it was, like, mad embarrassing. It was on the internet. I feel like he's using that. Like, okay, like, you know, she's fragile. And that's what he likes about her, that she's fragile and he can say and do whatever to her. That's what he likes. Both of that interview, you can tell by just the way he talks. One, he doesn't let her finish what she's saying, cuts her off. And two, certain, like, you telling me, get up and feed me strawberries like the king that I am? Excuse me? Like, she's not realizing that. Y'all like, oh, Taurus woman, you know, we this and we that. No. She is lost and trying to find herself and got right into a relationship. And he's looking at her like, yeah, she's easy, and I'm going to break her down and use her as much as I can. Stop it.
Again, like I said, I already gave my take on how I felt about that relationship last week. Oh, Rennie Rucci. I guess when we talked about the Coil Ray situation, and I kind of had y'all know my feeling and my take on female rappers after they get into these relationships and they have these kids. I mean, of course, y'all famous clapback is, do these women really have successful rap careers? So for some people, y'all may feel the same way about Rennie Rucci. I was a Rennie Rucci rap fan. I felt like at one point in time, Rennie Rucci was Lotto before Lotto. They kind of almost got similarities in looks, and that's why they had their little back and forth and had their little beef at one time, because they look alike, they sound alike and all of that, and they kind of had their little back and forth. And then Rennie Rucci ended up getting in two different relationships, and Lotto became Lotto, and then Rennie Rucci kind of just threw her career away. So people felt some type of way. So for people who don't, just a little quick backstory, for people who don't know, Rennie Rucci's baby father, she recently just had a kid, and we played a video on here when this was maybe almost like a year ago, when he kicked her out of the car. They was in the car, they was arguing, whatever the case may be, and he was telling her she can get out, he'd be taking care of her and her kids, and of course she got two older kids. So they got pregnant, and I guess obviously she must have just recently got pregnant right before she got pregnant right before he got locked up. So she's pregnant right now with another kid. So they got a newborn already, and then now she's pregnant, and he's looking like he's on a RICO charge, facing life for I want to say for like murder or murder for hire or some shit like that. So I'm gonna play this clip of Randy Rucci. Man, they was kicking her ass on the comment section.
Worried about children. You wouldn't have children out of wedlock. A ring or not, all of mine are taken care of, so it doesn't really matter. I don't need a man to do that. The fuck do a ring mean? Not that I don't want to get married. Let's not confuse that. I'm not one of those girls who like, what is marriage? I do want to be married. Okay, however, that has nothing to do with taking care of our responsibilities. Y'all be so confused. Y'all really be so confused. And probably got a single parent. My son and my daughter. My son is 17. My daughter is 15. Junior is school, and I'm gonna have another baby. Okay, love you. Don't have any more babies because we're not gonna get any more music. I promise y'all gonna get some music. Do I look pregnant in the face though, y'all? Because I posted a video when I was talking about that milk on my story. And Santana wrote me, and this is what made me really stop posting my story, because Santana wrote me, and he was like, really got that pregnant face, because he had already knew. So do my face like do it give pregnant? It do? Then no.
So what's wrong? Oh. It's another one. So real quick, I mean, I guess the crazy thing is, I mean, and of course Cam Newton got a clip going viral right now of basically sitting here saying, did women lose their value? I almost
people
feel
keep listening to him.
I don't know why people keep listening to him, but I do almost feel like those two clips or that conversation almost kind of go like hand to hand at this point, because it's like to me, only reason why I'm sitting here and say she tripping a little bit, because it's like, bro, you already got 3 kids, and you sitting here about to have another kid with you about to have another kid with a nigga who's about to sit here and could be doing life in jail. Like, what sense do that make? Like, that to me, like, it's kind of like where I kind of almost like, I mean, yeah, that makes sense to y'all?
No, I mean,
so that's what I'm saying. I guess with the Cam Newton shit, I mean, I guess if you tie that, I'm gonna play his clip. If you tie that into just her situation right now,
what is he locked up for?
Murder and a RICO charge in North Carolina.
I mean,
so he could be facing the death penalty.
I mean, do you feel like she already? I mean,
did that happen? I mean, I don't know nothing. Did it happen before? Like, was she pregnant before? I
mean, yeah, she pregnant right now. So I mean, he just recently got locked up, maybe 2 months ago.
But how would you? I mean, I don't know.
But listen to what I'm saying. But even if you wasn't gonna have a baby with him off of this situation, it's still like, again, we was on here, or we played this clip and we had this conversation on here a year ago. He was kicking her out in the car.
That's the same guy. But that's what I'm saying. It comes with that comes with that territory. Whatever he does, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's how he.
I mean, but I don't think that had nothing to do with Cam Newton. And like, you choosing to deal with this dude.
No, but I'm sitting here saying, you don't think, do you? So you do? Okay, well, I guess. So let me play the Cam Newton clip and then I ask my question.
Let's just be honest. If we're talking about hierarchy, you've been with your husband how many years?
Not that many. We knew.
It's new as well.
We went friend to fiance. Let's say 6 months.
Okay, cool. 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if you had a 3-year-old? You still gonna choose your fiance over your 3-year-old?
Is it his baby?
It don't matter who it is.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. You're right. I'm not choosing a fiance. I'm choosing my husband.
Because this is what I want you to understand.
Yes.
You've been married for 6 months, right? That child has been in your life for 3 years. 3 years and 9 months. The hierarchy there is like, it's my responsibility to nurture this.
I gotta ask you a question, because for me, that's really hard for me to even wrap my mind around because I won't be baby mamaed without a commitment of marriage. So it's hard for me to wrap my mind around having a 3-year-old and then having a new man. Now, I know that happens every single day and there is no right or wrong way, but so this is my question. Do you feel like women's value gets lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men?
I just think that the reality of that answer is women's value get lower the more children that they have.
Break that down.
Because, and I was having this conversation, with one of the mother of my children, and she's still fine. You feel what I'm saying? But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you. Because when I came into your life, I was willing to accept you and whatever you had. And there's guys that's out there that's just going to say, them ain't my kids, I want you. Well, that ain't how it worked. But that's not to say that she can't find nobody.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she has somebody.
Right. But do you feel like it's as the best that she could possibly do if she didn't have children?
Well, you're talking to a dude that was once in her life. I don't feel like she's going to get better than me. That's just my confidence.
I don't even think it's confidence. I have said, and I might get eaten alive, I don't think most women do better than the father of their children. I really don't think that.
It's real
That's
love.
the barometer.
Let's just be honest.
Has she met Sierra? Like, what type of shit is that?
That's what she said. She might get you to laugh.
She doesn't have children, so you can't speak on that because you don't even have kids.
Oh man!
And he talk about but you didn't stay with her. If she had those children before you, you didn't even stay with her.
Like I ain't gonna say he did her dirty because you sitting here saying she got 5 kids now. That's a lot of.
Are they his kids?
4 of them is.
But you didn't stay with her. You didn't stay with her just for the sake of your child, for your children.
Yeah, that nigga's crazy. But again, I just wanted to tie that into the Rennie Rucci shit because she got 4 kids now. Like that's a lot, though. I ain't gonna listen to what I'm saying. I think sometimes people don't be thinking about like that's still a lot of fucking kids. And you asking for somebody, even if this was a man, like I think of a man or a woman, it don't matter who you are, trying to sit here and say, I want to date somebody who are not the parents of my 4 kids. You asking for a lot from somebody, though. Let's just say, especially for somebody like me, I don't have no kids at all. And you think I'm just going to be able to just be like,
you don't have to, but I'm not your person. Then that's cool. But then you can't have the man that has 50 kids complain about women having multiple kids.
No, for sure. Because
it's men like you that get them pregnant and keep it pushing.
Yeah, of course, for sure. But it's again, like I said, sometimes with Cam Newton conversations, him just being the messenger makes it a little bit crazy. But I would just, only reason why I would crazy. No, of course it do, and I wouldn't even have played it if the Rennie Rucci situation wasn't right because I'm just like, you ain't even you're not even being serious about life at this point because you sitting here, it's like you about to have a kid with a nigga who could literally do the life and the rest. Your two youngest kids' father could be doing life in jail for the rest of their life. Like that, just we talking about decision making. Just sometimes for some people, it's just like, bro, you ain't like, come on, dog. What are you doing? Like, you ain't even being serious at this point. You talking about your 2 youngest kids' father could literally do the rest of his life in jail. One of your kids may never see their dad ever in freedom. Like you would. Only time they're gonna be able to see this man is if they go to a goddamn jail to see him. Like that. Like, come on, dog. We talking about decision making. Sometimes that should just be crazy. Like sometimes people just be doing whatever and just be having like whatever with their kids be nuts to me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I wonder I'm trying to see on the damn. I wanted to see if I could find somebody on the news kind of talking about what's going on with this cartel and this Mexican stuff because I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even know how to break some of this stuff down. This shit just looking so goddamn crazy at this point. Like,
didn't they kill like the head of the cartel?
Yeah, they killed the head of the cartel. They said it was a $10 million bounty on his head, and they said the military ended up killing him.
The U.S. military?
No, the Mexican military.
Okay.
So now that after they done killed them, the cartel is retaliating. So when the picture of y'all see on the internet, I'm sure on the internet by the time y'all hear this, you will see
blowing up.
Yeah, they blew up the air. They blew up an airplane. They went to a gas station and set a gas station on, like blew a gas station up. Like them niggas is out there just doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like a whole airline. This plane was supposed to leave Mexico. I don't know where the plane was supposed to go from Mexico, but they blew the whole. This ain't like they ain't blow. This not a private plane. They blew up like a fucking United Airlines flight. They're just sitting on the top of that big ass plane on fire, burnt literally to ashes. Blew a car in the middle of the street or in the middle of the highway. Go to a gate, man. Them niggas, man. That's why when y'all be just sitting here saying like y'all, they sitting here complaining about what's going on with these TSA lines. Y'all better sit y'all black asses down and man.
Stay out of Mexico.
Nigga, stay out of Mexico. I don't necessarily know where I would want to go, but I definitely wouldn't be going to Mexico. Like if you got a flight again, you know what's so crazy? I guarantee you can listen to what I'm telling y'all. I promise you. It might not even be a week, but give it maybe 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, y'all gonna see some fucking American making a TikTok video and complaining about how they can't do nothing in Mexico or they trapped in Mexico because the way the cartel is moving or how strict they are in military. This shit gonna make me so mad because I'm like, bro, y'all are grown, you are adults, and you can literally just get on social media. I haven't even seen it on like no regular news pages or nothing. I'm just talking about just seeing this on academics and seeing this shit on Say Cheese or whatever the case may be. These ain't even real news outlets. These is hip hop outlets. So you're not telling me you're a grown adult and you can't find this and you ain't gonna see this by the time, man. No, you better cancel them flights. But if you wasn't planning to cancel them, I will give you another reason why you may want to think twice about flying out.
Down global entry and TSA pre-check. Because if there's one thing you can count on Republicans to do every time, it's to use every tool at their disposal to play dirty. And God damn it, this is good. So as you may know, the Department of Homeland Security is currently not funded because a few weeks ago, faced with another potential full shutdown, Congress kind of agreed to set this aside. And now Democrats are holding out on certain concessions. So DHS, not currently funded. Obviously, Republicans are not thrilled. Now, for most funding holdups, the leverage is the shutdown. It's the large-scale pressure because people feel it. The thing is, when it's DHS alone that's not funded, not so much. Fun fact, despite what Republicans want you to believe, mass deportation won't actually fix your miserable little lives. Yeah. Aside from FEMA, which some people might feel the effects of if in fact there is a disaster, but it's not like this administration is rushing to get anyone any aid. Anyway, most people aren't going to feel the difference here. Most people, that is, except the DHS employees. And listen, I would never advocate for federal workers going without pay, but I would definitely advocate for ICE and CBP going without pay. Sorry. So Republicans basically just ask themselves, like, what is it that we can do to make Americans miserable so that they're on our side in this thing? What can we do? And apparently they looked around and said, well, the one thing that seems to affect people's day-to-day lives is TSA. And we're not actually going to shut down TSA because we never do. But you know what we could shut down? The one part of TSA that doesn't actually cost us any actual money to keep running: global entry and pre-check. As far as I know, they have never shut these things down, not even during the last shutdown. It's just a database. The same TSA employees that are scanning your ID in one line are the ones that are scanning it in the other one. So this is literally just because they want traveling to suck for everyone. Now everyone's in the slow line because that's the only leverage they have to get people to care. It's also kind of a coincidence that a blizzard's about to hit the East Coast that might affect air travel. And just a couple of days before the State of the Union, when all of Congress is flying back to DC, along with a lot of politically connected people. I'm just saying, DHS has been defunded for like a week, and they're just now doing this. I'm actually taking a train down this week, so suck on that, Republicans. Anyway, keep this in mind, okay? Republicans are more than happy to go out of their way to make people's lives miserable to get what they want, which is to make people's lives miserable. But I will say some of this energy could actually be useful in the right hands. Democrats are not nearly petty enough. This took imagination, honestly.
But can I say this? I'm not going to lie to you. A reason why I don't think this is going to be as big deal as some people try to make it out to seem like it's supposed to be, because I feel like the pre-checked and the clear and all of that is kind of almost a privileged thing, where a difference between like the TSA lines just being held up because TSA agents aren't getting paid and stuff like that when they was doing the original shutdown a couple of months ago. I think the difference is where it's like people who like, the average person ain't about to get on social media and complain about this, because that shit is for like, I ain't gonna say it's rich people shit, because I'm sure, but it's for people who can afford to travel on the regular. If you don't travel on the regular, you're not paying for pre-check or clear. Those are for people who fly a lot and really just be always constantly in the airport. So you're looking for some different perks to be able to avoid waiting in line. But if you're talking about for the average black person who flying Southwest and Spirit and shit like that, they don't even offer that shit for them. So it's like, do you think people really give a fuck? Like, I feel like this is some elitist shit where it's like only people really gonna care is people who, like, I don't necessarily know they're gonna get on social media. Yeah, but are those the people who gonna get on social media and complain? Because I feel like people who get on social media and complain be kind of like the middle and lower class people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would get on social media and complain.
Because I feel like that, because when I hear people talk about the clear and the pre-check, these be like elitist people, like, and like I said, I'm not saying it's rich people, but it be people who can, like, their job be paying for them to fly a lot, or they like some form of type of celebrity where they do a lot of like flying a lot of different places. Where for this is not a normal person conversation. Because those be literally, like, I'm talking about, like, listening to the Breakfast Club and you'll hear like Charlamagne and Envy talk about it, or you listening to the Joe Budden and them niggas talking about it. But I don't hear, like, when I listen to like regular podcasts, like regular working class people, niggas is not talking about no fucking clear or pre-check. They barely talking about getting on a goddamn flight anywhere. So it's like,
I mean, a lot of people now, because like you said, they don't want to do the wait. I think that's the whole thing.
But listen to what I'm saying though. But that's for somebody who can afford. You think to even know about clear or pre-check, that means you fly a lot.
Not necessarily. You can fly once a year, and you still like, oh, I don't feel like waiting in that line.
I don't even think you would know about it. If I only fly if I fly once a year,
I mean, you see it, but like you might not ever use it.
And the time they're gonna get you is when the line is long. And be like, hey, well, if you sign a what's name, we can take you right ahead. You don't feel like standing in this line. That's how they get you. Because it ain't like you were going online buying it. You buying it in the airport. So I'm pretty sure they probably holding the line up, and that's what made you get the you know what I'm saying.
I mean, again, like I said, shout out to y'all. I mean, that to me, I feel like just when I hear people talk about it, that shit sound like something that's above my tax bracket. That's something that I don't fly anyway.
Yeah, I think it's something you pay once a year. You know, it gets a fee. Like you probably
you pay once a year, but you think about how many people be complaining about gym fees. So he's saying if you only flying once a year, you paying for a fee for something. Y'all niggas, listen, it ain't no way in hell y'all about to tell me y'all the same niggas, people who complain about Netflix and shit like that, and you telling me niggas got money to complain or pay for to not wait in line, and you don't fly that often. That's what I'm saying. I think that's something that for people who fly a lot. Like if I'm only going on one trip a year, like who you about to how much money you about to waste a couple $100 just so you don't got to wait in line? Is all right. Shout out to you then. You got a different type of bag, because I ain't about to waste no money on no shit like that. Like that just sound crazy to me. If I only go on one vacation a year, I'm going to pay to skip the line. This nigga only coming in this line one time a year. But again, like, hey, what the fuck do I know? I guess because we kind of in the political space right here. This lady, again, when we talking about you got to pay attention to just who's in office and what may knock on your door. It may not knock on your door today. It may not knock on your door tomorrow. But when it gets time, you get a little bit older, or if you come into some health complications and you need that Social Security check, this is when it matters who's in office.
I am shocked. Kidney disease took Ramona Rakestraw to dialysis at age 28, then a transplant. 30 years later, back on dialysis and a cancer diagnosis in 24. All that time, she's received SSI, Supplemental Security Income from Social Security. Shocked when it stopped last October.
And so when you called them, they told you what?
They told me my immigrant status was being questioned. And so I said, I'm not an immigrant. But there are circumstances that can trigger flags about citizenship status. So I ask,
have you ever lived out of the country?
No.
Have you been out of the country for 30 days or longer?
No.
I went further. Have you been out of Dallas County?
No.
Ever in life?
Never.
Rakestraw says she took her ID and her birth certificate, born in Parkland Hospital, 1966, to her Social Security office. Then receiving this letter from the Social Security Administration.
Saying we cannot give you your benefits.
We cannot pay you benefits because you are not lawfully present in the U.S.
That's my income, my whole income.
Now, you do have the right to appeal.
Yes. And I have written out the forms and everything, and I am appealing.
If you receive notice of benefit denial or suspension, you have 60 days to request an appeal. You must have an in-person meeting and update your status to prove citizenship.
Your case will be reviewed by a different person than the one who made the denial decision. And you hope that's approved?
Yes.
What happens if not?
I don't know. Let's just take it a day at a time.
So what? Well, we really don't know yet because Social Security tells me due to privacy concerns, they cannot respond to my inquiry. It could be a procedural error, a mismatch of data. The Institute for Responsive Government says it could also be incomplete or outdated citizenship data in Social Security records. Social Security did indicate, though, they would contact Ramona Rakestraw, and she was heading back to Social Security after our interview today. We'll keep you posted.
All right, Sean.
Again, that's why I say you can feel like politics or whatever the case may not be your forte right now. But if you don't pay attention, it's a saying that a lot of people who really they be like, you don't got to pay attention to politics, but politics is going to eventually pay attention to you. And perfect example, look at for this lady, like she been on on disability for almost over 20, damn near 30 some years. And now just eventually your SSI check just stop. Like now you saying you've been on it since you was like, what they said, 28. Now she damn near in her 60s. Like, man, that shit's scary because realistically, in your 20s, you could probably try to thug it out if you had to. Like, if you had to figure out how to maybe still try to work while you on dialysis when you still a little bit younger. And let's be clear, if you never seen somebody on dialysis and had to go get like kidney transfers and get those little blood transfusions and stuff like that, man, that shit take a lot out of them people. Like them days when they don't get it and they in between it, like them people, man, that should be hard. So shout out to the people who still work through this. Cause I knew a girl, she was in Atlanta and she was going through that. She a nurse and like, man, some of them days, like she couldn't, like that shit was hard on people. So again, like I said, man, thoughts and prayers for people who gotta just deal with those things. What else is going on? What's the round clock talking about? Jackson, Bootsy. Oh, let's go. We did talk about Drewski the other week. Man, shout out to Drewski. Drewski just did a Soul Train skit. Man, again, like I said, I'm telling you, I mean, we had this conversation already, but I guess just because he just put out a new skit and it is Black History and him doing Soul Train, it's kind of fire. But it's just like, bro, I don't necessarily know how niggas think you can't compete. Like, if you are, again, shout out to Mojo Brooks. Again, if you are a social media comedian, you better just go in the crowd and do the crowd work. Like, just do that because the skit says you can't do it. Like, nigga, he got the bar too fucking high, dog. Like, I'm just looking at that and be like, I'm glad I'm not a comedian because how the fuck can I compete with this nigga? Like, that shit look real. Like, he looked like he damn near put himself like in literally like in the early 80s or something, and he literally looked like he on a real live Soul Train episode. Like, how the hell do you compete as that if you're just a regular nigga on Instagram? You can't. Shout out to Drewski, dog.
Great comedians know that controversy comes behind good jokes. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. When it comes to being a comedian, whether you're on stage, in film, or you're creating content, you have to kind of balance the risk versus the reward. Sometimes an attempt to be funny might not be worth the backlash you can get. There was the NFL honors announcement of Jackson Smith and Jigba getting the Offensive Player of the Year and the mispronunciation of his name. For sure. And people looked at
which, by the way, isn't the easiest name to pronounce.
It's not the easiest
no,
name.
for sure. But Drew's like, yeah,
I know you know sports.
Yeah. No, I just, I like to mess around, and sometimes you can go too far. I even hit him up and I
okay. I don't think most people.
I reached out, and congratulations to him, the team on the Super Bowl. I think that was an amazing thing, and I didn't get no response back, but I tried.
But your point is to understand sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
I might have went a little too far.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna learn from it.
Yeah, when we talk about walking the line of comedy, sometimes you do have to take that chance. I think it's not all going to be a successful hit. Yeah. Nothing you do in anything when you try to pursue greatness is going to be success.
Right.
So, and I think, if most people pronounce that name, I think they will kind of fumble up. But I will say,
But you did reach out to him.
Well, the winner decided not to pull up tonight, so I guess on his behalf, Jackson Smith Najigba, Najiba, and Jigba, JSN. Most great.
Again, like I said, shout out to Drewski. Real quick, Mike, do y'all want real quick? Can we pause? No homo. Can we role play real quick? Because I do think a lot of times when y'all think I be tripping when we was talking about people getting fired at the Washington Post or ESPN and stuff. I do. Erica, can you be the corporate person? And this could be our sports show, our version of ESPN. I believe Marcus should be fired. I believe Marcus, for his take and his downplay on women's basketball, if he was at ESPN, he would fucking have to go to the office and lose his job. And for people who thought I was tripping, when Cam Newton sit here and told y'all in 10 years the WNBA will be more popular than baseball, niggas may have thought he was tripping. Well, ESPN doubled down and proved that Cam Newton wasn't tripping. ESPN put a fork in their national baseball coverage on Sunday night. I'm sure most people, if you black, you probably don't watch baseball, so you didn't even know that ESPN had a Sunday night show or during the summertime for the baseball, but they stuck a fork in it. So I did feel like if this was ESPN and Marcus was a leading person and trying to get us stories and shit that we should be talking about, I would feel like if this was a job, he should lose his job for this. Do you think he should still be able to have a job if you was somebody at ESPN and Marcus was like, man, nobody give a fuck about women's basketball, and then I sit here and say, well,
but you just said that nobody give a fuck about baseball.
You asked should he lose his job because he was wrong?
Yeah. Because
we're not talking about basketball. You're talking about baseball. No, you just said nobody watches baseball. So I'm changing something that nobody cares about for that.
Because listen to what I'm saying. Multiple people sent me these because I wasn't paying no attention, but people was like, well, maybe you should send this to your brother because maybe he didn't see this because he was thinking or making it seem like niggas wasn't checking for women's basketball, and obviously ESPN was just like, yeah, we ain't going. But again, when we talk about creating content, we talk about why some of these people at the Washington Post or at ESPN, a lot of these people get let go because sometimes they just be you're not paying attention to what's going to happen in the future. People lose their job for shit like that. Like if we talk about in just the space where you got to kind of, especially when you talk about the news or media or creating content, you got to stay ahead of your competition. You got to stay ahead of, you have to dictate culture. You got to stay ahead of it. You can't sit here and be like, you can't play catch up. Because imagine if you was working at another network, if you wasn't ESPN and you sit here and tell your boss like, man, nobody give a fuck about women's basketball. And then ESPN be like, well, we about to give a whole fucking our Sunday slot to baseball. We about to give it to women's basketball now. If we was in a newsroom and I just came in here and told my boss the week before nobody don't give a fuck about women's basketball, and then ESPN do this,
then yeah. If you put it like that, then yeah.
Like, yeah, nigga, like you gonna have like, what the fuck are we doing? You just told me a week ago that niggas ain't give a fuck, and they're the biggest sports network. Do this. You would be looking for a new job. Like if you was the head of the entertainment sports, let's say we was Fox Sports, and we was sitting here bouncing around ideas, and you literally we was in a meeting last week. You argue with me and shitted on women's basketball, like, man, that's just what you like. Niggas don't give a fuck about that shit. And then ESPN be like, well, hey, here you go.
I mean, that would be a fireable. I would assume that would be a fireable offense because like we could have been making this money. And we went solely based off you, and we passed it up, and then somebody else picked that up.
That's
so you're not fired, you be demoted or something.
So I just wanted to bring that to it because I do think sometimes when we be having these conversations, and it's hard to kind of point it out why some of these people lose their jobs. Because a lot of times in sports media, that is realistically how people lose their jobs because it's like, you ain't giving us nothing fresh. You ain't giving us nothing new. And we miss because this is a business deal. People would look at it like, damn, we could, because I'm sure when we was talking about it last week, we was like, damn, nobody don't really sit here and there's not a real show that's dedicated to women's basketball after some of these games go off. And it'd be like you kind of almost leaving money on the fucking table. And ESPN kind of proved that conversation we literally had. It was just like, damn, that's crazy.
But do it still go like if they don't have a season this year?
I mean, they're gonna be fucked. But I mean, that kind of.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. If you saying I'm just plugging it in for, it's like it's about to be a main like, hey, every day we got this WNBA sectional. We got like I said, you replacing something on a Sunday, which like I said, it ain't no football. It ain't gonna be on during football season.
I mean, of course, because those two seasons. So
that's what I'm saying. So it's not like it's something that's about to be like, oh, this is like we replacing baseball forever. Like. There's something. All right, yeah, cool. We about to let this like it obviously wasn't getting no attention.
What the baseball?
Yeah,
but I'm sure realistically I'm sure. Listen to what I'm saying, and the reason why I even brought it up because I'm sure I'm sure realistically in the middle of America, they probably felt the same way you felt. Oh, trust me, it be so many niggas who love to just troll about who watching. Like a nigga was literally. I'll even play this. This Flau'jae Johnson. Her mom was. I ain't gonna lie. Her mom was out of pocket, but her mom kind of like it was some shit you supposed to just put in the group chat. And I'll play the clip in a minute. And that's again what I'm saying I know how popular women's basketball is becoming just because I'm already really into it, so I can see it continuously growing. And when I seen
what is their record? Like, are they
LSU?
Yeah.
I think they only lost like 3 or 4 games this season, maybe 3.
Oh, like they in the tournament.
No, for sure. Okay, that ain't never. That ain't never their problem. Their problem is they just can't beat South Carolina.
Okay.
But anyway, so again, like I said, I don't necessarily know. I think just realistically, even for those conversations, I think a lot of people just are because men are men. Man, like I told y'all, my dad think the same way. Niggas, some people just don't sit here and value women's sports, or don't never think that women's sports were ever going to be bigger than what it already is. So just to even see how ESPN is like, all right, we're gonna get rid of our baseball show to give to the WNBA. That's a lot. That's not nothing to just be like, oh, damn, that's just like, no, that is a huge step for women's sports in general. And again, like I told you, I think realistically, it's just only going to continuously grow. And it's even for the fact that this conversation with Flau'jae, for her mom, like that shit to be picked up on every blog page. That shit let you know, like, nigga, that's something like this is she in college. Why the fuck is I'm talking every blog page and that mother picked up her little Facebook rant on and made it a story. So again, like I said, shout out to women's basketball, but even for other people who may not move you a little bit, I do want to read off these numbers real quick for women's college basketball compared to men. Because again, when I told y'all, and our conversation was when I'm sitting here saying is, and like, there is no after the Anthony Edwards, John Morant window. I mean, of course, if you want to put Wemby in that conversation, but for those, there is not a group. There is not a 25-year-old or 23 or 24-year-old male basketball player is nowhere near as popular as Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. And you can see and say those two are the bar, but there still is nobody going to be. There's not what's going to be the men's basketball player that's about to graduate that's going to be able to compete with Juju. Like even if you see and say Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark ain't my cup of tea, cool. But which one of them? Because for most of y'all niggas who don't like either one of them, I'm sure you love Juju. So who's the male version that's going to be able to, especially off of popularity, that's going to be able to compete with her? There ain't one. And the reason why I can tell you that, I'll read off the ticket prices for the men's basketball of the comp of the women's. For women's, normal regular price for LSU women's basketball, $77. For men is $16. South Carolina, $51, $18. Oklahoma, $50, $35. Iowa, $53, $50. And that's a little bit, and again, that's because I tell y'all that's middle America white people shit. They ain't got nothing to do. So I can kind of see why those prices are a little bit closer. And that's just for something, those are just for teams that got half decent both college men and women's basketball. And the biggest one, huh?
Do they?
What?
LSU got I don't think
Ben Simmons went there and Shaq went there. What you mean?
Yeah, Ben Simmons didn't even play.
Yes, he did. He just didn't play in the tournament.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That you saying Ben Simmons, and look how long he been gone. That's what I'm saying. I don't think LSU.
Oh no. But I don't think LSU. I mean, LSU.
That's what I'm saying. Those teams, that's what I'm saying. I think those teams is because is it a woman's like UConn? What's the different price between the UConn women and the UConn men?
Oh, I'm sure the men. I mean, women's is probably way higher. Yeah, then it's UConn women. Come on.
But UConn men been winning too. That's what I'm saying.
But they've been winning. But they ain't. What's the UConn man that play in the NBA?
But I still think people still go to those games. Like I said, the team. Like I said, I don't think LSU really men's basketball have a team like that. South Carolina, I don't think they men's basketball ever had a team like that.
No, theirs is probably football for men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like those teams that they named, I don't think none of those teams really.
I would want to look up the Connecticut one. That probably realistically is the better conversation because. I just don't, but I still, even when it comes to professional, I don't even like what's the nigga from Connecticut though? Like, I don't even know one. Recently? Yeah, recently. I mean, of course, if we go back in the day, you see him saying Ray Allen. What did Ray Allen go there? He went to Cincinnati.
Yeah, Ray Allen went there.
But even recently, like, what's the man? Like, they won a championship recently, the man's right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the nigga on that team?
At that time, I think it was her cousin. At that time, when they won it, I think it was.
Oh, Angel Reese's cousin?
I think that was.
He played for the Pelicans. No, I don't.
Yeah, I think that was the only. Because I don't think. Because I'm trying. Because what's name went to North Carolina to do with the.
And you absolutely right. And he did play. And he played for the Pelicans now. You're absolutely right. He did play for that Connecticut team. Again, that's my point. And that's just and the crazy thing is that we had to sit here and say that's how we know who he is. If that's Angel Reese's cousin, that's my point. That's just, again, like I said, I understand as men, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow. Pause. I'm just trying to help y'all swallow y'all pills earlier. The same way when your parents used to make you take the vitamins. I'm just trying to help niggas not be that late to the party where you just look crazy as shit. And then it'd be like 5 years in, and then it'd be like niggas be trying to, like, when you hopping on the LeBron shit or you hopping on the Kobe jump, like, oh, after he passed now, like, I'm just trying to help niggas out because I know how niggas be. Y'all niggas be super late with shit, and it just be weird when you be late to a fucking party. Like, this is a party you can hurry up and kind of get into, and let's just get into it earlier. Let me help you win you in a little bit earlier than you sit here and got to drag your feet and get to the party late. Because the inevitable is going to happen. I'm telling y'all, because you can't, there's nobody listening to my voice right now that you can sit here, even if you sit here and say, like, think about even for some of the niggas that's a little bit older, I could almost go out on a limb if we just go to random people in the street. I can guarantee you if I can show a fucking random fucking woman or man a picture of like Angel Reese or the Joker, and if you're not a diehard NBA fan or a diehard WNBA player fan, I guarantee you 90, or if I can sit here and do Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, if y'all want to sit here and add some white, I don't want to add no white because it's Black history, but still cool. Let's just sit here and say, if I go to random ass people and be like, hey, here go a picture of the Joker. Great, niggas can argue he the best men's basketball player and say, here go a picture of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And I ask random people in the street, hey, who is this person and who are these two women? I can damn near guarantee 90% of the people, if I show them these two girls together, they don't know who these two girls was and don't know who this nigga is. And that's one of the, this is arguably the best basketball player in the NBA. If I can sit here and feel comfortable with saying that, I'm telling y'all the NBA and men's basketball will be in a bigger problem situation. And that's why they still hang on so long for Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and LeBron James and not trying to push them out. But again, that was a conversation we had last week. I do want to play this clip of Flau'jae mom because I do think her mom was out of pocket for saying this out loud. I don't think she was out of pocket for what she said. I just think she was out of pocket for saying it out loud. But again, even real quick while we on the NBA situation, before we get into Flau'jae mom, with Russell Westbrook, with his wife, I kind of be like, how the fuck, like, man, people be playing with Russell Westbrook like Russell Westbrook ain't one of them niggas I think in real life to beat somebody ass. Like, so somebody emailed Russell Westbrook's wife and like was threatening her and saying some wild crazy shit to her because they lost some money on a bet. And I'm like, who the fuck? Why y'all even still betting with Russell? Like, I mean, not no disrespect to Russell Westbrook, but if I'm gambling, I'm not sitting here betting on no money to Russell Westbrook. But I guess
Man, how you win the money?
What you mean betting with what? With niggas like Russell Westbrook?
Yeah, the people who don't do it on a because you got to bet higher. Like if you betting with,
I don't know. I mean, I just
think
me
he
personally,
the only one that's still playing on that Sacramento team, right?
Probably, but I still wouldn't bet with him. Me personally, I wouldn't. But anyway, somebody lost some money and then they sent her an email like threatening her life and sitting here, I guess, like saying like, they know where she live at and this, that, and the third, where it's just like, that should be crazy. And then while we talking about sports, Kevin Durant fired his whole entire I guess so. I don't necessarily know if it's just his social media staff, but his whole staff for
social media entertainment.
For his what's the name of it? The ballroom, for their whole entire ballroom staff. Because for people who don't know, there was a leak and they were sitting here saying it's a Kevin Durant burner account. Nobody don't necessarily know if it's actually Kevin Durant burner account because nobody has confirmed or denied if it was. But the count was literally, I ain't gonna lie to you, them DMs was crazy as shit. And it was crazy, but they was crazy as shit where it sound like it was like it wasn't like on no out of pocket non-basketball stuff. It was literally just out of pocket on some basketball shit.
But that's what I don't. Are you just leaning into the algorithm type? Like, because these wasn't
actual tweets. These was in the DM.
That's what I'm saying. But you firing the boardroom, what did that have to do with your social media?
Because I'm probably the people who run some of his social media shit. Or those might have been people who.
But that's like I feel like that's like the Washington Post type of shit too. Like because it's not.
Maybe it's him snitching on himself because maybe it actually was his burner account, and maybe he feel like them people in that group chat or whoever he was sending them to, those was the only people who knew it was him. That to me is that's the only logical thing that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Like I feel like those people he know for a fact, those are the people who run maybe, or the people he was in that group chat. So somebody in that group chat had to leak those tweets or those DMs. So you kind of confirming it without confirming it, because why else would you fire all them people? I don't know how many people it was, but let's just say if it was more than 5 people.
Mm-hmm. Never beat South Carolina. Cool. But what is going on today, Flau'jae is beating South Carolina in real life. Okay? And no disrespect to them girls, no disrespect to Dawn. We beating them in real life. The whole goal is to go to the WNBA and get you a bag, right? Get you a bag and provide for your family, right? Flau'jae has already done that. She's already done that. Flau'jae don't even have to go to the league. She is set for life. Her mama set her up for life. But let's go back. We talking about basketball. Even in basketball, she is beating them on the floor. Y'all could go look at the stats. She beat every player on the floor that game. We have never...
Again, for people who don't know who that is Flau'jae Johnson's mom. And of course, Flau'jae Johnson was teammates of Angel Reese when they won that national championship team. They did the Breakfast Club together. They did the Pivot together. I want to say that was those only two Johnson they done. But Flau'jae has went and done. She didn't went and did Club Shay Shay by herself. She done other interviews by herself since since Angel Reese has graduated from LSU. But this came after a loss to South Carolina. And let's be clear, I watched that game, and that was the most watched women's college basketball game of the season. And this was during All-Star Weekend. That was last Saturday night. Probably came on. It probably came on like literally right after All-Star, after the 3-point contest or the dunk, whatever one of them was last. After that went off, it came on like around like 9 something, and I believe it peaked out at like 2.2 million. I want to say it averaged like 1.7 million viewers. And for people who think, again, if you somebody who really hung out on the numbers thing, think about it. The All-Star game with all of the All-Stars had what I want to say it peaked out at like 8 million. So you saying only 6 million more people watch the All-Star game over this women's college basketball. So if you are somebody who still just need a gun point to your head to understand how popular women's basketball, that should help you. But I do think realistically, her mother saying that, I think that's something you put in the group chat. But again, because her mom is active on social media, she'll jump in people's comment section if you see him saying something crazy about her daughter, or you're shading her daughter on Twitter or on TikTok or whatever. Her mom's be online for real. And I think realistically, I mean, shit, Flau'jae went to bed. She missed 2 free throws at the end of the game. They lost in the fucking game. So I'm sure people was trolling her, popping shit, talking shit, making videos, and you allowed your emotions to get the best of you, and you sit here and crashed out via social media. But you can't, like, you somebody, mom, you can't do that, dog. Like, it's cool to crash out in the comment section, but you can't make no video and sit here and just be shit. And it's so funny because before the season even started, me and my younger brother, we were sitting here talking, and he was saying, it was like, man, if she don't have a good season this year, I don't necessarily know if she gonna get drafted. And I was like, nah, she too popular. Some team gonna need her, especially because they got having all these expansion teams. You got 2 new expansion teams this year. I think realistically for a team, if you trying to sit here and sell some tickets and sell some jerseys, especially for those 2 expansion teams, that will make perfect sense for her to sit here and get drafted by one of them. But I do think realistically, her draft stock probably isn't as high as it was when they were at their peak and you were on the same team as Angel Reese. I do think her popularity has died off a little bit, and probably more people probably even kind of been fucking with her freestyles a little bit more than they actually been like basketball wise. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, if they will even actually have a WNBA season this year. Now, I do for her. I don't necessarily know how much that will help if they go on a strike and then they don't end up having no draft enough in this season. That I don't necessarily know if her popularity or her skill level can hold off for a strike. Well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, let's keep it real. No South Carolina player is going before Flau'jae in the draft. And that's no disrespect. So South Carolina didn't beat Flau'jae. South Carolina beat LSU. Okay, let's keep it real. What South Carolina player this year is a lottery pick?
I ain't gonna lie to you. You just can't say like you somebody. No, for sure. And but let's be clear for people who don't. I mean, sure. Again, maybe if y'all don't follow the women's basketball, that is a huge knock on Dawn Staley. Where a lot of people on social media, people who really into, because let's be clear, those 2 teams have like probably the largest rabid fan base via social media. Like you can make a video about LSU or South Carolina women's college basketball, and you will always get likes and conversation, and it'll start up a lot of debate. But a lot of LSU people always sit here and say Dawn Staley may put together a good basketball team, but she doesn't put together all-stars in the WNBA. Like she put good role players.
You need that.
You said you don't think what?
I don't think you need that though.
depends.
Why? That don't take away from you. She's known for her college career, not for who I put in the pros. And I mean, shit, she still got the best player in the league.
No, for sure.
So that's why you can't. I think you coach her for her coaching record. That's just like what's the lady from Tennessee that passed.
Pat Summit.
Yeah, like I don't think she probably put a lot of people in the W, but I don't think you go off for how many people she put in there. But you go off for how many games she won in college.
I mean, I guess the crazy thing is, I guess it just depends on who you compare it to. Like, if you comparing her to, if you just keeping it to, I guess that SEC, then yeah, cool. You're absolutely right. I agree. She put in the best player in the league, arguably the best player in the league. And you can kind of, I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm gonna hang my hat on that before anything else. But then if you compare her to what's the nigga Gino for Connecticut, I mean, he kind of just like, I mean, nigga, he went.
Look how many greats he had. But that's what I'm saying.
But that's my point. So for him, it looked a little bit different. He put in superstars and they went on the college level. So for some people, it's like, yeah, okay, South Carolina win, but then when it comes time, like, man, a lot of them South Carolina girls do get cut, or a lot of them girls just be role players.
Which is, I think that's fine. Especially, like I said, if we talking about the W, like that's like Coach K. Like, all right, how many Duke players really? But then you be like, well, how many people do we know? But
let's be clear though. But that's a knock on him though, and that's why I'm glad you brought that up.
I don't think it's a knock on it because he still put a lot of them in there.
No, he put a lot in there, but a lot of them niggas don't be who they be when they be in college, and that be people knock on Duke niggas.
But that's why we're just going off your car. I don't care what you do in the pros. JJ Redick is not. I mean, of course, like I said, JJ Redick had a long NBA career, but JJ Redick in Duke was a fucking legend. You know what I'm saying? Compared to what is like I said, I don't think you take that off of, well, damn, Coach K didn't. Like I said, I got him in the NBA. That's all that matters, right?
Mm-hmm. And we like I said, we can get into some different topics real quick. My last little sports thing is, I don't know what's up with LaMelo Ball is hooping, and I do think, and again, this is one thing I will, if you are a man and you listening and you got little sons or whatever the case may be, man, can y'all just help this next generation of like kids not be, because I think LaMelo Ball ain't gonna get the credit because so many people spent so long online just trolling him and saying, oh, he's some shit, he don't produce winning basketball. I want to say shit, the Hornets is like on 11-game winning streak.
He just went for 37 tonight. I ain't know that.
And made 10. I ain't know he was here neither. I was mad as shit when I seen that they was here because I definitely want to see him play live. But again, like I said, shout out to the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball, you gotta slow down with them driving because now, of course, you know the internet gonna do the internet. LaMelo Ball got into an accident in his camouflage Hummer, and he hit the shit out of that car. No, hell no, you can't. But then now, of course, you know the internet gonna pick up other videos of him driving fast and all these other different cars and be like, bro, this nigga just don't be like, he don't be paying attention. He be just driving reckless as hell, leaving out the arena and shit. So again, like I said, the Charlotte Hornets is on an 11-game winning streak. LaMelo Ball is playing out his mind. And again, when we see his hand, just like when it comes to just even people speaking on basketball, because so many people have talked shit about LaMelo Ball, like on podcasts, like Gilbert Arenas and them, and sitting here saying, oh, LaMelo, you can't win with LaMelo Ball. It's hard for niggas to even be able to double back and have the conversation, even really talking about how good the Hornets playing, because for so long on his career, niggas been trying to make it seem like, and let's be clear, this is his first season been this healthy in a long time, and all the niggas, and him having all his pieces around him being healthy or not being suspended or this, that, and the third. So again, like I said, shout out to LaMelo Ball. You just got to slow down with that driving, especially driving them expensive ass cars. Slow down. But the Hornets, again, I believe they're on an 11-game winning streak, and this nigga's hooping out his damn mind. Again, if y'all hearing this, they played the Wizards on Sunday, and this nigga literally hit 10 threes. So again, like I said, I just hope parenting, I'm just asking for parents, like, man, raise your kids to learn, actually know about basketball, because that shit is annoying to me. Like, I hate even just, I don't care who the player is. Like, it be so many niggas just in the comment section just trolling. Like, that shit is so corny to me. Like, God damn, dog. Like, what the fuck? That's why when Joy Taylor said, if niggas to have a social media account, you should have to have your address or something like attached to your shit. So niggas could like, that shit is corny to me. Like, that's not, if that's the only thing I hate about social media, is just like, God, man, I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be LeBron, it could be Chris Paul, it could be anybody. Like, you ain't done half of the shit that these niggas ain't done. And niggas are just sit up in the comment section and just be trolling niggas all day long. That shit is corny as fuck. Like, man, I swear to God, that should be throwing me off. Talked about the cartel. What else was going on in the rough? I feel like there was some TikTok stories.
Reason why
that I left off. This shit was fun.
Y'all know why niggas cheat with like bitches y'all be saying look like donkeys and shit. That's cause goddamn bad bitches is good only for an image. Like when you any nigga that really get bad bitches know when you fuck with a bad bitches are boring. Bad bitches don't like having fun for real. They just like doing everything for aesthetic. You could take a bad bitch, you could ask a bad bitch they wanna go do something fun. They'll say, yeah, y'all will get there. They won't even participate, but they'll post pictures and shit in low exposure, making it seem like they're just having the time of their life. Bad bitches is only for an image. That's why that little bitch over there that you say look like a donkey, she really don't though. She like a 5 or 6, but that bitch is down to earth and she really fun. And that bitch, she ain't never really been nowhere like that before. So you take that little bitch to have fun, she gonna bring out your inner child. Like y'all really have fun like 2 kids. And she more freakier in the bedroom. She ain't scared to get a little down and dirty and get that motherfucking mouth with how you scared to get your shit with. Cause you I'm too cute for that and you too stiff, baby. That little donkey looking bitch, she gonna arch her back, baby. You ain't arching your back for real. And then out there, when if times get tough and shit, that little donkey looking bitch, she gonna be there for you. You feel me? Like y'all bad bitches, y'all don't really hold people like nigga can be up like dead ass long, then they have one hard month. Bitch, you gone to the next nigga cause you know you look that good and all the niggas wanna fuck you, so you jumping nigga to nigga, you don't never stay on the girl, cause that nigga bounce right back. He just bounced right back. But you ain't even get that nigga time. He bounced right back in 30 days. You ain't even stay down with the nigga. And he probably was down because he keep spinning shit on your bad ass. So yeah, man, that's why niggas cheat with like donkey looking bitches. Because they more down to earth, they more fun, they freakier, and they appreciate you more. Y'all bad bitches, y'all be cute and all, but y'all boring as fuck. It ain't nothing with y'all. Like y'all don't never like at least make a nigga feel special at least one time. Bitch, he ain't never bought nigga a pair of socks and nothing. Bitch, I know you look good, but goddamn, bitch. Come on now.
For my bad bitch expert.
I totally agree with everything she said. That's why I sit there and played it, nigga. I totally agree with every fucking thing she said. And nigga, I swear to God, I agree with everything she said. Real quick, I don't know, did you listen to any new music this week?
Yeah.
Was anything out that you liked or you didn't like?
I listened to the
Baby King?
Yeah, I listened to that joint. That joint was solid.
Yeah, I fuck with that joint. I guess the luxury he has, and I mean, of course, the thing that people will always hate on him, that he got Kendrick Lamar, and just the fact that you got Kendrick Lamar and people going to dissect and break down the Kendrick Lamar lyric, and then even when Kendrick Lamar throw that little line in, I gossip on the phone with my bitch like Young Thug. Too, of course, that helped make people go listen to the music, but the music was actually maybe because I didn't have no expectations for Baby King, because I listened to his last project and it was cool. Like I don't have no expectations to him. He's not like somebody that I keep on heavy rotation, but he did have some good songs on there that I added to my gym playlist. But again, like I said, of course, I think some people, maybe if you got expectations for him, you may have a deeper dive into the music, but I didn't have no expectations, but I wasn't disappointed. Like I wasn't mad that I listened to it. Like, damn, why the fuck did I waste my time listening to this? I didn't feel that way. I felt like, damn, this shit was fire. And them songs with Kendrick Lamar was like super fire. Like that, like I just liked the project. Like it was a good joint. Like, and again, I do think sometimes with some people, I be wondering, like even when I'm listening to matter of fact, I played this clip of Charlamagne on the Brilliant Idiots when they was talking about J. Cole. And I kind of be wondering sometimes, like, do people have too many expectations for rappers when you listen to them music? You looking for too much from, like, I think niggas be like, even when niggas listening to J. Cole, like you listening to J. Cole and trying to listen to J. Cole and judge J. Cole with Drake and Kendrick Lamar is. And that's the thing where it's like, that's one, I guess one of the parts that I hate about like social media as well when it comes to just like music reviews. Cause it's like, you ain't going to listen to these people for who they are. Like when I listen to ESTG, like I'm listening to ESTG for like ESTG. Like I like the joint with him and Mozzie. Like this shit was cool to me. Like ESTG talking some crazy, he had some crazy little drug street bars on there. Like one of them joints, like some shit he said about, I forgot what he said. Some punchline he had with like a Jerry Rice joint. Like I'm like, this shit was just like, this nigga's crazy. But again, like I said, I think people go into listening to these projects and they listen to with too many just too many weird expectations on some
okay, but is it I think if we just, even if you keep it as to sports, I just think like, I guess because everybody does it, I feel like you still, I'm gonna put you, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at LeBron, but oh, damn, I'm looking at Jaylen Brown. I'm like, well, he ain't doing, you know, LeBron had this, we had that. Like, is it still the same?
But I think, but again, that kind of go into our when you talk about when you compare, for most men, if you can't get into the WNBA is because you're looking for dunks, but you're not even being honest on with the men's basketball you watch right now. When the last time, how often do you see niggas getting dunked on in the NBA now? That should be so, like, it'd be so not a thing. Did it be just like a random nigga who got like the best dunk of the year? And you be like, I don't even know who this nigga is. Like, I mean, what was the nigga? I want to say he played for Orlando or something, or he got, I can't even remember. That's how, again, non-factor of it wasn't a superstar, but it was an Orlando Magic game. I can't remember if one of the Magics dunked on somebody or one of the Magic players got dunked on, but the shit was like ridiculously how nasty he got dunked. But it's so not a thing anymore when it comes to basketball, but people still always compare it, and that's why so many people don't enjoy women's basketball, because you're always trying to compare it to the men's. But if you just watch it as a whole separate thing, nigga, that's why I like that shit more, because it's easier to just, one, I like women, I don't like men, I'm not gay, and I think a lot of niggas just be like on some gay shit. But like when I'm working, when I watch women's workout videos, I don't follow men who work out. I'm sure it's niggas doing crazier workouts, but I just don't want to look at niggas. Like, so it's just not, that's not a thing for me. But I do agree with you. I think a lot of people, the thief is the comparison of joy or whatever, however that saying is. And I think a lot of times when people go listening to music, you're looking for, again, if you go listen to J. Cole and you was looking for J. Cole to do something that Kendrick or Drake do, of course you're not going to enjoy this J. Cole project, because you're not listening to it to enjoy J. Cole. You're listening to it to compare him to Drake or Kendrick Lamar. So you're robbing yourself of actually what J. Cole is doing. And I think a lot of people do that shit with so much shit. Even going back to when we was talking about Tyler Perry at the beginning, people just, you constantly comparing shit, so you never get to enjoy what you're sitting here watching. If you just enjoy it for what it is, it's just like, all right, nigga, I like this for what it is. And again, that's why sometimes it's so easier for me, like, to just find new rappers to listen to, like, on Fridays, because I don't even know who these niggas is. I don't have nothing to compare it to. Now, if you compare something, like, I listened to Dave East put out a new project where it was like he do the little cartoon the covers. This one was Fresh Prince, but the last one was Martin. So if I'm comparing them off of those two Jones, yeah, this new project wasn't better than the last Jones, because the last one he probably had more samples. But I'm sure, of course, you know, clearing samples is a lot harder. So of course you ain't gonna be able to do every project with a bunch of samples. This project was a little bit shorter. He only had 7 songs on it. So if I'm comparing Dave East to Dave East, yeah, I like the other project better than I like this newer Jones. But it was cool. But I'm just only comparing Dave East to Dave East. But again, like I said, that's why it's so easier to find newer rappers. But again, even when trying to keeping it in the music, like, I think a lot of y'all lying about that Young Miami song. Because I'm telling you, a bad bitch that's T. What the fuck she say? What she? I mean, I wish you could play music. Because when she came in that loud, what she say? I'm some real fine shit. And I don't listen to. I'm telling you, I don't need a bunch of women to sit here and tell me that this shit crank. I know for a crank, and I know for a fact 2 weeks from now, all y'all gonna be sitting here saying I'm some real fine shit. And like, man, I don't. This shit. I'm not looking for Young Miami to be a fucking lyrical miracle. It's some stupid, silly TikTok shit. What am I? This is Young Miami. What else am I looking for? And that's my point. I think when niggas sitting here trying to see here, imagine, and I'm sure it's people out here trying to go listen to Young Miami and comparing Young Miami like, oh, she ain't rapping like Nicki Minaj. She ain't never rapped like Nicki Minaj. Why am I going to listen to a Young Miami song and comparing it to fucking Nicki Minaj? How is that a thing? And I think that's why so many people don't enjoy music. And that is, again, when we talked about it last week, why niggas only keep talking about the same 3 or 4, maybe 5 fucking rappers. Because you sitting here literally, you're robbing yourself of just the free shit, man. I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with that tea time shit. I don't give a fuck what y'all say, because I'm some real fine shit, and like, I fuck with that stupid shit. It's just a dumb ass TikTok song. That's all it is. I'm not looking for Young Miami to do anything else, dog. So again, shout out to Young Miami. That tea time shit, I'm gonna be listening to it. I ain't looking for nobody else to listen to it, because I'm some real fine shit. And what's the 2 fingers together? That shit is stupid. Like, it's supposed to be dumb. Like, tell me, what the fuck am I going? Like, that's it here saying I'm going to go listen to some new Vanilla Ice, and I'm looking for the Vanilla Ice to give me some of the hardest shit I ever heard. This fucking Vanilla Ice, dog.
But do you think it's because of the algorithm?
What you mean?
I think that's the only reason why people keep comparing stuff. Because do you like?
I mean, yes, people don't.
Yes, you did have conversations. Yes, you did have conversations like this back in the day. Like, even when you say Master P, No Limit, all that. Like, you had those arguments.
But listen, but think about who you was comparing them to. You was comparing them to Cash Money, No Limit. Why? Because both of them from New Orleans. The subject matter, the music kind of was the same. They was groups. That makes sense. That's cool. I can kind of understand that. Even if you see here, Jeezy and Gucci, the subject matter was the same. They both from Atlanta. That all makes sense. Even if but think about how many other niggas you kind of don't compare. Like, think about for how long Yo Gotti never got compared to nobody until Young Dolph came around. Why? Because Dolph is from Memphis. So this is the first other Memphis nigga we really got a taste of. So now,
so do you don't think the real list? I mean, that whole J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick is all they in the same room then, right?
No, because I feel like, to me, if you see him, maybe if you sit here saying Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, but I don't feel like Drake make the same type of music as either one of them.
But I feel like they all in that same time frame, don't you think?
But
like both of them, all them hit at the same, because it's not like I said, they all at that same kind of level. Like, okay, you're not going to say, oh, I'm not going to put J. Cole with the Wale, Meek Mills, that class.
But why not? But no, they all came out at the same time.
Oh, I thought J. Cole was a little bit more.
No, I want to say J. Cole was on the same. He was on the same exact fucking double XL cover with Wale.
Okay, I thought he might have been more in.
No, I want to say they was on the same exact cover together. I can't remember. I want to say if they wasn't on the same exact one, they was a year apart. But I want to say I think J. Cole was on the same exact cover with Wale. But that's just me personally. I think people rob themselves of actually enjoying music, TV shows, or anything if you constantly just compare, even with sports. Like, even when it's like when it comes to like quarterbacks and shit, it's just be like, or just teams. Like, I think people just like, I think motherfuckers rob themselves of shit. And that's why, again, when we sit here saying sports, sometimes like I prefer just listening to like your local radio. But you know what's so crazy?
And I meant this. I already knew your answer, but it was an argument I seen. It was a little podcast when they said, "Who would you take, Chris Paul or Penny?"
Oh, I'm taking Penny. Yeah,
I know you are, but the younger dude was like, "Oh, I'm taking Chris Paul," but it was like a bunch of old niggas was like, "Are you serious?" And it was I think Tim Hardaway was on there, and Tim Hardaway was like, "I'm taking Penny all," but his argument was like, "Well, he was hurt. He was never, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't play a whole, he didn't have that long. I'm talking about Chris Paul whole longevity and all that." But it was kind of funny, like, but when you think about, like I said, I guess people just put. Because everybody does the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe you might be right. It may be because of the algorithm. It may be because podcasts. Niggas just do too. To me, it's just too much comparison shit. It just be like, damn, like niggas. Like that's why I think sometimes for some people it's like it's the gift that you are like one of one. Like for the Migos, there was no group for niggas to compare them to. So it was like they kind of just barely got to get their shit off freely, and there was nobody else for you to compare to. Because sometimes it's just be like, damn, dog. Like man, I don't know. I just feel like niggas be overdoing that shit. Like, yeah, I just feel like niggas overdo it. But let me play this Charlamagne clip real quick.
Infidelity, haven't we all as men? Like, but once you hear that once or twice, it's like, you know what J. Cole needs to do? He needs to do some deeper work on himself. And I don't know the brother personally, but you can tell that Kendrick has done some deep soul spiritual work on himself. You can tell he's done, a lot of therapy, and he has a different level of self-awareness, and it reflects in his music, like with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, you know what I mean? Even on GNX, like it reflects in his music. Like you can hear the deep inner work that he's done with himself. That's what I don't think J. Cole has done that. I feel like a lot of his stuff still scratches the surface. Like he don't go deeper than just like the surface. Very ironic that he's driving around in a Honda right now. Because if I had to compare his raps to something, it would be a Honda. A Honda's a good car. I've had two of them in my life. Good car. Reliable, a lot of longevity.
Is he really driving around in a Honda?
I mean, that's part of the promo. I mean, I don't know. But Honda's a great car. Honda is a good car. There's nothing wrong with a Honda whatsoever. And Hondas have been around for a long time. They stood the test of time. So will J. Cole and his bars. But it's just, it's just something incomplete with the way he writes songs. Like that's just it. But I mean, the album's cool. I wish it was less than 24 songs. Yeah. Elite level talent. He's a great rapper.
Yeah.
He's just not an elite level artist like a Kendrick, and he's not an elite level songwriter like a Drake. He's not. I mean, honestly, when you talk about just music, he don't make music as good as Future.
See, and again, and I'm not, and again, I think even, and I hate this Charlamagne kind of always do this a little bit when he throw Future in there. But I think if you really had some balls and you wanted to have a real conversation, like I said, I think Future make better music than all of them niggas. But I'm not listening to Kendrick Lamar and thinking Kendrick Lamar's supposed to do what Future do. They from two different sides of the fucking world. Totally different type. I'm never should listen to a nigga from California and think he gonna do what a nigga from Atlanta do. It just, that shit don't even make sense to me. But again, like I said, I do think that's just a comparison is the thief of joy. I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't actually get to enjoy music no more.
Some people just like enjoy for what you enjoy for. I don't, and like you said, me comparing it, I'm enjoying. Like I said, shit, that Wale joint, like I still go back and listen to that joint. So that's why I say I just feel like people, like you always say, people just want to be in the conversation just to say, oh, you know, I got my opinion. But like I said, I feel like to me, you just got to enjoy what you want.
Yeah, I think you should enjoy what you want. And I think people need to stop being so easily swayed by social media. Like a nigga can't sit here and tell me like I'm 41 years old. God willing, I'll see 50 more years. No, you're not about to sit here and think your comment is gonna make me change what I like. Like again, like I said, everybody in their mother can sit here and say they hate that Carisha song. I'm telling y'all, I'm some real fine shit, and y'all just ugly. Whatever the fuck she saying that song, I fuck with that shit because it's stupid. I'm not trying to listen to nothing serious, dog. I'm in the gym. I'm tired. I want to hear something when I'm fucking want to get off this treadmill and feel like I'm some real fine shit, and y'all just ugly. I want to feel like that because when I get out of the gym, I want to be able to look in the mirror and feel like some real fine shit and know that y'all motherfuckers is just ugly. So I'm going to fuck with that tea time shit. That's it. That's for me. If you don't like it, cool. You may look in the mirror and just be like, you one of them ugly motherfuckers. That's okay. You don't have to feel like some real fine shit. And you see them two fingers saying, I wish I knew the fucking song, but it's stupid. I like it. Real quick, before we got to music, I do want to play this clip of these niggas talking about Future, but these some niggas from Atlanta. And their expressions on how they feel about it is completely different from somebody who's not from Atlanta.
Madness is a song, bro, that people can't even explain. What I mean is
facts. That song's still going.
To this day, bro, like what I mean is it never was a top 10, never was nothing. But that motherfucker feel like it was the number one single ever, nigga.
Ever.
My Savages. My Savages. Look at My Savages, bro. I seen niggas get down on one knee in the club like this with My Savages.
Oh God.
Like, bro, put a finger up like this.
Hey, man, nigga, be goddamn praising God.
Come on, bro. Like,
hey, man.
No, I'm
shout out to my boy Spilter. I seen my boy drop a tail in that motherfucker. Who that Central Station ticket? My boy said, "Cool." My boy took off his hat like they were the Pledge of Allegiance. Nigga put that bitch across his chest and goddamn kneeled on one knee.
Yeah, man.
I said, "Ooh,
yeah, man.
I'm telling y'all, man.
It's different with Future, bro.
That shit give you goosebumps.
Yeah, it's
man.
different, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
10 whips in a row.
Man, that My Savage, come on, boy. You be beefing with a nigga, buddy.
Hey, boy.
Again, like I said, shout out to Future. And again, like I said, like whatever you like. Erica, have you watched? Is there anything else new on TV you watch? I did finish Lincoln's Law, and I'm not gonna lie. Season 4, Lincoln's Law, it was cool because I mean I'm already nigga. I done already watched 3 seasons, so I mean I'm already I'm into it. But I'm not gonna lie. Season 3, and you know what's so funny? One of our listeners, I forgot what we was talking about before. And he DM'd me. He was like, "Man, you probably just gotta admit it. You like some romance in your TV shows." And when I was watching Lincoln Law, I just kept thinking about when he said that to me because my favorite season on Lincoln Law was season 3 because the main character, the dude name, Mickey or whatever the fuck his name was, the main lawyer, he started to date a black she was a prosecutor, a black prosecutor, and her name was Andrea on there. Her nickname was Anna. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was mad that she wasn't in season 4. Like him and his ex-wife got back together in season 4. I was kind of pissed. I was like, damn, I literally watched season 3 just because of the little romance with him and the black lawyer. So again, like I said, if y'all haven't watched Lincoln Law, that's another cool little joint. Night Agent is back, I believe. How many episodes I'm already in on Night Agent? I think I'm like, I might be like on see episode 3 now. What's this Night Agent? What episode I'm in?
That he was behind.
Yeah, I'm on episode 3. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's kind of fucked up that they killed the only black character on the show off the rip. But again, like I said, Night Agent is cool. Like I ain't Night Agent ain't nothing. You can't do no real spoiler alerts or no breakdowns on that. Like I said, I'm on episode 3. What else is going? Have you watched anything new? I'm gonna tell you something I didn't watch, and this is why again, like I feel like sometimes you just don't have to have an opinion. I'm not watching that Tyra Banks shit. Like now that to me is like, now that's when you forcing it. I'm not watching that. Like that's the shit. Leave some. I'm okay with leaving some shit up just to allow women to have to themselves. That Tyra Banks, y'all ain't got to worry about me watching that shit, having an opinion on it, because I never watched the real show. So I'm not about to watch a documentary on it, and I'm not trying to have an opinion on fucking. Nah, dog. I'm cool.
Nah, I haven't watched nothing new yet, and I don't want to watch that either. So
Yeah, I'm not. It's just some shit to just be like, yeah, that one ain't gonna do it for me. Like, it ain't no way, nothing about that shit, not nothing about the clips, nothing about the conversation about it, even making me feel like I think I need to sit here and watch that one. I do want, let me end with a couple of little more black history clips and we can get out of here. It was about
damn, I ain't know I thought I saw it, but I ain't even paying no mind.
What?
What's name performed to Mariah Sanders?
Oh, at a concert? Oh man, damn! I wish I would have sent this clip. It was a clip of it was a clip that was going viral, and the girl was talking about her experience at the Mariah Sanders concert, how she was about to beat these girls up because they kept trying to sneak into her box. Oh man. Oh, matter of fact, hold on real quick before Mr. Tenderism.
Just pick one up, and I'm gonna just let you do your thing. Look, I don't know too much about this stuff. Let me see. But I do know something about these boys right here. What they gonna do? These dinosaur balls. What they gonna do?
What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. I was strolling through social media, and I really haven't commented or said anything. I've seen all of the videos, but I came across this video.
Hey, this is official Mr. Tenderism coming to y'all. You know, I just got off the freeway kind of late at night, but I want to know y'all come on my page. Official Mr. Tenderism, Walter Johnson. Yes, sir. Y'all come on down now. I'm the Tenderism original, not nobody else. The original Tenderism. Booyah.
And so people are speculating that he is now departing from the gentleman. But here's the issue. I saw another video of the owner basically saying that, he ain't got nothing to do with the success. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. Take a look at this video.
Added to the business has been huge and it's very visible to a lot of people. But then at the end of the day,
this is still my business. Y'all praising this man, but this is my business. And ultimately, without Mr. Tenderism, you would not have that business. So here's what I'm willing to offer. As you guys know, I started a initiative, No Business Left Behind. I would love, and hopefully you guys could tag Mr. Tenderism. I would love to put some money behind Mr. Tenderism to start Mr. Tenderism own business. How do you guys like that? Let's all come together as a community and let's start our own barbecue shack house with Mr. Tenderism at the forefront. Listen, this is what it's about. It's Black History Month. We need to start uplifting our own. We can do it together as a community.
I do honestly want to see how this one is going to play out because, of course, for people who didn't, if you couldn't catch on to what was going on in the video, if you haven't seen Mr. Tenderism video, I guess people are kind of reading off of just his last video saying he's the originator. It seems like he has got fired or went separate ways. Really, we can't even say separate ways. We don't, nobody feel like he was actually a part owner or anything of that that smokehouse restaurant. So basically he got fired and now he's on his own. And I'm sure realistically, he probably wasn't never getting no real payout. So I don't even necessarily know when he's telling people to follow him. I'm like, what are they going to follow? Because do you have enough capital of your own to be able to start your own restaurant? And now this will kind of be like where it's like, I don't even necessarily know, like, what are you going to be able to bring to the table to be able to start your own? And that's the scary part where it's like, yeah, you help us get something popular, but if you are not kind of in the financial situation to be able to bounce back and be able to start your own business or be able to or if you really wasn't actually in the kitchen cooking some of this food, it's like I don't even necessarily know how he gonna be able to bounce back and do something else. I do want to see how it's gonna play out because then you kind of really get to see, like, are people going to go? I think people will support him. I think if he can get into a restaurant or somebody can bring him in and give him some type of partnership or something, and he can bring his popularity to a new a new smokehouse, I do think that will work. But if he got to sit here and start something from scratch and he got to come up with the capital for it and get a venue and all of that, I think that's way harder than people think it is. So that will be realistically, that's going to be the hard part. If he's going to be able to do that, then it just be sitting here and you can be the mascot of somebody else's already up and running business. Because it is realistic. It's easy to promote something that is already up and running, and they may just not know how to do the marketing. From you had to start something completely from scratch. That part is going to be the hard part, because promoting something and actually running the business is two different things. So we will see how that one play out. Are y'all familiar with sleep? Do you know how sleep?
Slavery is connected to why you don't sleep.
or why you do, depending on who's watching. Hey, cool kids, this is 28 Days of Lo-Fi Black History, where we talk about tough topics in Black history while keeping our last nerve intact. Welcome to day 13. Now, there was no day 12 because I didn't feel well. I'm good now because I slept. I think so often about how little enslaved people got to sleep. I need 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep to be a functioning human being. And when I don't get that, I can feel my immune system dropping. I'm physically ill. Slavery was a system of cruelty, and part of that cruelty was denying rest. Enslaved people were lucky to get 6 hours of sleep each night on a cold ground with an old flour or potato sack as a blanket. During peak seasons of cotton, sugar, tobacco, or corn, they got 4 hours. And after all that work for free, they still had their own cooking, mending, and child rearing to do. So cut those 4 hours down to 3. In his autobiography, Frederick Douglass wrote that wanting time to sleep was more common than wanting a bed. Very many of their sleeping hours are consumed in preparing for the field for the coming day, he wrote. When this is done, old and young, male and female, married and single, drop down side by side on one common bed. And oversleeping meant harsh punishment. Remember Samuel Cartwright from Day 9, the doctor who claimed Black people had a mental illness that caused laziness? Formerly enslaved Walter Hawkins wrote that slaves were whipped more for oversleeping than for being drunk. Sleep deprivation was built into slavery. And those effects didn't disappear. Lack of sleep is linked to depression, heart disease, anxiety, and even shorter lifespans. One study tracked about 15 years of data that showed that Black people have a shorter sleep duration than any other racial group. Some call it the racial sleep gap. That gap has history rooted in the enslavement and intentional sleep deprivation of our people. So when I'm tired, I go lay down, take a deep breath. Rest is not laziness. Do not listen to them dead racist white men. I am so exhausted. Support this project so I can sleep sometimes too.
Again, like I said, man, shout out to all the content creators that are coming up with clever ways to deliver different Black history facts. And again, like I said, happy Black History Month. Rest in peace to Reverend Jesse Jackson. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what's so crazy? Like, I mean, of course, he was in his 80s, but for some reason, like, just because when you're so young and it seemed like these people were always like way older than you, which they realistically are. For some reason, I still always thought he was older than that. I mean, well, he was 80. How old he was 80? What? Jesse Jackson. I just want to Reverend Jesse Jackson. How old was he when he passed? He was, I don't say his age. 84. Yeah, for some, I don't know why I thought he was like 90. Well, I mean, 84, close to 90. So yeah. Like I said, rest in peace to Reverend Jesse Jackson. And again, like I said, if you don't take nothing else from that Tyler Perry movie, I would ask and question, how familiar are you really with your Black facts and your Black history? And how familiar are your kids with it? Because I mean, I think that to me is the bigger takeaway. If you didn't get nothing else from that Tyler Perry movie, there's something that you may want to ask yourself. Because I do think a lot of people put effort into like, hey, can my kids read? Can my kids spell? Are they good with math? But then again, like I said, what the question would be just the Black history thing. And matter of fact, we're going to leave out of here with this clip that I sent Erica, because I saw this was a part of my defense for the Tyler Perry movie. So it's, of course, one of these people doing one of these little street jumps, and they walking up to people, asking people like, showing them pictures of Black history legends and asking them, like, showing them pictures, and some people didn't know. And so these two girls on the street, he doing one of these little street content jumps, and they was struggling on knowing people that you kind of realistically you should just know just off the rip.
You name who this person is right here.
You don't know?
Like, the very first person he showed them was fucking Harriet Tubman. Like, come on, dog. And these girls is in their 20s. Like, man.
You know who it is?
Yeah, it's Harriet Tubman. Okay, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be wrong and embarrass myself. No, just say we're like the first guy.
Okay, next one. Can you name who this person is?
Wait. What does it start with? Starts with a J? Jackie Robinson?
Okay, that's correct.
Oh, for her to take that one, listen to him. again, what I'm saying that why y'all gotta make y'all kids watch that Tyler Perry movie. Literally just an hour ago, I sit here and told y'all black people don't watch baseball. So for the only one fucking black baseball player that they was going to show you a picture that fucking old, who else could it be besides fucking Jackie Robinson, dog? We ain't even, since Jackie Robinson, nigga, you probably can only name me one other black fucking baseball player. That's Ken Griffey Jr. How the fuck do you not know that that's just, man, come on.
Ken Griffey Jr.
They're not teaching that shit in school no more.
Name me something. You know another black baseball player after Ken Griffey Jr.?
If you ain't been taught it.
I wasn't to say. I thought you said Ken Griffey Jr. That's.
I mean, I feel like everybody know Ken Griffey Jr. Just off the strength of the sneakers. I don't know how many people really know because I mean, of course, you can say Bo.
I mean, that nigga come on a commercial every goddamn. Channel.
What's his name? I know you talking about the Nugenics nigga.
Yeah.
But I know him more from the Nugenics. I don't even know what is it, Frank? I don't even fucking remember his last name. But the Nugenics nigga, I'm sure if you've seen the Nugenics commercial, y'all know who we talking about. But again, okay, let's just say cool. Since Jackie Robinson, you can probably literally, let's sit here and say, you can't name me 10 black baseball players, maybe 5. Let's sit here and say Ken Griffey Jr., would you say Barry Bonds? If you want, do you want to say Sammy Sosa black? No.
Deion Sanders.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Deion Sanders. You name it. Now you're naming
baseball.
Michael Jordan played baseball.
Exactly, Erica. Thank you.
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay, cool. So if you want to name 2 football players that played baseball, Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders, cool. We could barely still get to 10. So for them not to know fucking, man, come on, dog. Stop. Again, I'm telling y'all, I think, and the crazy thing is I'm getting upset, but I'm sure there's a lot of fucking people listening right now.
But I mean, but would you really knock it out the park if you had to sit here and do like when they show you this Black History people? Do you really think you would knock it out the park?
Not all of them, but for most of the only person he probably showed that I probably wouldn't know realistically when he got the George Washington Carver. Mm-hmm. That's probably the only. I mean, I'm not gonna say probably. I know for a fact that's the only one just off of face. How many times you have seen this face as a kid? But you got to think about it, I'm old, so I've been seeing these people.
Did the project on it. I didn't know that's what he looked like.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not trying. Like I said, the Harriet Tubman, that's kind of crazy.
Nigga, Jackie Robinson to me is more crazy because he at least had a movie. Recent time did fucking what's my man? Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. He played the movie 42. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? But again, I'm not the way I'm saying. I'm not sitting here. I think I'm saying it because I mean this is how I be talking with the energy. But I do think as people, even if it wasn't Black history, whatever your history is, if you're somebody you listening to this and you not Black, you should still be teaching your kids some history because I think a lot of times motherfuckers just don't be knowing certain shit and we forget to sit because we still going on our regular everyday life and we arguing about Jordan and LeBron. You forget to have certain conversations and it'll be easy that you'll forget. And when we even talking about music, and that's why so many kids sit here and go crazy over NBA YoungBoy because they don't know shit else because their parents ain't even take them time to introduce them to anything else. And that goes to any type of history. It is easy when it's music and it be like, oh, you just like what you like. You only may just like what you like because nobody else ain't introduced you to nothing else. I literally just did a panel, what was that, maybe a week ago for some go-go shit. And I'm telling them, it's easy for all y'all old motherfuckers who just came on here and y'all worried about what y'all can still go play places. But y'all celebrated 50 years of go-go. There will not be another fucking 50 to celebrate if your kids ain't listening to go-go. If you telling me the last young band is T.O.B. and then it's done after that, so what do y'all think is going to happen in the next 30 years? When all of these niggas die out, that's not going to be no conversation. 30 years from now, if you saying T.O.B. was the last young go-go band, who the fuck is y'all? Who your kids going to? There ain't going to be nobody going to be like, oh, cut on some go-go. Think about when y'all kids become 30 and 40 years old, and they are the people, the old heads at the cookout now. There ain't going to be no go-go music played. But again, we just talking about Black history on just how easy it is for people to just kind of just be like, you forget about it. You stop talking about it. You stop making it an important thing to even have a conversation about. And think about, again, how easy it is to just focus on one or two people. So in a month, okay, your kid do one history project. And then, all right, now what's going to happen for the rest of the year? Again, I do think we should realistically take more time to acknowledge our Black history. And that's why even when I started this, and like, I try to send myself just as many as these videos I see, because I know for a fact after February, I probably won't even see these shits no more until next year. And that shit to me is a little bit sad. Because I can imagine, again, I'm getting upset because these girls don't know nothing. They in their 20s, but I can only imagine how worse it's going to get for the generation younger than them. And you see, again, the Jackie Robinson shit probably pissed me off the most because I know for a fact you cannot name me 10 other black baseball players. So for you not to just see, just over, it's a black man with a baseball in his hand, that shit should be the first name to come to your brain. And the fact that it's not is fucking sad. And this is from a nigga who don't watch baseball. Don't give a fuck about it. So again, like I said, each and every Tuesday, we can end off with that long Black History Fact, Black Rant. Again, like I said, please, again, say you may live in another city. You don't want your Black history to end up being like the city that I love. Our own music that's only played by Black people will eventually 9 times out of 10, 50 years from now, hopefully, God willing, some of us will still be alive. It won't even be a thing. You know why? Because people did not savor what your own fucking culture made. And that is a part of your own Black history. So again, like I said, like, share, subscribe.
You said go. Shout out to Junkyard for redoing the Eastern Motor commercial.
Oh yeah, shout out, man.
I thought this shit was I heard it on the radio.
Well, like shout out to them, but shout out to Nucci. Shout out to
Nucci
for winning what's it? NCAA. I'm about to say NCAA. No, he won his I mean he won. I mean I think he won whatever category he was in. I believe I seen Melissa Ford just posted a video. I think
it could come on Saturday. I think.
Yeah, but I believe I think they already came out and said he won his. So again, shout out to Nucci. But again, like I said, for the front porch.
And it was Teddy Swim. That Donnell Rollins thing.
Oh, that's what that was.
Teddy Swim. He did a front porch.
Oh damn, that's fire.
Yeah, it came out Monday.
Damn, that's fire. Shout out to Teddy Swims. I fuck with Teddy Swim. That nigga fire too. Yeah, that nigga sing his ass off. Yeah, again, like I said, like, share, and subscribe each and every Tuesday. What you were saying? Shout out to Junkyard. They redid the Eastern Motors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Eastern Motors. Weird drop. Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, because I heard it on the radio, and it was like, "Yeah, you tired of it? You ain't heard this in a long time, but now we redoing it. We taking it." And they started playing it. But I didn't until I got on Instagram. That's when I saw it was Junkyard who did it.
Yeah, again, shout out to Junkyard. Again, like I said, shout out to GoGo. Again, shout out to Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. Like, share, and subscribe each and every Tuesday. We will be right back here. And again, if you got some time, if you made it this far in the episode, I would just ask you, hey, just go on YouTube, put in Bulture Podcast, and just search Let It Play, even if you're not even listening to it, because you already listened to the whole podcast on the audio version. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell another friend. We'll be right back here next Tuesday.